paths. Inco-Time pull up a little bit closer on the compound, and Bacon-Time have to divert a little bit further south. Be chivied on their way on this northern side circle.
I mean, Ingo getting into position very quickly here. They're loving to set themselves up into some very central spots with this northern circle, though less than ideal to get towards that center early on, purely because there are going to be so many teams who have already made their rotation up on towards this side of the map, crossing the waters early. I think, you know, Skylight's Gaming done a good job to get up towards Severny as early as they did and then fend off some teams coming their way. Is something that Box Gaming struggled with yesterday, which is getting into a spot and then just really not holding that same presence, in which case later on you essentially just became a stepping stone for other teams. So it's good news for Skylight's Gaming, especially in terms of their point scoring, 36 right now. I think if they want to look safe in towards those finals, they do need to pump those scores up just slightly.
Just a little bit. And of course, today is the last chance for Group Green to get those points on the card as well. 6 games remain for them. Another docket on the menu for the yellow teams, but they still want to be putting as much as they can.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Up and on the wall. Set that marker high if you can. HVVP and IHC both moving in from the south side.
हमारे matches कब से हैं? January से.
See, they'll have to make their way up and most likely north of the river. Most teams have already committed to that north side, though, so might be tricky. However, HVVP, it's kind of home ground advantage on that west edge, right? North George, their drop spot.
Definitely a possibility to be able to get themselves into a nice spot.
Hey bro, hello bro, hello bro, how are you bro?
Again, Skylight's Gaming, torn apart. This team is looking very good. It feels like that confidence factor is coming in clutch at the moment, and that is very essential for them. Like you said, Group Green, this is their last day of play today. That includes Inco at the moment. So they would like to bump their scores up from 63, get themselves into a very, very solid position where it's very unlikely that they'll fall out. Skylight's Game, on the other hand, 36 points, losing a play like this early on, as well as being in Group Green. Their last day of play, they don't want to be going out.
I think Senator is also joining us. Let's see.
It could easily be that today Skylight's Gaming get 10 points on the day. That is something that could 100% happen, in which case yesterday getting that decent scoring in towards that medium bracket means absolutely.
Tip 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 tip. अभी क्या करेंगा अभी भेजेंगा लिंक
Side, like I say, that could pose a bit of a problem. I think for these two teams in particular, VPE and HVP almost want to work hand in hand. I know it's a little bit crazy to say that considering they're first and second place at the moment, but being both in Group Green and both looking to essentially get the last chance. Yes, right now it'd be great to be in first place because you do get that big bump in prize pool. It's not a massive bump though; it's just $1,000 up every single time you jump a placement. But for both these teams, it would be unwise to fight against one another when they both know that they're both very capable at taking each other out. So I think that for both these teams, yes, keep a slight distance from one another, unless it comes down to it. You know, you're 1v1 in that end game, team versus team. That's when I think I'd full send it against one another. But right now, they have a mutual understanding that if they want to be secure in their position going into tomorrow, Group Green almost has to take that approach in these games.
Be tricky. I think a lot of these teams are just going to be shooting at anything that moves, to be honest. It's not why divert games hard. You know it's working.
तौकीर भाई गॉडल बूट कैंप क्यों नहीं आते? अरे यार यहाँ काम है भाई. दिस इज नॉट व्हाट आई डू. अभी तो हॉलीडेज जब जब होती हैं, छुट्टियां, तो तब मैं स्ट्रीम करता हूँ, जस्ट टू सी कि कैसा है, क्या सिस्टम है, क्या नहीं है. What we can mainly say is like मेरा दिन भर का मैक्सिमम टाइम जो जाता है वो ऑफिस में जाता है, बाकी ऑफिस के कामों में जाता है. दैट्स व्हाई यू कांट जस्ट लाइक डेडिकेट यहाँ से टाइम निकाल के स्पेशली बूट कैंप जाना, सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. बट हाँ, अगर काम के हिसाब से चक्कर लगा तो देन विल डेफिनेटली कम. हर्ष पुरोहित, हेलो ब्रो. हेलो हेलो.
Back down, and that was a double knock on the front there. For the challenge, will be able to succeed, but there is shots from the back line. Hang on a minute, there was a second coming through, there was a flush as well. Last player for Tem Entertainment.
यार सर्वाइवल स्टेज ना एक्चुअली ग्रीन ग्रुप से ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है मेरे को.
Player in Mythic as well down towards that south side, so they're easily able to take out
Unknown guy. Hello Tokir bhai, how are you? I'm good bro, how are you? By Steam में new player add हो रहा है क्या? Yes.
It's a bit of a rough
Yes,
area though,
yes,
honestly.
yes.
There's so much open area around this bit. The
सूत्रों
fencing
के
always
अनुसार
comes into play where you've got nowhere else to play from, so you just send directly towards the fence. You hold up in that position. It's the only place to go, but more than likely you are not going to be making it towards that top 5 at that point in time. Alpha 7 though still have a good chance into this one.
We have couple of good announcements and few changes that we are planning to make post this PMGC. और एक तो player का आपको पता ही चल जाएगा. Level 99 Wizard, how are you bro? क्या हाल चाल भाई? Why do you name yourself Level 99 Wizard?
During this survival stage, getting a few points on the game is absolutely better than going out guns blazing right at the start.
हर्ष पुरोहित, जॉनथन को ले लो, बहुत मजे आएंगे भाई. जॉनथन को जब मर्जी होगी आएगा, अगर उसको मंगोलियन बोलनी आती है. मंगोलियन बोलेगा तो ऑब्वियसली. Any hint, any kind of hint about new player, bro? Bare, lot of people don't know this player. Quite few people might not know this guy from India, but South Asia में people know this player very well. He's a very good player. बहुत अच्छा player है.
Looking at them going forward, the
क्या
high
hints
ground
लोगे
is
यार?
not a bad thing for them to be able to play
क्या
from the spot,
announcement कर देंगे
watching down
soon
towards a lot of
जल्दी.
these teams. Unfortunately, northeastern side is where it is a bit more difficult for them because they don't have a huge amount of sight lines up towards that area in the first place. So keep an eye on that. Going to be slightly more difficult for them, but they will be able to have great angles down towards this western side, which is where most of these teams were able to make their way across. Rozok, it's not likely a lot of these teams were heading over towards that Yaz Bridge side, over Stalba. A lot of these teams decided to sweep up towards that western side of the map, which is much more smart for them, considering on that side as well, there's a lot more room to be where. So, making time should have a clear idea of who's playing around them and which side of the map they need to be aware of. Empire.
कौन सी कंट्री का प्लेयर है वो भी सीक्रेट है भाई.
Away the AUG doing the down there on that northern side. Very good there. West edge to try and move through, but Vivo make that more difficult. Vampire might be able to aid them in that pursuit.
Vivo Keed taking a lot of shots at the moment. HVP in a decent position. They've got Matic and Meku behind over towards that western side.
सर एक बार जॉनी इंडोनेशिया स्क्रिम्स खेला था, एक बार खेल के तो भाई जॉनी को थोड़ी ना हमसे परमिशन लेनी है भाई. whenever he wants he can come and play, but he cannot play. It's not possible. Logically किसी भी एंगल से possible नहीं है. पहले तो लैंग्वेज, राइट. सेकंड थिंग इज टीम सिंक्रोनाइजेशन. देन अगर वो खेलेगा, देखो कुछ चीजें होती हैं हम इमोशनली बोलते हैं, कुछ चीजें होती है जो लॉजिकल होती है. अब लॉजिकली अगर आप देखोगे
getting
आप
very
कैसे लेके
trampled
आओगे
out on
जॉनी
this
को
Northwest
मंगोलिया?
side.
जॉनी मंगोलिया
No
शिफ्ट
one's
करेगा क्या?
really opting down
अब
to
अगर
go
अब वो
towards the
इंडिया से
center.
कैसे
So I
खेलेगा?
think for HVP,
दो मतलब
this is probably the
how will he
smarter
play from
play
India?
style, which
There
is
is
to
no game there.
really go at it
चलो मान
patiently
लिया
on this
किसी और
edge.
रीजन में ले
Vivo
लिया,
Key
लेट्स से
is
दुबई आ
going to be
गया.
an opponent they will have to face, though. That's on their northern side.
On the north, off from the western edge. Taking shots over towards FaZe Clan. Instantly hitting the deck there, like not wanting to take that shot. Not wanting to take that challenge. Contest a little bit too nerve-wracking. Shot spray down. Push on the north side. Really through on this crunch.
There's certainly an opportunity right now for the crunch to come in from HVP. I like that Kitsune is sent down towards the south, though, and I think for maybe ticks
लाला
and
को बुलाओ.
Atlantic, understanding there's an
लाला क्या
engagement going on
शायद
towards
फोन
that
पता
northern
नहीं
side.
कहाँ.
Yes, you might lose out on a couple of limbs, but heading down towards Kitsune and maybe trying to push through the circle towards Inko might be your best bet right now. Reject, on the other hand, have managed to slip their way into an insane position towards the center of the circle, inside a very nice compound, which they can start playing from. That's very much on the high ground too. And as their first game, their first innings, with one elimination so far, they're looking set for a decent match here, unless something absolutely
यार
disastrous
मेरे को ना
goes wrong on their
रूटर
side.
का
It isn't likely
UI बड़ा
you're going to
घटिया
see
लगता है.
Reject be dismounted from this position at least the next 4 to 5 minutes. Inko as well in that central spot, looking decently good for themselves.
लंगोटी के
I
डिस्कॉर्ड
think for
पर.
Inko, today's games have just continually gone
लंगोटी का
well.
डिस्कॉर्ड
From
कोई भी नहीं है
yesterday,
यार.
again, it's that momentum, that confidence they were
I'm
able to
checking
bring
the
through.
servers. Nobody
And
is there.
with not much to lose as a team coming into this, where you didn't do so well in your group stage, and suddenly you're having the games of your lives, it's happy days.
And one on the northern side, under close and attentive watch from IHC. Godless. Over their way for a third party.
Nobody is there,
Are
bro.
able to dodge
Down one, suffering right now. Had a great day yesterday, fell off a little bit towards the end. 2v4
बे
coming
भर
through
दिया
as well,
भर दिया भर
pretty
दिया
damn
भर दिया भर दिया
astounding.
भर दिया.
You love to see that type of thing. Osal tries to move up in the UAs, a fairly
मैं
defended vehicle,
चाहता
but
हूँ
still
IHC जीते.
quite easy
IHC
to
बड़ी
pop
अच्छी
the
टीम लगती
players
है
out
मुझे.
from the sides through those windows. Fabian now sending nades, everything he can to try and clear out this position with IHC in front of them, causing a massive problem for themselves.
नहीं निकलेगी वहाँ से.
Osal
नहीं निकलेगी.
gets back
नहीं
up though,
निकलेगी.
surprisingly. Sung is down, Forest
Oof.
2, bleeding out quickly. So just Osal and Fabian now remaining for the down one squad. But 3 eliminations, I think that after clearing IHC and the majority of this northern side now being a little bit more clear, there is a possibility for down one gaming to get a little bit further into
ओ
this match. HVP
तेरी.
still hovering towards that western side, with Inko sending a slight scout towards the west, so should have spotted at least something coming through from there.
बहुत
Skies
अच्छा
Gaming
मारा यार. बहुत
took a
अच्छा मारा.
fair amount of casualties early on, and VPE certainly not over from their big streak out yesterday towards the end of
इनको
the day.
कहाँ
6
बैठी है?
eliminations.
अरे
the
नहीं
most
इसमें
lobbied
इनको
by
जीतनी चाहिए
quite
भाई.
a bit
मेरा
at the
पैसा
moment,
लगा है
looking
इनको
for a
में.
little bit more too. And this is just
इनको
clearing
मेरी
now.
अपनी
This is a
टीम
team
है.
that likes to go face to face, you know, fist to fist with a lot of these other teams. They will go for these boxing fights, and usually, yes, they'll take 1 or 2 knocks, but it's absolutely worth it for them when they're taking position. A bit more of a messy team. Borrow.
Bring it out.
Luketh, now from Vampire Esports. 3 players, 69 points so far, 8 eliminations. This is a very good start to the game for them. Inko also looking to get quite far into this game. They do get fairly circle blessed, and this seems to be a reoccurring trend for Inko. Maybe been given a bit of a dime here for the rest of these matches. However, they
Hello
have
Tokir
had
bhai,
a
what's up?
massive
Hello
improvement in
Troublemaker bhai,
performance,
what's
and
up?
this
What's
is that
up?
confidence factor. Sending
भाई
forward
बहुत
into the
लोग को
building.
इंग्लिश
There's
सही
Nenebet
से
they
समझ
go
नहीं
down.
आती.
That's their key
उर्दू
player
लगाओ
though,
शायद
and
कुछ
that's
ज़्यादा
really
वॉचिंग
bad
आएगी.
news for them. And
ये
the rest of them
वॉचिंग के लिए
getting
कौन बैठा है
crushed
यहाँ पे?
by
बट
Reject. as they move in.
उर्दू में ही
Sweep
सुनना
the
है तो
leg.
एक सेकंड
Just this
एक
now,
सेकंड
looking
रुको
for a little bit more, but the nades
20
are
लोगों
out.
की जनता
They
है
want to clear out this fight quickly. Ragey will get
जनता
that
will
Beckham
decide उर्दू
as well as one more. In the meantime, Tixi takes a knock as this
English
game was. It's all popping off the moment as teams try to get in. Vitali, last
बताओ
member remaining on the outside, very, very low. And Divine maybe trying to look through with the PP Bison. Nade goes back through, looking for a little bit more damage. Goodness me, it's all popping off all over the place. FaZe, massive damage on their side coming through from Game Boy. It looked bad for them as they took an initial knock, but they brought it back their way. Vitali running around, just trying to keep himself at bay, keep himself alive. He's managed to find his way into the building, pulled the old switcheroo on them. You can see even HVP on the ridge side now, looking to try and capitalize on the tail end of this fight. Duello, and a nade over the top. Schweppes takes down Favia. One player left now for Damn One Gaming.
ठीक है भाई इंग्लिश स्ट्रीम ही चलाएंगे
Now actually out. Tixi takes another knock. They are really suffering badly on this side. They were looking to try and take advantage of this engagement between Inco and Reject, but in the meantime, they've been cut off by the guys from Power underneath them. Yes, they're sending casualties back their way, but the knocks are not enough. And HVP struggling a little bit. Now down to just 2 players, 2 eliminations. But again, everyone is similarly in a very bad spot. Reject now, one of the only teams alongside with Bacon Time with all 4 players standing. Victor out in the open. It's Venturas looking to finish the fight there for them. 2 elims, 8 teams remaining, so we're not quite in that high caliber of point scoring potential just yet. HVP do go down, as do Game Lord in the blink of an eye. Now we're down to just 6 teams. Power with 6 eliminations found on the match. 2 eliminations for Game Lord. Damwon Gaming still have a player in this though, in fact, so decently
हेलमेट
done for
वाला
them. Osal just
बंदा
waiting
कौन
in
है
the
हेलमेट
wings.
वाला बंदा
Still VPE, the big
मतलब
contender in this
तो कि भाई
map up
बीटीआर को
towards that
किसी की नजर
northern
लगे
side.
हाँ आई मीन लाइक देख हर
Northern edge.
सीजन थोड़ी ना ये मारेंगे भाई हो जाता है
And
फिर
we're
थोड़ा
looking at
थोड़ा
maybe another
थोड़ा
VPE
थोड़ा हो
win.
जाता है फिर पेस स्लो
Just
हो
from the
जाता है
performance we've
टीम
seen
का
from them yesterday.
बट
On
करेगी
the other
आई
hand,
थिंक
though,
कम बैक
Reject,
करेगी
look
कल
at
थोड़ा
this. Look at the
कॉन्फिडेंस से खेल
control
रही
they've
थी
been able to have. This compound's been in for so long. They managed to sneak into this place nice and early. They fend off a good crash. They've got all the angles locked down there. And they'd set themselves up basically for that crash. It wasn't a case of presence in terms of taking shots outwards. They were literally waiting for someone to go for that crash and then take the shots inwards and get the crossfire set up. So a very smart move from them, understanding that that probably was one of the only options for some of these teams on the western side. 5 teams remain now. Vampire Esports up top. Circle moves away from everybody. So every single one of these teams will have to be crawling.
चिकन प्रेडिक्शन रुको चिकन प्रेडिक्शन करते हैं
Get quite far into this match. They've done well.
आई थिंक आरसी का है उन पे कंपाउंड भी है
Explosive finish.
एंड वो सर्कल के अंदर भी है unless they don't have to leave the
put up inside of their individual group. I think that we were expecting to see something a little bit more.
कोई स्टालवर्ड के ज्वाइन करने वाला है ना हिंट दीजिए अच्छा हेलमेट हाँ 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 we have one new player that is joining
Reject. Good shots down towards Vampire Esports. Ravenclaw, the barest amount of HP remaining on him.
फेज का भी यहाँ पे अच्छा चांस है
In the meantime, Venturas, one of the last 2 players from Baseland, actually looking to do a bit more damage. Bacon Time, goodness me, a world of hurt on their side. Schweppes though gets absolutely taken out by Reject. Sending bullets through, and that's 10 eliminations already for Reject. A great result from them in Group Yellow, and Vampire Esports are down and out. Noise looks for Tony K. He's moving up. This boy has done work over in their region before. Now into the thick of it. There's smokes everywhere. It's him versus the world at the moment. Ventura's finally up here to back up his teammate. The nade This one's going to have to be crucial. Looks to see where he sends it. It's in the right direction as well, and Bacon Time have to scatter. Back into cover though, and now Noise has to hit a big nade from this side of the map. He sees where the players are going. Tony K will take huge damage from this grenade, but he loses it in the wrong direction at the wrong time, and Victorious runs straight past it. Shirty is getting burnt up. Now, thrown a line by Aziz along the way from Power. 3 players up and still going. Tony K extremely low. Bacon Time might have time to restabilize here, but it is unlikely. Molotov is cruel coming through from Ragey though, capitalizing over the back of this fight. And again, we talked about how maybe Reject was in for the game of their lives here. The survival stage will bring them through to the last chance, and they're starting this off massively strong. Now Tony K going head to head. Flying, goes through the air, hits him with the wings, buffets him back. And now Bacon Time have the potential to get all 4 back up on their feet, even grabs his teammate with the barest health remaining on his side. Might even get the first aid kit through. And Bacon Time goes from a disastrous scenario to maybe a 4-man squad. Power keeps the pressure over towards Reject, who do still have to move in. From that circle side, most teams will have an awareness of their position. Kante now taking.
Now they can actually get all of their 4 players back. अगर उन पे power दूसरे side से rush नहीं देती है तो power push देगी लेकिन power push देगी. लेकिन अगर Bacon ने 4 player revive कर लिए,
too much utility early on, able to hold on to a lot of that ammo as well with the vehicles, able to set up inside the building.
2 revive.
A lot to work with here. Specifically that high ground. Look at this, Bacon Time up to 4 players. They have survived. They were on the ventilator for quite some time there, but somehow, some way, they've risen from the coma.
3 player revive.
Here. Straight out of bed, still in the
RC का chicken हो गया तो हाँ भाई, ये RC का chicken हो गया. High ground भी है, circle भी favor में है, and damage भी नहीं खाया हुआ.
This is not how Reject would like this game to pan out. If only FaZe were able to do a little bit more on that eastern side versus Bacon Time, this could have gone a lot better. Style. 10 shots back up on that side of the map, and we're into that final zone now. As it starts to close, everyone will be having to head towards that open
भाई लेकिन मैं बता रहा था ना PMPL अरेबिया में मैंने देखा हुआ है पावर वालों को खेलते हुए. उनको एक बार थोड़ा सा कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया ना इंटरनेशनल लॉबी में, बहुत मारते हैं भाई, ये बहुत तगड़ा मारते हैं.
Divine's putting in the damage too. Aziz explodes one of the players. Kante steps up, finds one. That Shirty's down, but Reject also have a spot on his position. He is ducking and diving, trying to get back up on his feet and get out the way. There's one other player from Reject down now, just one left remaining. 07 trying to do as much work as possible to keep Bacon Time.
Bacon on a killing spree.
Expected them to be much more hurt in this scenario after the amount of damage they put their way. Divine steps up though, finds at least 2. Goodness me, that Style and Ice down. Kante still up.
ये Bacon chicken लेके लगता है.
Able to bring back the game for Reject. He's working with very limited cover here, but 07, they'll have to drop out of the action very quickly. 11 eliminations found so far for Reject. Divine might be able to take them all the way, but he has since spotted. His position is known. He runs out and Kante finds it. This guy's been quick on the trigger yesterday, and looks like that hasn't changed at all. He's gone to bed, woken up early. He's feeling good about himself.
गया, दूसरा player भी गया.
Noise now certainly has to bring the
10 elimination है power गया.
Raise the boombox. Get these boys back with a sound wave that he's never brought out quite like this before.
2-on-1, 2-on-1.
Moves outside, nade, crucial, behind the tree. Maybe you can get.
अगर इसे 1v2 कर दिया ना.
Laid very low by this, has to make a good decision. 07 really can't move. This nade will be good, but Kante deals a huge amount of damage, and that gives time for 07 to move out. Power able to finish out the game. They're grabbing the chicken dinner, and that will be them taking their first match. Power needed that one as well from yesterday. Get themselves up into a good position. I think from a team in Group Green, that is massively influential. They've been looking for a game like that for quite some time. Kante, though, 100%. Massively key player for that team. The kind of stuff he does is just unbelievable. So bold, so aggressive. It is unacceptable that he gets away with these things so many times as well, but that is a chicken dinner. Going over to your boys on.
ये जो है ना ये बड़ा, ये हाजी अल-हाजी entry fagger है इनका.
To see a little bit more out of them. And finally, there you go, coming through.
बहुत
7
अच्छा मारा
eliminations, 472
इनको
damage.
लिए इनको ये चाहिए था
I think
लेकिन
that, yes, that
उनको
damage
इसमें
on
चाहिए
Roach,
था ये
oh
कमबैक
yeah.
करना भाई कल ये बहुत
Regardless,
गंदा
that is
खेली ये
still
टीम
a case of Kante just being able to put in that efficient work, that efficient damage that gets them towards the top. 458, it's fairly even across the board here, but 4 knockouts,
लेकिन बंदा
7
बहुत मस्त है
eliminations.
इसके
He's
साथ
just
मिल रहा हूँ मैं यहाँ पे
sending players to
सऊदी
their
में
graves at the moment, ushering them down the river Styx. So very good stuff from Power to finish it now. Is not an easy position to play as well. And they're always on the back foot from the outside of Bacon Time. Again, though, Bacon Time, on the other hand, getting 4 players back up on their feet, absolutely unreal. It's crazy to do that, crazy able to restabilize from a situation that seemed so hopeless there. Al-Haji, 394, not bad at all. But yeah, some of these teams desperately needed those points. And I think for Reject, we said this about the teams that were coming in yesterday when it was that first match. Getting a big buffer like that at the start of the day is very, very nice for you. I think they ended the game with 11 eliminations and 10 placement points with the third place to pick up. 21 points. They were already now on par with a team like Skylights Gaming. I think they started the game with 36. So 22 points. They've got third of the points that Skylights Gaming were able to get yesterday. This sets them up very well for the rest of the day. Again, now it's just a case of keeping up that consistency, those point scoring potentials, which is what we always want to see in this survival stage. You just make sure that you are beating that last game. Make sure you're beating what you did prior and constantly improving your strategy, because that's all you really can hope to do here. It's just the top 16 you need to get into before we head towards that last chance. And that's where we need to be. That's where we need to
येलो
see
ग्रुप
these
में
teams.
ग्रीन ग्रुप
If you do get up
बली
towards the last
टीम्स
chance,
का कमबैक हो
you didn't
जाएगा
know it's the top 5 that head towards that grand final. But it is Power to take themselves a beautiful chicken dinner here from a very, very unlikely position.
Well, I know one person is going to be extremely happy about that result. Sandstorm, having them as a team to watch. Power Esports come through with 27 points on the match. Now, the important thing is they had 16 points after 6 matches yesterday, and they just over doubled their points from 1 match alone.
Senator
Absolutely incredible start, and it started off.
Check.
check mic check
Yes,
Check,
they had
check.
a POI.
check
They
check
actually
mic
decided
check
to go to Gatka.
what was this
Four very
unexpected
close to each other, and then they started rotating towards
Gameplay,
each
yeah, for
Unexpected chicken.
baking time too.
that fight with
Baking
Long
time,
time,
dude.
dude.
Very,
Absolutely
very.
incredible performance from
Yeah.
them. They decided to
Hmm.
pick the right time to
Senator
join the fight in the 6th and 7th zones. You had four
Check.
players fighting
Check,
off
check,
those
mic
them on
check.
their own, and Kante was
Check,
he just went full
check
beast
check
mode
mic
there.
check
I just
What
love how
was
Kante
this?
is supposed to be the support
Unexpected.
of the team. Like,
Right?
I have my own support.
Gameplay, yeah.
Yo,
What's
you're
up?
good, Jake,
Baking
mate.
time too.
No,
All
all
good.
good,
Baking
bro.
time, dude.
We
Very,
have
very good.
National Day tomorrow here, so we
Baking
have
time,
holidays.
And he was just prone,
Senator.
and in some
So
weird
kind of
way, he just tanks everything, and he just after
yeah.
obliterates
So it was
all of the
free. I
players
thought
up north
let's
of his
do watch
location.
party.
It was mental, but man, okay, Power. I said you were maybe
Okay,
gonna curse them.
okay.
You're doing
I
watch
do
party,
apologize.
yeah?
Like they really.
Yeah,
showed
yeah,
they
yeah.
fighted
For me,
HVV
for my
early
side.
in the game, that was
Okay,
I
all
would
good.
say a fight that they were potentially gonna lose because it was
So what is
literally
IHC doing?
uphill battle. And they won it flawlessly.
The rotation. I think the defense is not very good when they do the war with DVG. Okay.
Well, I know if it
DWG,
came
yeah.
down to you two doing
Yeah.
a fan vote, which team would be currently in
Yeah,
first place? I
yeah.
can
It's
check it with
okay,
the
but
boards
this is the
overall,
first
and you
game.
still have
But you see,
SCG
the
in
first
place, Bigatron in second.
Mm,
We
first
have some
top
teams in there who,
5.
well, I
No,
don't
maybe
believe
5
they're,
is
1 million.
Yeah,
But-
1
Gr-
million.
green
They're
green group
but you know what?
teams.
They're still your
Mm.
favorites, so we gotta respect it. Even Besiktas getting there.
So
at
who do you
number
think?
5.
I think
But
like
Maxman,
in this
we
group,
talked
who do you
about
think is
Power,
more
we talked about Sandstorm, having them as a team to watch,
promising
but
right
you
now?
had Reject, and Reject did some pretty
Perform
insane
me?
stuff, to be fair. especially against
Who
the
looks
fight up
promising.
against Inko.
Exactly.
Our green group looks very, very
really good time because there was HVVP
good.
behind them. There
Bro,
was some power, like they
why
were kind of
why
pressed
aren't you
for time
telling
in
our
that game. So
like
it's like,
Mongolian
okay,
fans
that
that are
compound's still in
watching
circle.
you
Let's just breach onto
that
reject,
they
see how it
should
works
go
out.
and vote
Thing
for
is, that
fan favorite
compound
team as
is very hard to
STG?
breach
I
because
can
you've got
see that
two main buildings in that
S2G
area.
is
Yeah,
on
yeah.
number
Reject
one
did
right
that was
now.
really smart. It's just
Where's
instead of
the
holding
G?
the
So
two buildings,
yeah, I
they're
tell
moving
this.
back as a
Yeah.
full squad going to one of the buildings.
Wait,
just make
listen,
the
I
left
will
side, and
tell
Inko
again.
just got
Заманахан PUBG
completely
тоглодог юм
caught
байвал
by that. Lost players
ороод
instantly, and then like squad didn't have
Star-Lord-тай
a shotgun,
саналаа
so of course not
өгөөрэй.
gonna win the fight. And
Одоо
it worked out
юу
great.
байгаа шүү
So I
дээ. Одоо
think
Game
that their
Center
reject
гэдэг
are
байгаа
looking
заяа. Ороод
confident the way we
нэг
wanted to,
мэйл
and I'm
хажууд.
happy to see
Тэгээ
their
ороод чат
mental fortitude was
товчлон
not
дараас
broken
нэг классик
after
дарахад
losing their spot
юу
in the final
цуглуулдаг шүү дээ.
62K. So amazing
Тэрэнд дээр
stuff.
ороод саналаа өгөөрэй.
Exactly, Sandstorm. I mean, the fact is, they were extremely close. When we say extremely close, they were dead even in points. It came down to a tiebreaker to determine who would get through directly.
The
to the
overall
finals.
rank
And for them to
VP
show up in their first
нэгтэй явж
match, but a
байна.
performance like this, already be top 16 from one match alone, that is a good sign of when it comes to them, and obviously their consistency.
Нэг.
Yeah. But a bad
Keep
sign
in
that we're seeing
message
from the
on
yellow
the
team
chat
is the
as
fact
well.
that the first 5 out
Yeah.
of 7 teams
Ороод
who were
манайхаа
eliminated
Godlike
were
Star-Lord
teams
саналаа
from
өгөөрэй.
group
PUBG
yellow.
л
We
гоож
see them group
тоглохдоо.
Vampire who were leading the pack at the start of the day are still
Үзэж байгаа хүмүүс stream-дээрээ
Neither one
лайк
is
болон
doing
share
themselves
хийгээд
solidly. They
үзээрэй.
go behind them, but when we go to the second page, we finally get to see some of the teams actually doing this for the first time. When it comes from group yellow and reject are getting dangerously close already, and that is only their first game. You can see the comparison.
За
They're
араас
who
нь
managed to play 6 games already.
за
So
IC одоогоор
like to buy
20 явж байгаа 3 оноотой.
So it's going to be a very interesting day for them tomorrow.
Гэтэ дээгүүр явж байгаа яг IC-ийн дээр явж байгаа өнөөдөр тоглолт ирэх болохоор гой оноогоо гой нөхөд ороод ирвэл гой байна.
Or downside, depending on how you look at it for them, is that they get to sit here and see what is that benchmark? What do we need to surpass going into that final day of games?
Miramar,
As you can see
who's
here,
chicken?
we have more matches coming your way. We got
I
Miramar
don't know.
coming up next. The second match of the day will be obviously
What you think?
There's still 2 Aaron
Who is
Gales.
chicken?
I want to
One
throw
set pop to come.
who I want
But if
to
you're on
have
the top of
chicken.
leaderboard here, I think my
I
question
chicken.
Yeah.
comes down to,
Okay.
you just continue
And
the pace that you're going at?
I'd
and
see your
try to
Inko,
experiment a little bit
because
more to
Inko
feel
also
No,
is-
confident
just
going
just
into the
tell
last
top
chance?
5.
Top five?
Is there any change
No,
in play
top
by
three,
teams at
okay,
all?
top
Are
three.
teams
Top
knowing that they're
three.
most likely gonna be through as long as they just
Alpha
maintain
7?
some sort of status quo?
Okay.
I would say if it
I'd
ain't
see-
broke, don't fix it. So I'm
Okay.
thinking that should be the approach for a lot of these
Bacon.
teams right now. Just want to make sure we make it into the top 16.
Alpha
If you're
7,
safe enough in the
I'd
middle
see
of the day
Bacon.
for the
Yeah.
teams of Group Green, then make
Okay.
sure you
For
mess
me,
around a little
maybe
bit, try things out,
HVVP,
but I would say
DVG,
for
and
Vampires,
VivoK.
HVVP, like top 6 teams currently are all teams
Okay,
from
so
Group
we
Green. So if
will
they want to
keep
Wait.
the
experiment,
predictions
Wait.
written.
But
Keep
those
it
Yeah,
written.
I will.
like, still not
I will
confirmed,
write
yeah, safe,
our
right?
prediction. Wait.
Let's not
Yeah.
forget, don't forget that
Write
there
the
is a
predictions.
prize pool for the survival stage and for the last chance as well. So the better that you do in this stage of the tournament as well, you're still ending up with a much bigger prize. And like Maxim said, it's not broke, no need to fix it, just keep going at the same pace that you're at right now and you should be perfectly fine. But we would like to see a change when it comes to the last chance stage of the tournament.
Okay, we'll take a look at our teams to watch here. We do have Max switching things up, going with power, going with
Taking my
bacon
team.
time, going with. I sure don't have these backwards.
It, actually, looking back at it, yeah, kinda.
Right?
I just took your picks out of the impression right now, Sandstorm. But I gotta say, Power has impressed me in that last game, so I'm like, I want to see a follow-up potential
Don't
from that.
curse
Maybe
them,
not
though.
a chicken dinner. Okay, hopefully I don't curse them. I hope not. But I do think Power showed some really different approach and really good aggressiveness compared to yesterday's matches. I think that is a change we needed to see from them. So I love to see these changes being made day to day, and I think that we needed that from Power. So I'm sold, and I want to see if they can hopefully keep up this momentum.
Okay, well, Sandstorm, your picks. You had Besiktas in there, you had GK, you had Tem Entertainment. What were their choices behind that one?
So you had Besiktas
So what you
and
say?
Tem Entertainment. both
Alpha
these teams
7?
dropped
Alpha
in
7?
Yasnaya, one team on the
IHC?
east, one team on the west.
I'd
And
see.
that was
What was the
kind of
third
like the
team
state
I
of
named?
play in their group
Wait,
stage.
I
And the fact
forgot.
that it's happening again
Inco.
in these games, but
Inco.
we're seeing Tem take the fight to
Okay.
Besiktas at the start, and the fact that they were
Okay, for
split
me
in
it's
the
a
start of the game, they lost a couple of
DWG.
members,
Hmm.
Tem managed to get a couple of kills. Same thing for GK. They
Viva
hooked up
Kate.
near Dom 1, near School, and near Rosa.
Maybe
which is their
Bacon,
usual
but
drop, again,
okay,
they
I
lost
will
players, so this has to
Viva
change
Kate or
going into
Bacon.
a
Ah,
No, I said
Okay,
bacon. I
We
said
need to start
bacon,
over, we need to get some
IHC.
points.
no, no, no. You
Alpha
said
7.
Inco.
No, no. Okay, okay, okay. Run back. Okay, run back the
Okay,
stream.
top four,
Things
top
going to our
four.
second match
Inco.
of the day.
Top three. I'll tell you. Alpha
Okay.
7, bacon, and what is this third team? Alpha 7, bacon.
I'd see or Inco.
IHC. Alpha 7,
Okay,
IHC. No, Alpha 7, IHC, bacon.
Okay. For me it's DVG,
Top
DWG,
3, top.
Viva Kate, and HVVP.
Okay, write it down.
Okay, let's see. Top
Okay.
3.
Done, bro. Let's
Done.
see whose prediction wins.
Okay.
What will
Bye.
the winner get? Wait. What will the winner get?
What you want?
Whatever the winner get. By the way, thank you for the gift, man, that you had sent. I just received it. The souvenir is from Mongolia.
Ah, okay, nice, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. So what
Okay.
what does the winner get? Wait. We will decide it later. We'll decide it later.
Decided when?
We will decide it after this game, Miramar game. That what will be the winner getting? Maybe a
But,
dinner party in Bali,
In Jakarta,
Jakarta.
you
Yeah,
mean?
done.
Okay. Done.
Dinner party in Jakarta. Let's go, coach.
Done.
Let's go. See you,
Let's
bro.
go.
See you, bro.
See.
Guys, तुम्हें क्या लगता है कौन जीतेगा? Miramar game. That what will be the winner getting? Maybe a
But-
dinner party in Bali. तौकीर भाई बता जॉनी
Jakarta.
स्विफ्ट प्लेयर क्या नहीं है क्या यार पागल हो क्या?
Okay.
कैसे?
Done.
Possible नहीं है. Let's go, coach.
Done.
Let's go. See you,
Let's
bro.
go.
वो थोड़ी ना
See.
बोल चुका हूँ मंगोलिया थोड़ी जाएगा वो. Guys, तुम्हें क्या लगता है कौन जीतेगा? Miramar game. That what will be the winner getting? Maybe a
But-
dinner party in Bali. तौकीर भाई बता जॉनी
Jakarta.
स्विफ्ट प्लेयर क्या नहीं है क्या यार पागल हो क्या?
Okay.
कैसे? हमको क्या मिलेगा? बताओ क्या चाहिए तुम लोगों को?
Let's go.
वो थोड़ी ना बोल चुका हूँ मंगोलिया. Whatever you want, I will do that. Wait, I'll start a poll again. फिलहाल हमारा इंग्लिश जीत चुका है 57%, so इंग्लिश ही लैंग्वेज रहेगी. Now we will do
Okay.
हमको क्या मिलेगा? बताओ क्या चाहिए तुम लोगों को? वो थोड़ी ना बोल चुका हूँ मंगोलिया. Whatever you want, I will do that. Wait, I'll start a poll again. फिलहाल हमारा इंग्लिश जीत चुका है 57%, so इंग्लिश ही लैंग्वेज रहेगी. हाँ पता है रिपीट हो रही थी वो मैंने ऑन रखा था. Ask a question. ट्रबल मेकर मेरे को जॉब चाहिए. I think we spoke, bro. Yeah, we'll look into it, bro. Give me a while on that. How are you? All good, Lakshya Pahwa. All good, bro. लाला वॉच पार्टी कर रहा है उसको बुला. लाला डिस्कॉर्ड पे नहीं है भाई. लाला इज बिजी और वो वॉच पार्टी नहीं कर रहा है. अभी मैं देख रहा हूँ वो खेल रहा है. अरे पहली बेकन को उठा लिया. मेरा एक ऑप्शन तो पहले ही बाहर हो गया बेकन वाला. दो प्लेयर छोड़ गए. लाला को बुला लो. बोल तो रहा हूँ लाला इज प्लेइंग. अभी चेक कर रहा था मैं. यार अल्फा 7 इसमें बहुत अच्छा खेलती है. यहाँ से बेसिकतास और आईएचसी का पहली बसड. बेकन का गया एक और नहीं वही दो थे. क्लैश ड्रॉप क्लैश किसने आईएचसी ने लिया है.
And we're back. It's me, Blank. I'm all by myself.
Caster
Don't
sound
worry
क्यों नहीं
about
आ
it.
रही है?
It's
Good
fine.
question.
John is just
क्यों
on
नहीं
a
आ
little
रही
bit
है?
of a vacay at the moment.
मैंने
He's
ऐसा
sorting
क्या
things
कर
out in his own time,
दिया?
but we'll get him back to you as soon as possible. Besiktas here. Obviously, you've been watching, you've been enjoying the game in the meantime, which is great to hear. I like to see it. VPE
अरे ये
currently
उनके साइड
84
से
points,
प्रॉब्लम
so
है, ये
very
मेरे
far
साइड से
ahead,
प्रॉब्लम
looking
नहीं
like
है.
they're in a good
Now.
spot in terms of Group Green. HVP down in 71 points, not able to get as many points as they would have liked that last game, but there's not a lot of teams catching them up here. Power, though, 43 points. That's a big jump up for them. That was happy days. They've overtaken Skylights Gaming there, and A7 put themselves in a decent-ish position over with 62 points. Remember, this is another one of our teams that will play out their final games today. We had 6 games from Group Green yesterday, and now obviously 6 more games for Group Green today too. That will be their 12 matches concluded heading into tomorrow. Group Green will have to cross their fingers and
ताकिर मैंने रूटर
pray
भी डाउनलोड
that
कर
they
लिया.
do
लाला
not
की
have
स्ट्रीम
that
देख रहे हैं
issue
वो.
coming
रूटर
through for
डाउनलोड नहीं
themselves.
किया, मैंने वेबसाइट
Power, though,
ओपन कर ली
43
थी
points.
भाई.
That last game was very nice. They do keep putting up those kind of performances, though, considering the day they had
अब सही
yesterday.
है.
That is what happens when you don't get a nice buffer on. In the meantime,
गॉर्डल
though, Besiktas
मस्त
already lost one of their players, which is
मस्तान
really not a good
BTC.
start for them coming through from Group Yellow. Luckily, they will take down Icy here. Zessi being able to pick up that elimination.
रूटर
However,
मेरे पास
isn't
रूटर
too
का
late
अकाउंट
for
भी
them,
था यार, वो वेरीफाइड
with
भी
the
है.
rest of
मैंने
IC
कभी यूज
actually
ही
being
नहीं
able to
किया.
converge on their position. This is still a case of 2 teams battling head-to-head at the moment. And with not a lot of loot in this area for Besiktas to be able to comfortably grab moving from building to building, they might be struggling slightly.
गई आज सी
Gamelord
भी.
back on board with them. 2 eliminations so
अबे
far,
क्या
so
हो
doing
गया?
very, very well for themselves. Still at 4 players as well, which is nice to see. We'll be looking for a little bit more points in this game. Unfortunately,
एक
total
सेकंड
of
कॉफी
only
लेके
4
आता
from
हूँ.
that last game is not really good, so they do need a bit of a pop-off game this time around. And if they don't grab that, you know, again, that buffer is a little bit rough. Now, Rob's over towards in Gamelord's region over in Western Europe was just the king of the actual DBS itself. And it looks like they're absolutely putting in the damage, putting in the work, and Inco Gaming suffering heavily because of it.
Hopefully I'm back, Blank. Hopefully I'm back into the mix with Gamelord on the hillside, right next to Inco as I just get back up to speed with what's been going on. Blank, it looks like there's been a little bit of chaos here on Miramar so far at the start of the game. Gamelord, they've taken a knock, but they've got a whole chunk of points coming on through. On this eastern side. Hacienda looking at pretty well controlled right now. Besiktas getting enveloped by the blue near IHC. Both teams with 3. This is all the way out in Al Zahar. They're sort of locked into this combat, Blank. No one really with the vehicles to get out of there at the moment.
Alex now looking over towards Besiktas. These boys are now out in the blue, so a little bit rough for them, but will start to make their way in. 7 minutes into the game so far, so blue will be moving. There's only a couple of teams out on the outside. Besiktas, obviously, as well as IHC and Tem Entertainment down towards that southeast side. Hope, Geeke, looking up towards Vivo Keed, up on the highest of heights. And you could also be up on the highest of heights in terms of elation and enjoyment when you do grab yourself that 2022 Pmgc special crate. So make sure you're heading in-game to pick that one up over on PUBG Mobile. That's running from December 5th all the way through January 8th.
Got plenty of time, Blank, plenty of time, but it's not out just yet. You still got to wait. I know it's the first day of December right now. We've got 4 more still to go before those will start to run. Circle on that northwest side, just about to pop, and again, goes northwest. HVVP controlling a massive triangle of area there, with Tixi as that south outpost. Going to be slowing down a lot of teams, Blank.
Yeah, this is now really a position where you want HVP to start regrouping. That high ground that Tixi's currently on is absolutely gargantuan in terms of being able to perform from there. We have seen a lot of times in the past, though, through several different regions, especially in PMPL, that if you take up this position, it's not as insurmountable as you might hope it would be. There's a lot of teams, including Inco's position, which is just off towards that eastern side, that can rock up towards the top. You can easily get up there with a buggy and quite quickly, too. You could even head through La Cobreria. And that's what's difficult about Tixi's position at the moment, is because the circle is so towards that northern side, doesn't make it massively priority for HVVP, but they still have to hang on to it just for informational gain and also for a little bit of that presence sake, right? You want to make sure that you have that ability to head up there later on if you want to hold out in that position on the high ground, taking shots down towards everyone underneath.
Shots towards Phaser, working out fairly well for the enemy right now. Ventura's very likely to be going down, will be taken away by Akashi. Now 5 eliminations for the French squad, Game Lord. Do really want to keep up and proving themselves that they deserve to be here after their showing in those European Championships. It wasn't super hopeful for them, with only 4 points on that first game. Getting 5 eliminations already. It's looking pretty solid. Tony K over the hillside from Reject right now. Gets up and for the first really, really cleanly. Tries to get away with it, but there's an off angle. Ragey look at it, lay down the Mini 14 shots, and it will be good to find Tony K. Will be able to get the teammate back up and phase down a player as they move in on that south side. Trying to push in past Game Lord, but Game Lord will not allow that either. Narvalo able to land the shots over to MR5. Plank on the hillside. Ragey pinches it away.
I mean, for Narvalo, just the moving shots with the DMR, honestly, with that kind of scope as well, it is very impressive, to say the least. I think he realizes that when there was other teams that area, so he had to be quick with it, and he was able to get up there, get that elimination done and dusted, and I think that looks more like the Narvalo that we've come to expect and love, and I think there was a lot of disappointment coming through from the Western European fans for Game Lord, expecting to do a little bit more, get a little bit more done. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and getting through from Pmgc points alone with the state of things over in that championship was very, very unfortunate.
ऐसा कुछ
So
नहीं
I
है
do
यार.
think that when you're looking at it at the moment, this is a good start for
Router
them,
पे
with
stream
5
करो,
eliminations
पैसा ही
coming through
पैसा.
the Miramar.
काहे
It
का
was always a map
पैसा
that they were
भाई?
able to succeed on before. I think when they were in their heyday, it kind of looked like, you know, Erangel was really where they were
अभी
popping
किस
off a
किस
lot
की
of
होगी?
times. But Miramar,
आईसी का एक
Camera,
प्लेयर
all
गया,
started for the guys from Game Lord.
चलेगा.
He's trying to
बेकन के
filter
2
out the
गए.
bullets from Maki right now. Actually,
Alpha
working
7.
out pretty well. Lycan staying frosty, but unfortunately there's 2 players right in front of him. He gets to safety on
कितना
one
पैसा
end. He's
देते
just
होंगे
going to
फिर?
get shut down here. I don't think he lasts too long. No way does he get away with this. And there's shots coming through. HVVP suppressing these positions. I think they might be as well. Might also be coming from Vivo Keed on the other side of it. It's really difficult in this valley. Goodness me.
I mean, for Lycan, he has been on one hell of a journey for himself alongside with the rest of the teams. Great nade, though, will take down Noise, and that leaves Bacon time with just 1 player remaining. Now, maybe if they'd regrouped and trying to head towards this position in the first place, perhaps they could have taken down Lycan, but you bring a good point, John, in the sense that there is very
Renjo.
little amount of area that you can
Goal
take in this
must-
space, purely with the amount of high ground that HVP is currently controlling and the high altitudes in this area.
गया
full
बेकन भी
stop.
गया,
There's a
बेकन भी
lot
गया,
of teams
बेकन
you
भी
can
गया.
see, there's a lot of teams that can take
दूसरा
shot
एक
down
और गया
towards the
बेकन का.
position. Tem Entertainment
शाबाश.
taking that position that does challenge HVV spot up on that ridge side, that massive high
फकीर भाई
ground,
अपना
which they're currently using
लोको
very
रूटर
much
बना
their
दो.
advantage. Now, say Tem Entertainment could maybe challenge,
ये
but
कोई
they're
बड़ी
getting
बात
picked
नहीं है
apart.
बनाना, बट उसको चलाने का भी बाद में होता है. उसमें
Got
बहुत
those
पैसा
angles
लगता
when
है.
playing
कैश
3 at
बर्न
the top
बहुत है
as
और
well.
बहुत हेडेक
Now
है.
they've left Tixi
हम
down
लोग एक
south.
काम
He knows
करें
this
एक
area
प्लेटफॉर्म
very,
पे,
very
वॉच
well.
टर्न.
General scouting
जैसे आप
position.
फॉर
Vivo
एग्जांपल
Keed on the opposing
जैसे
side of it.
स्ट्रीमर पैसा कमाता है
Holding
स्ट्रीम
off
करने
against
से,
Reject
तो
and
आप
actually
स्ट्रीम
just hold them
देखते हुए
straight on
पैसा
out
कमा
immediately.
सकते हो.
Reject
वैसे कॉन्सेप्ट पे
eliminated.
हम काम कर रहे हैं.
Squad to nothing, burnt to ashes there. Really unfortunate. Vivo Keed picking up 5 eliminations so far on the game. Brazilian team looking good to start off their Miramar.
Didn't have a massive splash over in the Americas Championship. However, they did still look very good. I think for a team that has come a long way, again, in terms of improvement, in terms of performance, it's fantastic stuff. Now, Power, another
भाई,
team that's looking to
Vivo
continue to
की
get
5
these big
kills हो गई.
score points on the board for themselves, knowing that they're going out at the end of the day. This is excellent news. 3 eliminations, or potential eliminations here, and 3 knocks. There's not much more they can do, but a beautiful nade there comes through. In the meantime, Game Lord is getting absolutely decimated, the guy from HVVP, and just like that, Tem Entertainment goes out in 15th place, 0
अगर
eliminations.
इसने नेट टाइम किया ना सही,
Yeah,
टेम गई.
Peace was able
गई.
to get the headshot over onto the final
गई.
player,
3
and that
गए.
eliminates the entire
अब
squad.
पुश.
Besiktas, another points qualifier so far, but only 2 points on the first game from the Turkish region
अरे
coming on through. But Peace is looking to pick up a couple more as Robs will fall
इसने
to
अपनी
him.
प्लेयर को नॉक कर
They're
दिया.
up on the hillside, very, very low. Probably going to be looking to heal, but Rob's taken away. Actually, HVVP are going to be able to command that one. Player on the outside as well, as HVVP continue to use this dominant high ground position. Shots coming through, and Game Lord swept aside.
Yeah, this is always a fantastic spot, especially when you're HVP able to take as many shots as you like down towards
HVP
this
kill
area
खा
of the
गया
map.
ऊपर से.
And again, it's that clearing
Nice.
potential, and HVP certainly has it. Next circle.
यार
they
हमारे
head
साथ
up
पता है
towards that
कितनी किल
northwest
चोरियां
side, so
हुई
they
हैं.
have to leave this ridge
पूछो
side now.
मत.
They've let their presence be known. A lot of teams should be aware of the eagle up in the nest now. Power certainly will be. And I think for HVP, winning the total power would be really, really nice just for them. In terms of rotational paths, I think this is one of the teams that could stab them in the back. So Tixi currently having a little bit of a gander down towards the south side of the ridge, making sure there's no teams that are coming up from behind. Again, it's this new type of play style. It's very, very CIS orientated, which is I think it kind of originated there as well, where it's the 2-2 split, but it's 2 inside the circle, 2 out towards the blue. Can't really do that so
नोवा
much
ने किल
anymore with
चुराया
the
था.
circle
नोवा
setting, but
ने
what you can
कोई
do is
4
have
या
2
5
players very
चुराई
close to
थी
the
और
edge of the
HVVP
circle
ने
and
ज्यादा
2
कमाई
players
चुराई.
scouting
बहुत किल्स
from
चुराई थी
outside
हमारी.
that blue side. They
क्या
have
करें?
sent Tixi as well as Meku very far out in the blue at the moment.
तुम
Trying to pick up
सिर्फ
maybe some loot there,
टॉप
which
का
is fair
डैमेज
enough.
देखना है यार.
Look at
डैमेज
that
कितना था
utility,
उसका.
make sure you can smoke out that position before you do head down the hillside.
Yellow trying to take shots over towards GK, but getting peppered away. I think there was a third-party angle coming through. I imagine from HVVP, they continue to leverage their position. You can see them moving westward along those ridges. We'll be trying to control there. Vampire up in La Copraria. One of their players down. Schwepp is close by, which shouldn't be should be a little bit trickier maybe than you'd like to get up and get for that res. Power on the hillside against Besiktas. Besiktas trying to roll on through at the moment. Peace is very, very low. He's been picking away at the points for the rest of from the rest of the lobby, but it's not going to go well here against Power. Rolling off the back of a chicken dinner. They're going to be able to find Besiktas, bring them down in 13th place.
What do you mean
Essentially
13,500?
5 eliminations now, which is good stuff. Tixi does go down. That's from A7. Carrillo.
Yeah, वो तो ST का overall था
A
ना.
lot of damage in the meantime. That's from Matic. And now Mythic looks to try and administer the medication. However, some good shots coming through from HVB will keep that position nice and held down. Again, this is one of the spots that
यार ये जा रहे हैं HVP पे fight लेने के
so,
लिए.
for them getting a lot of those knocked over towards Power, which opened up a lot more for Besiktas to get done. HVP's almost open the door for themselves to get in towards this circle. I think continuing to challenge out towards that northern side, or towards La Copadilla itself, maybe not the most smart idea, I'd say, just because you expose yourself to a lot of angles when you could just head towards the center. I mean, Vitali's holding out all on his lonesome in one of a very, very nice compound towards that north side. No one's challenged him. That could be a very easy spot that HVP could send over towards.
ये फाइट मजेदार है अगर अल्फा 7 और HVP के बीच में फाइट जो
Figure out how to regroup here. We are in zone 4. It's probably likely that you're going to need to get a little bit closer to one another fairly soon. EK with 2 players still alive. Hope on the side, trying to spot out these Vivo key players. Next circle could really change things up for them, and in fact it will do. On that south side, it's really going to isolate those teams who have been on the high ground for so long. And actually, Skylights Gaming, with their 2-2 split, in some really priority positions.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot for Skylights Gaming, but now Vitali's position becomes really, really influential. Now, this is where I'm saying that, HVB could definitely send out towards this spot, go for the crash. It's a little bit more difficult because you don't know if there's a 4-man squad over here or not. So getting that scouting down early is going to be slightly more difficult to get done. But it is certainly a position that is now very free, and teams just don't know it yet. Down 1 Gaming, rolling up on VPE. 2 heavy hitters heading against one another. Already and starting things out strong versus Fluketh.
Yeah, anybody who is new here, go like the stream and make sure you keep the bell icon.
And the rest of Vampire fell off. They didn't have control of those sight lines. They weren't backing up Fluke on that wall. They decided to just invest on keeping 3 alive instead, but they might lose a little bit more than that now. With 1 more player stoned, trapped on the upstairs.
ये fight भी मजेदार है DWG और इसकी Vampire
across the road, maybe looking at some of these shots, but with the smokes already bloomed here, Vampire, there's not a lot you can do. Drops out. Actually, there's knocks coming through from a third party. IHC entering the mix of things. Running across the road. That smoke on his front left, just about to fade away, and IHC are covering this crossing. A very, very difficult move to make for Vampire, but they're just trying to stay alive at this stage, Blank. They'll take what they can get. IHC are on every single side of them, but for some way,
Oh,
manage to
sang
drop
gaya
those
niche.
smokes, allow themselves through that path, stops, gets across to the wall.
It was always going to be difficult to leave this position, and you might think, because
Nice.
we always say this, you don't want to head into a city too early, but I think for these players, they realized that there wasn't really anywhere else for them to go at this point in time. Heading towards this area was probably one of the safest bets they could have picked up. And going out in the open zone, you're more likely going to get shot at by Skylights Gaming, or assume that there is a 4-man squad over towards where Inco Gaming and Vitali is currently playing, get shot at by them. So overall, a difficult push for a lot of these players. Pmgc do find at least one over towards Geek, currently trying to make their way through in the blue, but 2 go down. That's from HVP. Tixi as well as Kitsune heading in for the backstab here, acting as the rogues in stealth, and they drop out and will hit the ambush.
This is what you want to see from HVVP, moving through, sweeping at their back, and not going to be vulnerable. The center crash, it might have been solid, it might have been good, but they decide instead they just want to take control of more area in these final
Geeky ko
circles.
kya ho gaya yaar?
He'd have so much to worry about. Sliver of HP on the final player.
Low bacon bhi
Take
gaya.
a tumble. HVVP putting Vivo Keyed under massive, massive amounts of pressure on this south side. They want these ridge lines, they want these hills all to themselves, and quite frankly, there's no one stopping them right now.
Yeah, I think the sweep down towards the south side is actually a really, really intelligent decision from them. Taking the sweep down towards the south side means they have more time to play out towards the north, understanding that, up towards that northeast side, that's a huge hotspot. They don't want to challenge that out. If they can start, slowly eliminating some of these teams down towards the south side and clearing out one by one,
Tixi akele push dega.
than taking to those teams on the north side. Sure, they might be able to do it, but at what cost, realistically? Right now, they're picking up 9 eliminations, looking nigh on 10 for almost free, to be honest with you.
Matic repositions after the shots came through. Tixi keeps them on the swivel. This is solidly how you deal with a player. You don't want to get into nade range. Tixi has taken a little bit of damage from it. Meku still just keeping those sightlines clear, keeping them covered off, maintaining some high ground presence as well. Agrelin, last player standing for Vivo Keyed. To be fair, stayed alive for quite a while, but I imagine that's going to be the end of it. Kitsune gets the burn down on the knock. A resupply comes through. 10 eliminations now for HVP as they start to ramp up on this south edge.
It really took their time with that as well. They didn't want to lose a single player to any silly little knocks or flushes coming through. It happens far too many times than I can count, where you have one player that you go up against and you win the fight, sure, but you lose a player in the process. And going 4v1, being dropped down to 3 after that is not something you feel very good about. Now, I like that Meku remained in the back lines. They understood that they only needed 3 players for that if they took it slow. There wasn't a lot of sight lines from the north side that could really challenge them out. Now, HVP hold a very strong spot to just take some really good sight lines up towards that northern side, especially as a 4-man squad. They have a lot of angles that they can cover. They can cover their back easily. And again, they're playing this 2-2 split almost. You have 2 on the outside watching towards the blue, making sure there's no one coming through from those unexpected angles.
HVP classic rush, yes,
so
very good rush.
And you just really like this type of play. It's a team that has a massive engine in them that they can start burning when it needs to go. But in the meantime, they keep it on idle when it needs to stay cool.
Vampire continue with 3. First elimination of the game. Their miraculous crossing did go well.
अब Vampire, मुझे लगता है Vampire और इसकी ओबे लग गई है 7 और इसकी.
Push comes through. Ziol around the outside, just stopping them from hopping out the back.
Vampire ने Godless को दे दिया.
Spotted. That's done one on the third-party engagement there.
Come on, Alpha 7.
Around the edges, with those off angles. Well, not off angles. The high ground position will be good. HVVP dispatch power in the meantime, but IHC actually doing a lot of work. One player down, looking for the flush, will be able to find it. Steps out, doesn't take any damage. This is really masterfully played here by Ziol, but finally does get taken down as Ravenclaw sends out wide. Vampire knocked down.
DWG अच्छे spot पे थे, अच्छी third party कर सकते हैं वहाँ से. गया power भी बाहर, भाई वो भी HVP ने उठा लिया.
As they lie down the hill from them. And that's a position that nobody really wants to be in when HVVP are on 4.
Yeah, I mean, Alpha 7 is in a really good spot. A lot of teams over from the city were available, and angling themselves towards where Alpha 7 were playing. Meku picks himself up a massive 4K there. Really good stuff coming through from him.
ये आ गया
Will
Alpha
just
7 पे push.
clear out a huge amount of space. Not
HVP
the 4K,
chicken
just
लेके
the
जाएगी
3,
भाई.
so Revo's still up and kicking. Meku, oh dear me. I think without the level 3, that could have been game over for him. Blessing his lucky soul, he did hold on to that for a long while, but look how looted and booted these guys are. Even with the AWM, looking to put in the hurt towards these guys. As soon as they step out, if you can hit that shot, I mean, with down one game and the amount of fights they've taken, the best is going to be really damaged, so he should do the damage. That is a bold shot. I'll give him that. I like that he went for it.
He's going for another as well. Not going to be able to land them with the AWM. Center circle, Vitali has stayed
Forest ना
alive this
बहुत
whole
अच्छा
time.
sniper है. I want to
In a
see that
barely undetectable
car
spot.
लेके बैठा है वो.
To be fair, it's covered off from a lot of angles. Unlikely that anyone actually
अब Tixi के
is
पास
gonna detect this
AWM है.
until it becomes the focal point of the next circle.
Yeah, Inco Gaming is playing for last chance. That is about it so far. I think that they have had some great games, but on top of that, they've also been able to hold on some very good central positions and find themselves in an area where it works out for them. Fabian underneath the vehicle. Tixi still just trying to find these shots. Gets a good one. Doesn't quite eliminate the player. More shots coming through, and that little bit of damage is all that they need
ले इनको
to
वाला.
put the rest of the hurt in.
भाई यहाँ sniping competition चल रहा है.
Vampire extracting their points as well from the down one roster as they get pulled apart at the seams by everybody. 15 eliminations
Oh,
now
लग
for
गया.
PvP. This early into the game, at 26 minutes with 13 players still alive, this is mad coming through from the squad. Tixi lands another Orm shot and Kitsune picks up the point for
गया
them.
DWG.
16 eliminations now. Matic moves down the hillside, playing a 2-1-1 right now.
Tixi की 15 kills, HVP की 15 kills.
Disgusting game coming through from HVP. Matic spots the player, but it's quickly.
भाई मुझे लगता है ये यहाँ से आराम से 20 kill निकाल के जाए. 20 kill का chicken लगा लेंगे.
Very far up the tables if they can secure themselves the chicken dinner as well. 2011s would set them up at 35 points, sailing them directly towards triple digits. Tixi's still got bullets in the magazine for this bad boy and looks to let it roar once again, just like Captain Messi.
17 kill.
It's the old extended mag.
Whoa, HVP is on another level. इनको spot जबरदस्त मिल गया लेकिन. Alpha 7 भी बाहर में शर्त हार गया.
Might be pivotal in their control there. Ravenclaw, last player standing for Vampire, who've done very, very well to get out of La Cobreria, but the fact that Vitali is still in this Renko is nutty. He is in such a sequestered little spot as well. There's no angle where you can see him until you push in, and that's going to be HVV.
अब ये
I think for Inco Gaming, they'll be hugely pleased with this.
Skylight को
Very
पकड़ेंगे.
unlikely not to see them going through to last chance now. The amount of times they've been able to go for this playing possum play and get towards the end of the game is great news. I mean, I don't expect anything massive coming out from them in last chance just yet. I still have my reservations about this team, but what I will say is that they are absolutely dogged and determined to get towards the end of these survival stages.
इनको तुझे पता है last का एक बंदा top 4 में लेके गया यार. अरे उठा दिया.
Unfortunately, it is Nima with the backtrack finds one.
अब इनको रिज से नीचे आना है. यहाँ पे देखते हैं फाइट कैसे निकालते हैं.
So for the rest of the team, it's about getting that damage in, getting that utility thrown. It's a great Molotov. It hits
अबे
a
knock ले
nasty
लिया.
burn to one of the players. And Matic's
इनको
able
वाला
to pick
गया.
up a flaming kill on that side, looking to put a barbecue on for the rest of Skylights Gaming.
Oh, Vitali's down. I think they managed to pick that one up. So Inco are out. With the chaos being sown by the forward position from HVVP, there's potential to go for this res. It looks like they might be able to do so. And Ravenclaw is capitalizing on it as well. Goodness me, that is a mad crawl. So bold coming through Nima. Could be good. Just over the wall. Is it too short? I think it didn't quite make it over and stayed on the cover for HVVP. They did get the res out on the back as well, which gives HVVP 4 players and a position near to the building as they roll on up to the wall. Playing on that door frame. That was bold. It was in full sight of that door, but the smoke was there.
Yeah, it was a necessary pickup on that knock there for Meku, but I think what enables that is Matic getting that Molotov.
Ravenclaw किसी को भी वहाँ पे बीटी दे सकता है. किसी को भी वहाँ पे बैठ के बीटी दे देगा.
Within the building, not likely to going to be challenging any of those doorways. So a very, very smart move there. Yes, it doesn't provide elimination, but it does give you is more of an even fight to take versus the guys from Skylights Gaming. This circle, if HVP can get them to a position down towards the south side, you know, it will be a case of Skylights Gaming having to leave this building into the sightlines of HVP. Of an AUG in Kitsune's hands and the accuracy coming through from these guys today, it's going to be super difficult to leave. Manju already finds one.
And there's another as well for Tixi on the off angle. Skylights Gaming, they had to move, you're right, Blank. But hang on a minute, there's an answer. There is a shot over towards Mecha and Ravenclaw is
Tixi ने
still
और
here.
दो
Skylights
निकाल
are
दिया,
down,
बचा एक.
3 players standing. And
फिर
Vampire
Skylight
making
wiped
all the
out.
way up to second, but you're right, over 20 eliminations now on the cards for HVVP. Legendary coming on through. That nade, he steps out, gets a little bit too big for your boots, and this is the HVVP.
कितने किल का चिकन निकाला भाई इनने?
2 days straight, Blank. This is the squad that we've wanted to see for so long. And they don't even seem that flustered by it. Look at that, Kitsune congratulating the team.
I mean, it just seems so calm. And I think that is realistic, a realistic celebration for these guys, honestly, going into that game. Yes, that game's going to send them up in terms of prize pool earnings, but also it was just so well played. There was hardly any mistakes that were made all the way through, and I will say that something has occurred within the team, and it's just a case of the lads are now figuring out when to play passive, when to play careful, and when to bring out that inner lion that they have within themselves, because this entire team has suffered for all year long, even maybe 2 years back, a case of being too aggressive at the wrong times, being maybe too unaggressive other times. 3 players with 1,000 damage is kind of insane. And again, this is what I'm talking about. Tixi, 679, arguably their best fragger on the team. However, he is hanging back and he's doing damage where it's necessary. He is really the linchpin of the team when it comes to those clutches and allowing the rest of the team to work around him, play around him, to pick up those damage counts. It's a selfless player, and that's what you need.
22.
What a way for HVP to make their mark here on Miramar as well, taking on any contenders to the spots that they held. They move through and they dominate the lobby.
Check, 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 check. Oh man. Mic check, bro. Mic check. You were right, bro. 22 kills, chicken. They got the best spot, man.
Yeah.
For them,
Best
it was
spot.
like easy to pick up those kills.
Yeah. I win.
22 kills, bro. You win, bro. You win. I owe you a dinner now.
Okay, after.
Yeah. This is the second chicken dinner, yeah?
For HVVP?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I think yes.
celebration
The
second.
chicken in yesterday in
MVP there
Sandhawk
was a
match.
little bit of a
Yeah.
letdown, considering they picked up 22
Wow.
eliminations.
Bro,
in first
inko,
place.
freaking
37
hell.
points coming
The
in
guy
from
was
HVP.
hiding in
That
the
would
bus.
solidifies them a spot
Yeah.
into
HVP
our
didn't
last
work.
chance kicking off into
Sarel
phase two.
start.
Phenomenal match out of them, and honestly, Maxman, you were
37
kind of
total
commentating
points,
on it as we were
22
watching.
22
That
kill.
resign they played
Фүү,
is
30.
fantastic.
The way they transitioned also from position to
Зарим
position,
багуудын
making sure they're
өдөрт
clearing all of
ах
those
оноо
in a south
хүрхгүй
was
оноог нь баг
something
нэг
of
тоглолтод
absolute
авчлаа баг.
beauty
Өчтөр
from
power бол
HVP.
10 хэд
22
оноод байсан шүү дээ.
And
Тэрийг
as much as I think Tigsy's an
96
amazing
матчийн
player,
оноог нь бүр нуглаад
Meku is
авчлаа
the
баг.
player that really enabled
What
all
is-
of this to happen in
What
the
is
first
our
place. He was
highest
keeping
kill
tabs
in
on
one match?
as for some point of the time, he was
Our
out
highest
some
is
position, out
maybe,
for 7
I don't
also.
know.
He was enabling his team to
Maybe-
play this position the way they were able to
No, I
do
have
in
no
this
idea.
match. And
I will
you said
tell
it
wrong.
right when we saw the
Yeah,
stats.
Point
we'll
me.
3
check,
players
we'll
with
check.
over 1,000 damage is something you very
Yeah.
rarely.
Wow. Ask Senator how you handle all of
About
them.
4,000 damage.
How you
throughout
handle
that
all of
game
them.
from the entire
Top
squad of
action
HVVP,
Screepy.
an
How
insane
do you
amount of
handle the team?
eliminations, and
I handled in the
Group
beginning,
Green coming out with
3 years
pure
ago.
power in today's games.
Senator
I do
is
want to
there
point out that
actually,
yet again,
Daddy.
the second game of today,
Daddy.
6
Papa
out of the
Senator.
7 teams eliminated at the start were Group Yellow. Not
I see
a
сэтгэл
single
зүйч юм
team
болов уу
from
гэдэг.
Group Yellow has
Сэтгэл
made it
зүйчгүй
into
хаа.
top 5 of this game either.
Амар
Group Yellow is having
яа.
a very rough go of it, but this is a good sign for the
Automatic.
teams that had a rough
Automatic
start
гэдэг
from
байгаа
Group
шүү дээ.
Green in day one of the competition, because right now they can
do their best, get as many points as possible, and try to focus on eliminating teams.
За манайх stream дээр reaction болон share-ийг үзээрэй. Анхаарал нэмдэг notify гэж бичээд үзээрэй. Дараа дараагийн stream-тэй хамтдаа зүг бай шүү. Манайхан бас PUBG л байгаа. PUBG тоглож байгаа хүмүүс байвал Stalwart, Godlike Stalwart-тойгоо саналаа өгөөрэй.
We're going to finish breaking down this record game here out of HVVP, and we'll be thrown over to our next match shortly.
Галзуу байна.
Somebody is telling me our highest is 28.
28?
Yeah.
No, I not remember, bro. I need to see. To check.
Check. Big check.
Yeah. Big check.
Actually, some of the guys call me a bad omen on the stream sometimes. They say whatever team we support, they lose. I picked up Bacon, they lost in the moment they took a drop, they lost 2 players.
Санал яаж өгөх вэ? Оронготлын нөөний мэйл шалгадаг хэсэг дээр нөө e-sport center гэ байгаа. Тэндээ н ороод chat дээр дараал зоонууд байгаа. Ингээ зоонуудаа сонгоол тэгэл өгөндөө. Авиан HVP гал асаачлаа. ST ясын ST ногоон группээс нэгээр гарч ирээд Grand Final-д шалгарсан. Одоо Navi, DVP, Bacon гэсэн багуудтай тоглоод Alpha 7 байна, Inco байна.
This is their chance to get warmed up. However, I would say
So I
this.
never picked
game.
up. I never said Inco. I said
Bacon,
A7. I said Bacon, A7, and what is this called? IHC.
Gentlemen, did you know the Sony Xperia 1.4 and Xperia stream?
But it seems like I made HVP very upset.
Esports players, did you guys know that?
I do.
Skylight kind of choked, right? They had a compound.
Yeah, they have a compound, but they not have the advantage map control because just Navi need to wait and the blue zone coming,
Yeah.
so they need to go outside in the compound.
Well,
So
maybe I won't watch you play competitive.
Navi have a
but I
more
will watch you
advantage
stream.
in this game.
Hey, the last time we played against one another, Jason, you tried to roll me over with a buggy.
I did.
So I am still scared of it.
Well, it's fine though because I've got Prime Gaming now, so I've got my free
Crazy.
consumable items in game as well as other premium content to make sure to roll you over next time whenever that is going to happen, and you won't have someone to save you.
Let's see.
Though it might be in real life. I don't know. Just in game.
ominous.
Just
Okay, bro, I go to
Let's
the
take a look at
toilet
overall
and
rankings, idea of where things do stand
let's
here.
meet
HVP,
after.
again with that
Cool.
massive
Okay.
result, do take first place here at 108 points total. However, looking down the list here, we are seeing a couple of teams still holding on. For instance, LGD, who isn't playing today, Titan Gaming, who isn't playing today, and even Bigatron Red Alien still maintaining a top 12 position at the moment.
I'm just looking at the leaderboard. This is absolutely terrifying. I mean, it's just going to be a group green at the start, and of course in the top half of the leaderboard. Of course, we're still waiting for Group Red's games tomorrow. But the more important one, of course, is going to be the second page because we're seeing Reject, first team to reach the 16th place, but still. The last 7 spots all belong to Group Yellow.
Lala
And keep in
watch
mind,
party
it's only
कर
been 2
रहा
games.
है,
It's
बुलाओ
only been 2 games.
उसको.
Power had 1 good game
Lala
so far
बहुत
today, and
पीछे
they
है.
jumped into the first half, but still.
Tem
There's a lot.
Entertainment, though, I think would be currently the biggest surprise / upset of what we've been seeing because they sold us absolute gold into the league stage during Group Yellow. Last place currently, I do expect a comeback coming out from this team, but not the start we were expecting after what they did in their group.
I mean, to be fair, I think for teams from Group Yellow is you can obviously look at matches yesterday and kind of get an idea of where you think people are going to be going or whatnot. But teams have to adapt to drop spots because there's an entirely new 8 teams in the lobby, right? So it's really hard to predict if people will commit to their spots they had before yesterday. Will they change things up today? But one thing I can at least commit to is our teams to watch here, gentlemen. Let's actually get an idea of what you two did choose because it didn't work out too well in the last match, if I remember correctly. You see, Maxman. I mean, at some point you had to go with Game Lord, right?
Yeah, I just had to, the small French portion of me just had to pick Game Lord eventually. They had a really good start of this previous game. They were fragging out. They went up against which team was it? I don't recall even. But they just were fragging out, getting eliminations all over the place. And then they do this really weird rotation into HVVP's high ground position next to Crater Fields. that I did not understand. So I just would like to see maybe a little bit more scouting and prep on their rotations. But they're looking aggressive, which no, at least they're not playing reserved like they did potentially in previous PMPLs where they struggled versus top tier teams. So there's, I feel like, a change of mentality, which is good, but we need to see still a little bit more when it comes to at least the IGLing for my cash.
Okay. Well, Sandstorm, you went with Power again, which I can understand. But GK, why'd you go with them?
So for GK and for Besiktas, it kind of goes for both. You mentioned that teams are still kind of suffering from hot drops, and it seems to be happening yet again for GK and for Besiktas. The second game that we've seen, and we've seen Besiktas drop with IHC and TEM so far in the games. And then when it comes to GK, they're kind of dropping a little bit further away from their usual POI. So I want to see what they're going to be doing since we're getting to the end of the first half of today's games. Is there going to be a change in that, or what's going to happen?
All right, well, Sandstorm, yesterday I threw this to Maxman to have a chance to do it, but I want to see you throw it to our casters in your best French accent.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to give it over to Zeke. I don't know where the heck that accent went to, but let's go back to the casters. Since we're getting to the end of the first half of today's games, is there going to be a change in that, or what's going to happen?
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. We're going to be heading into the next game, I guess. With that.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, we're heading right in there straight away. Brilliant. Bon chance to all the teams, I suppose. But I don't know. That was odd to say the least. However, straight into the game. Shot the players here. Phase Clan just went by. But yeah, excited for the Sandhawk. Things got a little bit hectic there, but goodness me. HVP there, absolutely slamming that last game. And that's the type of game in a sprint-type format.
Poll पे vote करो, poll पे vote करो. Whatever you guys choose will decide then later on accordingly. Cash giveaway या jersey giveaway.
Look at a championship caliber team as like an 11-point average, and that is what you realistically want to hit. And to hit that for any team here over the 12 games, that would be 132 points required. Right now, your HVP currently 108, so more than on target so far. We've still 4 matches left to play, and that will see them very happy towards the top of the standings. It'll be quite difficult to beat. The only other team that's really close right now is the guys from Vampire Esports. Remember, they're playing the rest of their games out today, and then it will be over for them as well.
Yeah, of course, those teams out the top will set that benchmark. You'd expect there to be the 8-game teams towards the top, but we'll have to wait and see who else is going to join them from these groups. At the moment, the top team that has only played 6 is LGD. So they are going to be a nice little benchmark potentially for teams to start to look at. They ended the day on the first day on 57 points, and they will be
Inco और IHC का clash
right now, just behind Bacon Time there. So teams who are just playing today, that is teams in the yellow group, will be looking to try and chase that one down. Currently, the most points from a yellow group team. 2
फेज वाले बड़ा खुश होते होंगे है ना
And
देख के बूट कैंप पे इस
one
टाइम
of
पे
those
एसटी नहीं
games
है
was their, I think it was their 21-pointer, I believe it was, with 3rd place in 11 eliminations. So they only get 2 points in the last game, which is not great. It did give them that buffer though, and that's what you want from those big games, because realistically, again, the 11-point average has been hit for Reject over the last 2 matches, that and then some. So Reject still doing well here, but now they need to get some performances on this game, right? On Sandhawk or on Miramar, you need to get some more points. And again, getting that 10 points over on Sandhawk is maybe a little bit more difficult than people make it out to be. Without the healing strat involved anymore, it's no longer a case of just huddling in a shack outside of the blue and going for the heal and quickly and easily picking yourselves up some points. It would be funny at one point, you know, I was waiting for the day where we just saw all 16 teams just sitting on all corners of the map, just healing out towards the end of the game, and it's whoever got the most med kits won. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it, it has been fixed before that could happen. It's almost made me slightly sad.
I don't think you'd ever have a world where you have all 16, right? I'm going to take your ridiculous situation and take it seriously, Blank. That's what's going to happen. You'd imagine that at least one team would just go to the middle and then just win in the end because everyone else is healing.
Yeah.
Which would mean you'd have probably maximum, I would say, maybe 10 teams. I could see 10 teams reasonably doing that with solo players left.
I think it felt like that in
Almost.
previous
Definitely
PMGC
did.
finishes. So I think when everyone realized that everything was on the line, as Sandhawk being the last match, everyone's healing. Everyone wants those little bits of points that's going to jump up you in terms of actual money gained, which is quite a bit, to be honest with you. Inco now over towards Inan, IHC. Yeah, a boatload of damage on their side. It all hits the floor. Icy sending off the right side, John.
Nenobete not quite being able to land the full spray there. You'd expect maybe to get 1 or 2 more bullets in, but you're right, there's Icy repositioning, trying to cross the river seemingly, and could be really quite pivotal if he's able to find landfall on the south side of Reject, if they don't spot that out at the moment.
Godless still watching out. Has spotted Nenobete, knows his position. Bacon time with 8 games played, not quite hitting that average that they were looking for. A little bit more of a struggle. I think for them,
Hello.
pretty happily, actually.
Hello,
a very
hello.
nice
Check,
average
check.
for me.
Lale Dijan.
That's pretty good. That's a very nice average, considering that is literally just 8. 8 games played, 8 points per game.
भाई क्या ही खेलें
Beautiful.
क्या ही
Anyway,
खेलें
that's made me very pleased. I was like, oh, I'm going to work this out on the fly to do maths here, and I was like, wait a minute. I remember my multiplication tables.
It's also, if also blank, I'll let you in a little secret. On the right-hand side of the screen, it tells you how many points they've got.
भाई ईगो पे लग गई उनके
Oh, yeah.
It's also, if also blank, I'll let you in a little secret. On the right-hand side of the screen, it tells you how many points they've got.
I'm going to work this out on the fly. Oh, yeah. I'm working out that average, though,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that average is just 8.
बाकी लोग किधर है नियो वगैरह
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Very good.
नियो तो सो रहा है
You get a
Very
gold
good, well
star.
done.
शायद
how do you
on
guys
the
spend
chart.
your days
IHC
nowadays
still taking this fight with Inco, and this is Icy's position. This is the river crossing. Coming
like
through.
how do you
बहुत
kill
boring
time
stream
Nice little
Stream,
pickup there.
yeah.
stream play
Watch
games
him a little bit of power. I'm looking at HVVP's position as well on the northwestern
fuck this
island.
shit.
Vivo
course
Key
you are.
dropped. I always do.
Which
बट
game
फिर
are
वो
you
होने के बाद फिर सोचना पड़ता है फिर अब क्या करना है
as well. Vivo Key did drop around Camp Alpha, and it seems like HVVP fully adjusted back to the position that we
but
saw
usually
from
which
the
other games are you playing
Yeah, up
I
towards
heard
the northwest
recently
island.
आप लोग
Neo plays Warzone Valo PUBG
HVP is now the
what crap
CS
the groups. It's also changed the play
What
style
crap.
of this match. A lot of times when
I
we were
don't think
watching
PUBG खेलने के
Red
बाद
and
तुम कोई और
Green,
गेम खेल
we
सकते
saw
हो
a lot more teams over towards Quarry, a lot more teams
नहीं
towards
but
Bravo
अरे
side.
नियो तो बहुत
But this
पहले से
time
खेलता है
around,
ना
you
नियो
have
पहले
many teams over
FPS
towards
games खेलता था
Pyramids who aren't being
Yeah?
getting
तो
much
उससे
held out by anyone.
हाँ he
This
likes
time
FPS
around, over
games
towards that south side, you also have 2 teams
तो
over
Valo
towards
खेलता है and उसके बाद
just
अभी
towards
Warzone
the
है
south side of boot camp.
तो
So
Warzone
HVP's crossing
Nice.
much more difficult, so it might be a consideration to head up towards that northern side
भाई
instead.
HVP ने
rather
क्या
than
वो
सूट
तो
लिया
trying
यार
to get the battering ram and move through his
HVP
position.
अरे नहीं मुझे लगा
गुस्से में आई
इनका
है
और 8
Shots towards
एलिमिनेशन
HVP
इनका
now as
लास्ट
well,
टाइम
so
भी
now
यही था ना
spotted
पहले
that
2 दिन इन्होंने
phase.
पूरी लॉबी को तोड़ा है
It's
उसके
not
बाद
going
पता नहीं ठंडे हो गए
easily for them.
3 दिन
16
तो बहुत ही
points
बेकार
so
खेला
far
इन्होंने
on their game, but nothing to scoff at. I mean, 8 points per game is still decent
I even
enough. They're
actually
getting
had
quite
Senator
far
भी
into
मेरे
a lot of
साथ ही
these
था
matches.
कोच
But we do have a lot of
अच्छा
local so far coming
तो
through.
वो भी स्ट्रीम
We've
करेगा
got
हाँ वो
Shiktas,
मंगोलियन लैंग्वेज में स्ट्रीम
EK,
कर रहा
Tem Entertainment, as well as IHC. 6 points
हमें
for
समझ
2-2.
ही
Really not ideal.
है मंगोलियन लैंग्वेज
Sure.
मतलब
But
वो
you've got to
स्ट्रीम
remember
कर
that
रहा है
even
बट ही
after
इज
the
नॉट
first
विद
couple
मी
of games,
बट ही इज डूइंग ऑन हिज
HVVP
ओन
were on minimal points. I think they
मंगोलियन
were on about
चैनल
8 after the first 2 games, and look where they are now. So things can absolutely
मंगोलिया
change
की वॉचिंग आजकल इंडिया से
for
ज्यादा
these
है
squads
पीक
once
पे
they
उसके
find
3000
their
लाइव
feet on
व्यूअर
today, as they get warm.
थे
And Abete trying to heat things up.
मंगोलिया में कुछ और यूज होता है क्या
HVVC, but it's
फेसबुक
just the
गेमिंग
या
way
करते
too
यूट्यूब
much.
नहीं नहीं सिर्फ
ओ
फेसबुक गेमिंग के लिए लोग
Final
सबसे ज्यादा फेसबुक
death
गेमिंग
goal
प्रेफर करते हैं
from Ziol.
नाइस
Yeah.
तो ये एक्शन वगैरह नहीं स्ट्रीम करते क्या उधर
हाँ
Live.
वो
We saw it last game.
यूट्यूब पे
Left
स्ट्रीम
live
करते
for
हैं
a
फेसबुक
long
गेमिंग
time
नहीं
actually.
यार वो
We'll pick up some
क्यों
replacement
हो
points,
जाता है
but
ना वो
nowhere
स्ट्रीमिंग
near the
डील्स
central
वगैरह में
circle
दे
with
काइंड ऑफ
Sandhawk.
आई डोंट नो दे डोंट वांट टू डू दैट
Not really
which is weird.
advised
They are
to
like, it is a
go
lot
for
of
it
effort.
because it is very open and
So
you will be
जहाँ पे
heard
हम
and
पैसे
spotted very
कमाते वो
quickly.
काम
Sway
करेंगे
downs
नहीं.
a little bit easier here on Sandhawk with the map being much smaller,
So they
less
don't do
opportunity
live
for those
streams. They
400
don't want to
meter
do
distance
anything
sprints
like that.
in
They
the
just
vehicle
want to
itself where
focus
you're
on the
outside
game.
of
I don't know.
the
Bro.
line of sight of a lot of these players.
Co-promotion
Nice.
complete करना मुश्किल हो जाता है यार. We are in a partner program with Tencent. वो मुश्किल हो जाता है भाई. हमारी गेम चल रही है, उनकी गेम चल रही होती है. Obviously they don't want to give out their strategies and they don't want to show their gameplays. थोड़ा वैसे खेलते हैं. But yeah, they don't have streaming deals. If
Will be difficult. I mean, HVVP, they have swam across and made
सही है
landfall on the
बट
north side of
क्योंकि
the
फिर
map
स्ट्रीमिंग को भी वैसे
for that rotation. IHC
स्पेसिफिक देना पड़ता है टाइम, और स्ट्रीमिंग में अलग ये होता है
moving up the side
yeah,
of these hills
स्ट्रेस.
now, picking up points
बहुत
as they
ज़्यादा.
go.
ई
Looking to
स्पोर्ट्स
have
एथलीट
an
को तो
initial
बहुत होता है.
engagement in that first scrap, but
भाई
hoping to try
मैं
and keep the
मतलब
rest of them alive. IC has
3
to
घंटे
reposition away from
2 घंटे के
last
बाद
player Vitali
2 घंटे के
Flinko.
बाद मैं पागल हो जाऊंगा अगर मैं ज्यादा देर पीसी पे बैठा.
Wants a little bit of revenge.
मैं पता नहीं पत्थर वत्थर
Looking to
मारने
deny
लग
him
जाऊंगा.
that
Genuinely
chance to reject.
speaking, I did watch parties for 4 hours, bro. I
But
felt
still
that
play on,
okay,
play with three.
I
Southside
will
boot
end up
camp
going
as well.
insane
They're
if I
going to have to
continue this.
rotate away from the east flank. They're going to have to try and get on north.
मैंने पता है
Rotation going back through boot camp.
2020 पे
As long as HVVP
8 आवर
hold
स्ट्रीम
out
की
the
थी,
teams
8 आवर
moved on into that
स्ट्रेट.
position. Damwon also
Why?
spotted cause problems here.
ऐसे ही.
Yeah, it's waiting
What
in the wings at the moment.
The
For
hell?
Reject, they
8
should have
घंटे.
got a good idea of what's going on
Hmm.
in boot camp, but again, there's a lot of these little crossings that can happen throughout the river
Were you
on the
were you
western
the
side.
same
where
person
team
after
can
that?
get into position unbeknownst to you. Despite
नहीं.
Something inside you
My
broke.
in the past is outdated information, obviously, but
my
it's
head
not
was
always
blowing.
the same scenario when you head back up there. So for Reject,
ऐसा लग रहा था कि कंटिन्यूअस बॉम्ब्स फूट रहे उधर. बूम 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 बूम. हेडेक बहुत क्रेजी वाला हो रहा था.
Yeah.
But I think ये
मुझे तो ऐसे अभी रूटर पे करता हूँ ना, उसमें 2 घंटे में हो गया. अभी जाने का टाइम आ चुका है, ऐसा हो जाता है.
Yeah, bro. And
But
उसके बाद
अभी
तो दुनिया ही
can't
different
do
लगती
anything.
है.
And cut out this
Hmm.
rotation from IHC. Seems like they've succeeded as well. But in the meantime, Damwon
Streaming बहुत difficult task है.
Yeah, bro.
getting absolutely dismantled. Their last duo will
क्या
fall.
करें? I mean,
That is
like,
not going to be good news. But Besiktas pick up the
for
points.
the organizations, it's the
Much needed towards the
only
bottom of those
benefit,
tables
like
as well.
one of the
IHC
profitable
still
ways if you're
very
not
much
making
under
money
pressure
from prize
here.
prize
Last player
pool.
standing godless against Reject has got an angle to play against Divine. Lands the shots. Will be able to get the heal off at zone 2. IHC out.
अभी घर गया था recently?
Sure, but this early, it's not
नहीं.
Planning
Good
to?
news for Reject, though, honestly.
Next month
With them being able to get those 3 eliminations, clear
for
out that
Christmas.
side, now they can start moving it towards
Yeah,
the north with little to
Christmas
no
is-
pressure. I think Damwon Gaming might be a problem, but they're over towards boot camp. They're more than likely want to head more central towards the circle.
Thanksgiving is done,
VOP
right?
off towards the south side of HVP. Coming
Thanksgiving हो गया
No
ना?
idea.
Keeping a watchful eye on
मैं
that. Starting to tick quite
इधर का हो
hardcore,
चुका
but
हूँ
they're
अभी.
in the circle now, and
मुझे
quite
कुछ
close to
मैं
that north side
मैं घर
push.
पे भी कॉल
Already
नहीं
slowing
करता.
things down
नहीं,
for
आई गेस
themselves.
नहीं हुआ है, पता है
Always
अभी.
playing on this north
हाँ.
side. Not many teams over here
I
either,
don't
so
think अभी हुआ
this
है.
is nice for Game Lord.
ये
Gives a lot of
पता तो
opportunity
चल
to set
जाता.
themselves up in some good
पे
compounds,
HVP पे
playing
Vivo
2-2.
KYD आ
We'll
गई.
see if they want to
देखते हैं zone
regroup
के
or
बाहर
just hold
लेकिन.
this.
Free
Looks like they're
free
head back over
kills.
towards that north side compound and just hold on to tap mock where they can.
Vampire also going to be
I guess वो लोग हिल पे है क्योंकि
Yeah.
नहीं नहीं घर पे और ज़्यादा खुश वो लोग तो. बट वो लोग जा नहीं रहे उधर.
Wait, because वो दो ही player हैं
एक
शायद.
मार दिया, एक मार दिया, एक मार दिया. ओ, 2 बंदे घर पे ही पहुंच गए. मतलब ये तो मार ही देंगे इनको.
Easily.
Very sad.
In terms of earning those points for the roster. Vivo Keyed come into conflict with HVVP and at an inopportune time as well. They've just come out of the blue zone and after having been in there for quite a long time. It leaves them low and forced to heal out, and that's going to leave HVVP.
उनके बाकी player किधर
Get
गए?
a lot of rotations done, shots around the side, and the nade is there.
है ना, वो घर पे ही है वो लोग.
Diego.
अरे आगे करना पड़ेगा, मैं बहुत आगे हूँ.
नहीं मैं भी आगे हूँ मैं. एक सेकंड रुक जाओ.
चलो.
Playback speed 2
ये बहुत आगे है.
Yeah, I mean, HVP being able to take that out, and that is what happens when HVP are able to keep watching behind them, maintaining that presence.
इनको eliminated.
Might be a team on that
ये
backside which
दिख
keep
गया.
that under control. 3 eliminations
Vivo
countdown for them. Surely they're
KD
going to 3 players, but they
eliminated.
should
Damn, on forest पे अभी.
That will be something that might be a little bit scary. If they get the first
वो भी क्रॉस हो गया. Bacon time.
But Damwon has been still looking very good throughout these games.
Yeah, it was a bit
Maybe
back.
for HVP, it's a little bit too late for them, as they have been slowed
Yeah,
down.
now
a
you're on
lot.
Bacon
Pretty
time
quite
and,
silent when they
Game
head
Lord,
down
yeah?
Towards the south or up towards the
Hmm.
north. This is just because of this rotating lobby. difficult to make those decisions on the day, especially when you play this map once.
वेकेंट टाइम का भी मोमेंटम
इनको
लग
भी
रहा
अच्छा
है
परफॉर्म कर रही है
बहुत अच्छा कर
थर्ड
रही
पे
थी बट पता नहीं क्या कर रही थी ये कल से
Are gonna try and commit
I
for
mean
a
like
rotation
since
over that
last
way.
I'll say today's
More
two
ties.
previous games and
Well, check it
yesterday's
out. It is
games
in
like last two
a
games
really, really difficult
हक दिया
spot.
पूरा वरना
Gonna have
बहुत
to lay
अच्छी
down
लीड
some
बना
cover
के
and
चल रहे
fire
थे
to suppress those
ओवर
positions to
कॉन्फिडेंट
allow
होके
the
दे आर
call
जस्ट
back.
पुशिंग इनटू एनी
Won't be
अल्फा
allowed
7
though.
पे
As
पुश
Victor
कर दिया
gets the final
2v4
pick.
पे
Leaves Bacon-Tide down
अरे
to just 3 players.
अबे लाल
दुखी हो गए होंगे उसके बाद वो
So
लोग
we'll see
बहुत
how
और
ज्यादा
किसी
further they can
मैं ही हूँ मैं
jump on
तौकीर भाई और मैं हूँ
देख
They
लिया
moved
मैंने
up Paris
अनिस्तोस लगा लिया
result
मैंने
nice and early. Headed towards
Okay,
Game
excellent.
Lord's previous compound where I think Robs and Victor were playing.
पापी
So
नोवा
it was
किंग
a good idea for them to actually move towards that northern compound early on.
वीपी और एचवीपी तो एक
भाई
साइड ही
मेरे को
खेलते हैं
पापी क्यों
ऐसा
बोल रहे हो
लगता
ये
है
क्या बात है भाई
This is a
पापी नोवा
really good
किंग तू
opportunity
उस
now for
दिन
Game Lord.
मतलब
Again, I said
नोवा
this
किंग
in the past.
बैठ के नोवा को सपोर्ट कर
Use
रहा
that
था
exact
एसटी के
phrase,
अगेंस्ट
and Game Lord have dropped the ball.
नहीं मैं ऐसा कुछ नहीं किया भाई ये आप गलत एलिगेशन लगा रहे हो मेरा नाम ही है काफी साल से
ऑन स्ट्रीम प्रूफ मतलब ऐसा कैसा सपोर्ट ऐसा कैसा
क्या?
सपोर्ट तू नाम चेंज करना चाहिए था वो होता है मतलब
अरे तो भाई मैं अपना नाम थोड़ा चेंज कर लूंगा 2018 से इसी नाम से खेल रहा हूँ मैं
जब तक लाइव चल रहा है लाइव स्ट्रीम पे एटलीस्ट चेंज कर ले भाई पीएमजीसी के दौरान नाम चेंज
Suppose you just want to get as close as you can. With Tem Entertainment on your south side,
Nova.
it's a 4-player squad.
ओह माय ऑफ कर दिया बोला अरे
अरे नहीं मैं अभी गेम में भी बात कर रहा हूँ ना इनसे दोनों को फिर
गेम भी
confusion
खेल
हो
रहे
जाएगी।
क्या?
बात नहीं मैं लो में बैठा था भाई 4v4 का देख रहा है अभी बुला रहे हैं उन्हें
ओ भाई मेकू ने क्या मारा है अच्छा ओके ओके फॉरेस्ट ये था टिक्सी था
यहाँ से अबे फॉरेस्ट संग गया 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 बच गया
बच गया
चल
बच गया
नहीं खेल रहा भाई बंद कर दिया मैंने
अरे मैटिक कैसे मर गया
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 players left.
एचवीपी ने कहर डाल दिया भाई लेकिन लास्ट मैच में
Really good
कहर
sight on the
20-22 किल
crosshair.
20-22 किल मार दी भाई वो लोग ने
Now they're just sending
22
players forward. Nima goes
शायद
down
गई
to
स्काईलाइट गेमिंग भी
trying to keep
स्काईलाइट
themselves
की
in the
कितने
running
2
here with
प्लेयर गए
71 points. Osal.
यार टिक्सी पे लग गया ओ टिक्सी गया
ओ माय गॉड
आप लोग आगे चल रहे हो यार वेट
This is terrible news for them.
Oh, that's really, really unfortunate.
प्लेबैक
I don't
स्पीड
think they knew Osal was there. They wouldn't have moved up into nade range like that. Tixie didn't peek back. They didn't see that nade coming through. But then, yeah, the heal attempt on Meku.
कितने बचे बचा एक
Really the most disastrous part of that. 4
It's
eliminations.
कितने बचे हैं ना
पावर
कितने
थर्ड
बचे हैं?
पार्टी करने आ रहा है
One fight for them.
Well, a little bit too hard on that one, I think.
आया
As for HVP, sometimes those old habits do die hard.
मुझे लगता है पावर वहाँ हक देगी
Might be able to get Tixie back on his feet, potentially. The entire
देख
team
मेरे को-
और ये पावर पे
away.
कितना पावर बहुत बड़ा स्प्लिट लेकर बैठी है क्या
बहुत बड़ा
For
split है।
HVP at the moment is that Power also has eyes on over
कल भी
towards
तूने उन्हें
them.
देखा
बहुत
है
एरिया
खेल
उन
कैसे
पे।
रहे थे
Into this one.
पावर वाले
हाँ भाई 4 बंदे
लेकिन इनका
4
आज ही
जगह
आज ही
उतरे
है
थे।
ना लेकिन इनका आज ही है ना एक चिकन बस उससे पहले तो कहीं इनके कुछ अच्छे गेम्स नहीं गए थे इनके आज का पहला मैच शायद इनका चिकन था
ईमानी है पावर
are able to take down plenty of players in their way. Skylights Gaming with just AJ now remaining on the east side at the back and Alpha 7 on top of this fight. And AJ no first
हील बैटल का सिस्टम हटा दिया क्या लोग ने
हाँ।
सानोक से
to get themselves further forwards. HVV
नहीं सानोक में होता था ना बस इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ मैं
western side.
हटा दिया
हटा दिया
Looking to shunt in a little bit
बढ़िया
further.
गया भाई
12th place elimination for Skylights Gaming.
Actually get a knock over
Oh.
BPE as well. Over towards the
अरे नाइस नेट से ही वो डैमेज हो
लगता था काफी डैमेज हो गया
someone taking
वो आई
shots
गेस गन से भी नॉक कर देता भाई उसके हाथ में गन रहती ना तो नॉक हो जाता बंदा
lacking in terms of medication.
नीड था टाइम पे
I don't think they have very much stims, very much meds to work with. Keep themselves in the fight. Desperately needed that resupply coming through from Dan 1, but the fight is taking too long and it was not clear cut come through at the start.
Besiktas on 4, Alpha 7 on 4 as well, but Revo's down in a forward position. Might be a fairly easy flush if they can just...
पता मैं
sit
कोई
on the
सीन
side
ही
of
नहीं
the
इसके
rock
बचने का
just
रिवो के
Revo crawling back,
नहीं बचा
trying to
सकते
get back to the rest of the team. There is another rock for him.
अभी बच जाएगा भाई नेड अच्छा था नाइस
Sees the knock over onto Zessi in the meantime. Tem taking the run up over towards Bacon Time have been holding this compound for a
यूसी
while
दे
now,
दो
but it's just
कहाँ से
barely
दो भाई
looking
यूसी क्या बात कर रहे हो आप
Alpha 7 and Predictors continue to clash. Peace takes a knee. Everybody starting to suffer on this eastern side. It's so chock-a-block with teams. The West had their time. And his first Besiktas to fall down in 11th.
खत्म है बेबी मर गया
They have really
कोई
not had a
सीन ही
good
नहीं
day
इसके
today
बचने
whatsoever. Again, another game. 4 eliminations, not too bad. We'll set their point scoring up just a little bit. Style sees FaZe. Ventura is not likely to get away with that, but they have to leave still. Blue.
पीएमजीसी फाइनल्स कब से
Now, HVP
फाइनल जनवरी में होंगे बे
January first week.
is down 1.
हाँ जनवरी में होंगे हाँ
Really good job to
अभी
restabilize
इसके
on
बाद
this fight. For
एक दिन छोड़ के
immediately find
कल के
himself.
बाद मेरे ख्याल में ये कंटिन्यू होगा
Finish the fight
इसका
here first.
सर्वाइवल जो भी है लास्ट चांस 2 दिन का रहेगा ये तो
7 eliminated teams are starting to fall.
Yeah.
Tem Entertainment
RC eliminated.
probably pretty soon for it as well. Damn one
SG
gaming
eliminated.
out of the fold. Game Lord.
ओ और ये लोग तो पहले ही बुलाएंगे मतलब न्यू ईयर तो इंडोनेशिया में ही होगा
देख 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 वहां से HVP ने
क्योंकि शूट वगैरह भी तो करेंगे ये लोग
हाँ हाँ मोस्ट प्रोबेबली
मैं तुझे क्या बोला था क्लच मैं बोला था ना पावर हक देगी ये देख 2v4
हाँ।
कर दिया हमने पावर पे HVP वालों ने
Almost necessary at this stage. FaZe moving in and trying to backstab on power. It's got to work.
इतना बड़ा स्प्लिट लेके खेलते ना ये
HVP were able to pick up, but luckily for them,
Weirdos.
now it's just one player from Power remaining in front of them. Like you said,
GLD
no
वालों
versatility, no nothing
के पास नंबर एडवांटेज तो था बट एक नॉक हो गया वो लोग का
to come their way, but it's such a far run for them.
एचवीपी ने अच्छे पॉइंट्स ले लिए अभी
भाई अभी भी 6 पॉइंट ले
ओ थोनीखे
अरे भैंस क्या दो बंदे निकल गए एक को तो नॉक करना चाहिए था इसको
Finish off the players.
Close to Game Lord as well in that position on the push. Taking time.
एचवीपी पे अच्छा जोन है
Two of them remaining now.
और पावर का एक और किल मिलेगा क्योंकि पावर वाला बंदा बहुत ओपन पे खेल
Game Lord playing a 2-2
एचवीपी
split
बहुत
right
ये
now.
खेल रही है पर अभी थोड़ा
With that knockdown on the south
Safe,
side, they were
safe.
able to get that res.
calm
नाइस नेड ब्रो
Nice nade, ne? Nice nade, nice nade.
Very nice nade.
Shirty gets the flush, however, and there's only 2 players for Victor.
इन लेकिन इन्होंने फिनिश भी कर दिया एक बंदा रिवर्स में नेड से ही उनका
ये वैम्पायर किल लेगा
पता है एचवीपी
Down by Vampire on the north side as well, and Game Lord seemingly spreading themselves too thin.
HVP अभी भी मार रही है क्या डिस्टेंस से
जोन है उन पे
Immediately returns in kind. Fight fire with fire, DBS with DBS.
अबे लेकिन ये भी इतना कुछ खास कहाँ ही मैटर करेगा इसमें क्या ही रैंकिंग है इसमें सर्वाइवल में सब मेन तो अभी मेरे ख्याल में जो
हाँ
अभी
15 पॉइंट है अभी फाइनल के लिए 10 पॉइंट वाला नेक्स्ट ईयर से
HVP behind him. It looks like he's looking up towards that position. MR5 by himself below. Really
ये टेबल
अरे
रीसेट होएगी ना
भाई।
अभी इसके लिए फिर लास्ट चांस के लिए
हाँ हाँ
फिर तो कोई बीटी नहीं आएगा 60 #16 ही है
इसमें क्या सीन है इसमें क्या सीन है कैसे होगा ये इससे कितने क्वालिफाई करेंगे
अभी 16 टीमें क्वालिफाई करेंगे भाई इसमें 24 में से
अच्छा 16 में से
16 में
24
से
में
फिर
16 फिर उसके बाद
हाँ 16 में से 4-5 जितनी भी रहेंगी लास्ट चांस 2 दिन जो होगा ना इवेंट
ओके
भाई पूरा मतलब लाइफ कंज्यूम करके जाएगी इसमें इनमें से प्लेयर्स में
Barking through the hills. We'll be able to take down.
इस बारी का बहुत भारी होगा पता है पीएमजीसी फाइनल्स
बहुत तगड़ा
तुम लोग ग्रीन टीम देख इधर ग्रीन टीम देखकर पागल हो गए तो लोग अभी पीएमजीसी फाइनल्स तो और क्रेजी बनेगा
बहुत गलत होगा ब्रो अब लेकिन सबसे हार्ड वही ग्रुप था ब्रो उसके बाद वाले जो ग्रुप्स देखे ना
मजा नहीं आया
तो अभी तो देख अरे तो अभी क्या हर 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 ग्रुप से टॉप 3 आ रही है उसके बाद अभी यहाँ से और फिर से टॉप 5 आएगी
टॉप 5 टीम आएंगी
Yeah, one of the most incredible Thai teams coming through here is VPE. Really enjoyable team to watch. Super aggressive.
Oh my god दे दिया
They're one of the
VP
teams that looks like they have been playing together for such a long time. Incredible synergy coming through from all
भाई
of them.
VP
Shreds
वहां पे
still
नहीं
in
छोड़
अबे क्या रेंज से मार रहा है तू देख रहा है इसको
the final players.
शॉटगन
अबे
से मार
डीबीएस कितनी रेंज में मार रहे थे
And looked like it could be good for Game Lord, but still,
VP
hitting
वाले
some
लोग भी
very,
danger
very
है।
decent overall
भाई,
for Game Lord, and they'll be happy with
VP
that.
वालों ने
Second place
PMWM
spot,
है
eliminations,
they are crazy
E able to turn up the point scoring potential.
तूने PMWI देखा था क्या क्लच?
हाँ
तूने वैम्पायर का नहीं देखा
उधर
था?
तो सीधा 18-19 किल चल रहा है, कोई भी मार रहा है आगे,
एवरेज 18
वही
किल। इनका तो एवरेज 18 किल चल रहा था।
अबे उस टाइम पे पागल हो गए थे भाई ये लोग, बहुत गलत मार रहे थे।
अरे पहले दिन
इस बार
मुझे ये थे 9वें स्पॉट पे थे, 9th रैंक पे थे ये, हम थे फर्स्ट पे। तो द वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड फॉर द हाईएस्ट नंबर ऑफ पॉइंट्स इन अ डे इज 118, ठीक है, ग्लोबल्स में, तो वो है एसटी का। सेकंड हाईएस्ट इज देयर्स इन पीएमडब्ल्यूआई 110। तो ये
अच्छा वही दिन मारे रहेंगे उन्होंने।
सेम ना पीएमडब्ल्यूआई के फाइनल दिन में।
अभी जो एनवी का भी लग रहा था ना अभी कल परसों, मतलब ये जो लास्ट वीक जो अपने वाला ग्रुप था, तो कितने पॉइंट मारे थे? 98 मारे थे ना वो लोग ने।
98 के 100
उसमें पता है वो लोग मार रहे थे, ऐसा नहीं कि वो लोग के पास किल आ रहे थे भाई, वो लोग ही मार रहे थे।
अच्छा मारा वो लोग ने, लेकिन एसटी ने मेरे ख्याल में 5, वही उस दिन भी बोला था मैंने, 5 गेम में मारे थे एसटी ने शायद।
नहीं
ये लोग ने 6 मैच में मारे थे।
5 में इन्होंने 6 गेम में मारे।
हाँ भाई।
अभी हम एक और प्लेयर आज जल्दी अनाउंस कर देंगे।
क्या है वो?
चेक। कैन यू हियर जर्गल, कैन यू हियर द वॉइस ऑफ द डिस्कॉर्ड?
वॉइस?
या नहीं, क्लच तू उसको सुन पा रहा है, कोच को?
नहीं।
Okay, Senator, you can come on Discord.
Yeah, I'll join.
Wait, I'll send you the link.
Well, Vampire continues to reign
Emchain link?
23 points coming
No,
through. Not
it's
that
a
many
different
eliminations, however, playing
router. I'll
situations
send you the
out
link.
to perfection, capitalizing off the Game Lord fighting over towards their southeast up against Bacon.
Yeah, sorry,
कौन है नया प्लेयर?
नया भाई अभी तो डिस्क्लोज नहीं करा है, बताऊंगा तेरे को मैसेज में।
मत करो भाई, मत करो भी, यहाँ पे डिस्क्लोज मत करो।
यहाँ पे डिस्क्लोज नहीं करो।
I gotta say, compared to the previous game, the
DM
IGLing
में बता
and
दो
the
भाई।
position they held on to
DM
was,
में बताता हूँ।
was just a great performance overall. I agree with Blank. I think that this is the game lord we would like to see. I do think, and I think
फिर ऐसा प्लेयर स्विच अलाउड है क्या बीच में?
Game Lord might have stretched
हाँ?
himself a little bit too thinly, taken a too
हाँ,
फाइनल्स के लिए अलाउड है?
नहीं फाइनल्स पे नहीं कर रहे हैं, फाइनल्स पे नहीं कर रहे हैं भाई,
ले जाओ,
आफ्टर
हो गया।
पीएमजीसी।
अच्छा उसके बाद तो फिर
हाँ ये स्ट्रीमिंग फोन है।
with that spot afterwards, right? They just go for this massive split, overwhelm all the other teams, and get the chicken dinner. The potential was there, but I want to see Game Lord sometimes just regroup
Clutch.
and take those fights for long.
But I mean, hey,
Check
they
कर।
performed very well on the Sandhawk map, and I do have to say a couple of the other teams from Group Yellow as well are starting to perform. FaZe, this is the second time.
Oh, Vamp BC chicken na
as
bhai.
well, so they're getting themselves a decent amount of points. When you compare it to
बढ़िया।
some of the weakest teams from Group Green on day one, great start for them, considering that they still have another chance in tomorrow's games. But I'm loving the fact that we're seeing less teams from Group Yellow being eliminated at the start of the game. Even though their rotations going into Zone 2, Zone 3 were still a little bit slow. But I'm starting to see them
ये
pick
क्या है
up pace
पर?
a little bit.
Okay, well, we're going to jump back to that in a second.
मतलब क्या
We're
रोल
gonna
है?
talk about our lovely sponsors here, the Pullman Kuala Lumpur Bangsar Hotel, where our world is your playground. If I get my words out,
अरे
and I
भाई।
cannot wait to potentially lay out
हैं?
at the pool with Maxman doing his famous.
कौन है भेजियो?
Have you seen that, Sam?
लाला कौन है?
Don't leak the video. Don't leak
What?
it.
DM का?
I know you have it, Jason.
हैं?
I do not
ये
know
क्या हो
what
रहा
it
है?
is.
Listen, Alex,
भाई,
go ahead, back to
ये
for everyone on the stream.
अगले साल नोवा को पछाड़ने की स्ट्रैटेजी चल रही है।
Special segment.
देखते हैं, अभी एक्सपेरिमेंटल रोल्स हैं,
Shout out here to
but we
Prime
will
Gaming, so
we will
Prime
see
Gaming,
how
free
it
PUBG
goes.
Mobile items, premium content,
लाला DM कर।
other Prime benefits
WhatsApp पे DM कर।
as well. Max,
Screenshot भेज दे।
I do
तू
have
बोलेगा नहीं ना बाहर?
I will keep
क्यों
it
बोलूंगा, पागल है क्या तुम?
Sun Xperia 140.
लीक देता है वे
And
तू?
I'm thinking,
कुछ नहीं भाई।
लीक किंग है
we're not gonna talk about it. One thing we will talk
I
about,
don't
though,
do such
is
shit,
the
man.
macro play you were talking, or you were discussing while
ये-
watching, talking about Vampire and HVP, in your opinion, Max, being the two best macro playing teams we have in the lobby at the moment.
Exactly. Okay, we could talk about HVVP, but like this
ओ
is
भाई,
gonna be
Vampire
massive
first
for
आ गई,
Vampire, and of course,
1 point से।
like 1 point ahead of HVVP. These two teams are looking so good, but and I don't know if you agree with me, Sandstorm, on this point for Vampire.
पता है ये लीग है, इस वजह से उतना खास ये नहीं हो रहा है। नहीं, अगर सेम टीम्स खेलती ना तो ज्यादा ये होता, इंटरेस्टिंग होता। LGD तो खेल ही नहीं रही है। कब
वो तो
खेलेंगे
एलजीडी
आज
के
है भी
आज
कि
नहीं
नहीं
है ना,
मैच?
कल है ना, कल है ना उनके मैच।
ओह
एलजीडी कल वैसे उन्होंने कुछ खास किया नहीं।
एक ही मैच खेले थे ना एलजीडी वाले, अच्छा खेले थे एक मैच।
नहीं यार, दो दो
अभी तो
मैच खेले
टॉप
थे।
16 आना है। वो किधर है? किधर है वो? देखना पड़ेगा मुझे। NGX 11th पे।
निगमा गैलेक्सी
फर्स्ट पेज पे है ना शायद। हाँ
NGX पे
लॉर्ड लॉर्ड।
NGX वो अच्छा खेलना चाहिए था, पर NGX अच्छा नहीं खेल रही है।
मुझे गीके का समझ नहीं आ रहा है यार, इनको क्या हो गया?
गीगे तो टॉप ऑफ द टेबल थे ना ऑलमोस्ट
not a fun time.
अपने ग्रुप में, फोर्थ फिफ्थ है ना वो लोग।
अरे एक सेकंड, ये किधर है? लंगोटी है क्या उधर पे?
शांतनु हाँ है ना।
उसको बोलिए मैं मैसेज कर रहा हूँ व्हाट्सएप पे, तो इसको ये बोल रहा है क्लोज्ड रूम है, आई एम नॉट एबल टू एंटर।
अरे इस रूम में नहीं, वेटिंग रूम में जाने बोलो ना उसे।
हाँ एक सेकंड
मैं ड्रैग कर लूंगा। किसी भी ओपन में जाने बोल दो, मैं ड्रैग कर लूंगा।
It's with your boy, not Tixie. It's actually gonna be Meku to talk about HVVP.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You're currently tuning in to the PUBG Mobile Global Championships 2022. My name is Flavor, and hopefully you guys are having an amazing time.
भाई ये क्या पहना है भाई इसने? देखियो
of the competition. And of course,
किसने?
Cosplay.
होस्ट ने क्या पहना है भाई?
कॉस्प्ले चल रहा है।
अबे कल भी यही पहन के आया था।
throughout the whole day.
कुछ भी पहना है
Continue on, ladies and gentlemen, just
Ninja
remind you
बंदा
guys
है।
that Captain Messi is
Hello,
joining
hello.
the PUBG Mobile Battleground. Pack the
Hello,
Messi-
hello,
Hello,
coach,
bro.
how are you?
Lolo. Good, I'm good.
Until
I guess
December
I'm
31st, 2022. To
I'm
help
good.
you stand out in the battleground, make sure to grab them in PUBG Mobile.
Coach, we have
today,
Fudge God,
alright?
Nova
Now,
King.
ladies and gentlemen, of course, it gives me great pleasure and honor to
Okay.
introduce to you some of the
Hello.
representatives we have here.
Hello.
HVVP.
What's up, Noah? All good.
all good bro, all good.
I guess that's
Nice,
translation, right? It's good, very
Bro,
fast.
this I'm
And of
telling
course,
he
guys,
actually
so,
that's his name,
your
right?
voting
In
played
game
very
name.
well.
But this
And
is
in
so
this round
controversial
today,
here right now. We've been
how
arguing
do
on it
that
since
and
last
is
2
there
weeks.
any special
Yeah,
tactics and coming
King,
to
what's
for
happened?
the
Why you not
platform?
play in the last 2 days?
That's what he asked me last week
Ah.
also.
I saw in the
King.
first time in my life Nova make a roster in the very important tournament, short tournament. Why?
I have no idea bro.
Yeah, so it was our home zone, and we basically
It's
just
for Nova
controlled like
things.
the whole our site and won the game.
These
after
are
that.
Nova things.
Very confident. Based on the response itself, I believe that they kind of knew what they were doing throughout the whole day, and it is a brand new HVVP we're looking at right here today. And of course, the final question here is that
In
what do you
Discord
guys
didn't know
need
the
to focus
clutch
on
card
to keep the
could
ranking at the top
cut
to play
like
itself? And what do you think is the most
King.
important for the following games next weekend?
Nova is for the King kit. Manan to the dear stuff.
What?
We
मेरे
got
को ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है ये बोल रहा है किसी को कि नोवा स्पोर्ट्स का किंग है यहाँ पे?
Ah, it's not King, bro.
No, bro.
Noob.
This is
Noob.
Noob.
Who are you? Yeah, I saw when I listened the first time. I saw maybe King not speak English.
अरे bro, I am not
Who are you?
Nova
Who are you?
Sports King. My name is Noah King.
You are an imposter.
Okay bro. Imposter बता रहा है भाई ये तो। धुरंधर भाई।
Fake Nova King.
अपने ही नाम को फेक बता रहे हो भाई तो।
अरे क्योंकि उसके लिए तो नोवा किंग है ना।
हाँ समझ गया ना मैं। मैं वही सोचा था कि कभी किसी टाइम पे अगर मैंने नोवा ज्वाइन किया रहता था नोवा किंग में इसके आगे 2 बार नोवा लिखना पड़ता।
Yeah.
One of those sweet swagger outfits. However, Max Benz is going to be made entirely out of.
Jargal, how's the weather there in Mongolia?
Right now is mine 22.
Minus
In the
22?
night, yeah, in the night is
Minus
28.
28?
Minus
Yeah.
28
बाप रे
in the
बाप
night?
भाई।
Bye. Yeah, bro.
we're
So
actually
high.
past the halfway point of
तो
the
हाई
day.
बोल रहा है ऊपर से
Sam Side pop a decision there, Max. To be fair.
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
Crazy.
Why are you even living there
So
at
I'm going to
first
talk about
place?
the other two teams I picked then. Damwon, I gotta say,
What?
completely
Then, like,
different
how are you
approach,
even
and
living
based on what we
there?
saw from yesterday, like they seem a lot more passive.
I mean, I'm from
Yeah,
Kashmir.
that-
It gets minus
So,
5, minus
Damwon's
10,
slowly
bro.
been falling
I don't
off
go out
actually
of the
throughout
house.
minus
so
5, minus 10
they
is
can feel they're
summer.
still going to be in a safe position, but as we said, Group Green are not playing anymore after today, so you want to just be as safe as you possibly can after these next
Minus
three
10
matches.
is
So Damwon
summer.
obviously maybe just
Minus
a little
10
bit
is
of
summer.
a step up in these next three games.
My God.
Sir, you know where we live, where godlike people live.
Time at HVVP when it comes to that. But also power.
Winter
Hello,
is
hello,
what?
Yes,
Senator.
I hear, I
You
hear,
know about
I hear.
who Sandstorm
I'm
is,
here.
your consistency in
Even in
maintaining
winters,
safeness
you have
is
like
something that
22 degrees, not minus, 22
Yeah,
degrees.
yeah, I know because
20
yeah,
degrees.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, Power
But
kind of
in
said they
summers
were
too, we
doing
have
fine on day one of the survival
not
stage,
minus,
but
just 20,
complete change
30,
comparing them to the likes of
35
Damwon.
in
They start to
summer.
slide
It's
down,
good,
but
but
Power
in
is starting
winter
to
it's
climb
very,
back up
very
slowly
cold.
but surely.
Maybe more
In these
cold
three
on
games that
Atlantic.
we've had, they've constantly been able to get themselves some placement points, so very good for them.
Crazy, bro.
HVVP,
Uh,
there's no need to talk about them.
So,
They're-
so
they're
is
trying to fight
so
for
who
that
is
first place
Nova
between
King
them
and
Vampire, and it's just difficult
Anistra
to figure out. We look at that and say,
is
Clutch God.
Clutch God.
it's gonna change.
Clutch
Clutch
God.
Yes,
And
yes.
the
Clutch
last
God
game,
Nova
is...
King.
Noah King
the team
is
that ended up with a chicken
you
dinner
know
on day
Soul.
one, and they're keeping up
Yeah,
the
I know.
consistency in day two, so it looks like they're gonna be going for the win.
One of the earliest members from there.
Yeah,
If you're
okay.
gonna find out how those two
Like
teams are
starting
doing here
members
as we
of
hop over to
Soul,
Casters
you
for
could
the
say.
next
His
match.
name was Noah King from season 1. I guess
Season
from season
season 1 से
2.
ही था.
Ah,
One
okay,
से था.
Okay,
okay, I
okay.
Starting
understand.
to come down to the crunch now.
Okay.
और
Bangkok
one में ही
teams
in
from
season 1
Green
we made godlike in season 1 also, but later on Cronton made it again in season 5 or 6.
Going to have to really put
So,
in the effort, put their best foot
the Noah
forward.
King, you know, Noah Esports King.
And power here as teams that
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
the
yeah, I
fake
know.
one.
He's
He's the fake one.
Ah, maybe it makes sense.
This moment, 10th place, with 50 points total.
ये बढ़िया था भाई.
Obviously, they
वही
played
फेंका
six
भाई
matches
वही
You should
फेंका है
come
क्योंकि
up-
वो तो
Senator.
if he joins some other org then his name wouldn't be Noah King, right?
Yes, yes.
His name will change from that to something else.
Senator.
Maybe let's say he
Yeah,
joins
yeah, I'm
ST.
here.
You have to understand, it's not the Indians who are known for making copies. You know? You
Ah,
should...
okay, okay.
It's the Chinese.
Okay, okay. Hey, Clutch God, support me, bro. Instagram. Post my
Bro.
last picture.
Wait, bro, wait.
momentum to see them up towards maybe top 5, top 7, which is a little bit shaky in terms of position.
Senator.
Why, what's happened about BGMI? All good? Why Indian team not here in the Pmgc?
There's
We
nothing
don't
good
even
right
have
now.
our game right now. You're talking about PMGC.
But is not banned, right?
It's banned. It's
No,
banned. We can
banned,
play, but
yeah, it's
we
banned,
can.
but you can play.
Yeah, we can play.
Yeah. Just not have an update, right?
No update, you
But
cannot
no one-
play official tournaments, nothing.
Yeah,
No one plays seriously right now because there's no game. Everyone plays for fun.
Okay, bro, I leave. Match started.
Mute.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye bye. Take care.
They played fairly well
Mujhe-
from that position. However, I think Bacon time with the scoring result that they found
Yeah.
themselves over
हाँ.
बोल
in
सकता
their
हूँ.
particular group.
क्या
It's a
बोल रहा था
little bit
मैं?
odd to me.
एक
seeing
सेकंड कुछ
them,
में देखा
you know,
मैच शुरू हो
not
गया
मुझे से सेंटेंस स्टार्ट हो
Although
रहा था आपका
third
मैच
place,
स्टार्ट हो
still
गया.
very strong, 81 points.
मुझे ये
That
समझ
is
नहीं
what
आता
we
है
showed by the 40-point gap between them.
कि बंदा
Second and
अगर
third place with
e-sports
21
player है वो
points.
how is your mindset right now? That's what's like, you know, shocking to me. चलो ठीक है, मेरा है कि हमारी vacation चल रही है, holiday चल रही है, ठीक है, ये side thing, it's a business thing, right? There are other things that, let's say, I do. But now if there's an esports player and he has one game as his career, how does he even freaking manage without it? It's like me without my laptop or my phone.
पीटी है यार और कोई बात नहीं मतलब इट्स लाइक कि obviously जो मेन अपना काम है वही अगर बंद हो रहा है तो बीटी तो होती है. लेट्स से हमें तो इतना बीटी नहीं होती मतलब जो लेट्स से सम पीपल जो स्पेसिफिकली इसी पे डिपेंडेंट है देयर फैमिली होल फैमिली डिपेंड्स ऑन द प्लेयर सैलरी एंड ऑल. तो it doesn't matter much to me, Clutch God and some of the players, but कुछ प्लेयरों के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा
नहीं वो अच्छी
big
तू
है।
क्या बोल रहा है, गेम ही नहीं है इधर।
गेम वाली बात नहीं है, फाइनेंशियली बोल रहा हूँ रे मैं लाला।
Yeah, I know livelihood हिसाब से like there is a lot of people who depend on it, but yeah,
Yep.
मेरे mindset के हिसाब से मतलब बंदा फिर करेगा क्या? You know what I mean? Like
और एक तो पता है ये लोग इन्फो भी नहीं पास करते कि क्या होगा क्या नहीं, तो एकदम
कितना टाइम लगेगा,
अफवाह
क्या
रहते हैं लोग।
होगा।
to be honest,
तो कुछ लोग तो गेम ही छोड़ दिए इस चक्कर में, पता है।
इकोसिस्टम
वेस्ट हो रहा है बस बीजीएमआई का, और क्या।
imagine we have 400 million gamers in India. Let me be exact, around 396 million, right? That is
इसकी रिपोर्ट आई थी ना रिसेंट में।
yeah. Now, how do you basically? I mean, like, how do you even process it? Like that. Freaking, how can you like ban a game which is the most famous game, which has around 110 million users only from India? Right. So how do you put that on hold? I get it that there are government information, like there are data issues, there is so on and so forth. But इतनी बड़ी market capitulate करना is like crazy, bro.
That is, as I've said before, where we see some of the strongest.
पता नहीं। अरे मेन तो इंडिया में क्या people yet don't know about, मतलब most people don't know about esports.
Yeah.
तो nobody cares, उनको तो वही लगता है कि बीजीएमआई बैन हो रहा है तो मतलब ऐसे बच्चे लोग जो खेलते हैं वही।
They do know it.
नहीं खेलेंगे और क्या।
देख, to be honest,
लेकिन उनको ये पता होना चाहिए ना, ये नहीं खेलेंगे तो और कुछ खेलेंगे भाई। गेम तो मतलब कुछ ना कुछ तो खेलेंगे ही ना वो लोग।
ऐसा रहेगा कि मतलब ऐसे बोल रहा हूँ कि कितने ही ई स्पोर्ट्स एथलीट होंगे इंडिया में, मतलब जो ऐसा
एस्पायरिंग बोल रहा है ना,
स्ट्रीम में होंगे। नहीं नहीं, एस्पायरिंग नहीं ब्रो, एस्पायरिंग नहीं है। एस्पायरिंग के लिए तो बैन हो जाएगा तो उसके घर वाले लोग खुश हो जाएंगे। जो मेन स्ट्रीम पे है ऑलरेडी 100-150।
No bro,
बाकी तो जितने भी
देख, तुझे पता है जो टॉप टियर के बंदे हैं ना, डिसीजन मेकर्स, they know exactly the scenario, they know the revenue model, they know everything inside out. It's just that it's not benefiting them unless it doesn't. अब दूसरे साइड से इसमें नुकसान देख, गवर्नमेंट का भी है इसमें नुकसान, ई स्पोर्ट्स एथलीट का भी है इसमें नुकसान, फॉर एग्जांपल आपके प्लेयर्स का भी है, या ले लो आप टेंसेंट वालों का भी है। Now the point is that इसमें it's actually a battle that who benefits the most. It's not about whether the game is right or game is wrong. How will it hurt if it was not, let's say अभी Tencent है, ठीक है, अब Tencent काम क्या करता है, they put the servers in India and they don't let the data go out for an instance, right? But उसमें उनका कम फायदा है, बहुत कम फायदा है comparatively। अगर आप गवर्नमेंट का देखोगे, गवर्नमेंट कहती है मैं डेटा बाहर जाने नहीं दूंगा, why don't I monetize on my own country's data? That is the battle. It's as simple as that. अब इसमें सब देख रहे हैं कि किसका, तू अपनी जगह देख रहा है भाई, गेम वापस आ जाए, मेरा करियर शुरू होगा, मैं भी फिर से टूर्नामेंट खेलूंगा, मैं भी पैसे कमा लूंगा, ब्रांड्स पैसा ज्यादा खर्चते हैं। So when all of these things happen, then जिसका जितना इंटरेस्ट है भाई वो उतने ध्यान से देख रहा है। So that's what the negotiation is right now.
तो ये एक साल से यही चल रहा है क्या?
I mean, politics bro.
अरे अच्छा ऐसे नॉक हो गया कित्सुन ने,
गाड़ी से गिर गया। ओ तेरी
देखा मैं भी
भारी कैंप, इस वजह से कभी अंदर जाना ही नहीं
खत्म
चाहिए।
कर दिया भाई सीन इनका तो भाई, आरसी वालों ने दो बंदों का इनका। नाइस रे नाइस, आई लाइक इट। क्या बैठे थे लोग, कूल स्टोरी।
इतना गुस्सा आ रहा होगा ना अभी वो बाकी दो प्लेयर को।
गाली दे रहे होंगे एक दूसरे को, तूने बोला था जाने के लिए, अब तू देख नहीं सकता था। अबे अब आ गई जीके वाले,
अब इनको देंगे राउंड 2
नहीं आई थिंक इन्होंने गन
कौन
शॉट
आएगा?
सुने, इन्होंने गन शॉट सुने। इनने गन शॉट सुने दे नो
पता है ये आरसी वाला बंदा जो है ना वो अगर वो स्पॉट पे रहेगा तो इधर अगर इनमें थोड़ा भी दिमाग हुआ तो एक दो नेट फेंक देंगे तो
नेट से फाड़ देंगे वे उसको जो बगल में बैठा है ना वहीं उसको
always has to be something that you do consider.
Bro,
like
I
there's
don't
some
think he
players
knows.
just playing quite sneaky
I don't.
down
Oh,
low.
no, knows.
So
ये तो
Monitor
it's
मार रहे हैं।
confusing that they would fall prey to that one.
पर वो पहुंचा ही
They
नहीं
got down to 2 players.
मोलोटोव का तो सीन ही नहीं था थोड़ा मतलब नेट वगैरह करता तो शायद पहुंच जाता
नेट पहुंच जाता मौली भी पहुंचा है मौली उसे लग नहीं रही बट
नहीं वो बिल्कुल
मौली
edge पे
उसके
नहीं
पीछे
पहुंची।
तक थी
थोड़ा और आगे जाके फेंकनी पड़ेगी आगे उसको फैल ही नहीं अच्छे से
Looks like
जाओ
they're in
भाई
position,
अंदर
and
जाओ
why would you really? As long as you can control that exit, it's very, very hard to push out of it.
I think वो
Yeah, you
दूसरे
can
साइड
even
से आएगा
prop vehicles inside the
वो
entrance,
जो
making it
प्लेयर
very difficult for anyone who's under
वो
the
आरसी के दो ही बंदे हैं या कितने
हाँ।
बंदे
नहीं
हैं
पूरे
आज-
चार
आज
बंदे हैं
चार
भाई
आ
पीछे
गए।
दो और हैं
आगे
आ
आगे
गए।
आगे
पूरे चार हैं ठीक है
हेल्प
आगे
के
देख
लिए
पीछे
आगे
दो
भाई
बंदे
बहुत देर बाद है
Just
लूट
this
रहे थे क्या ये
does
लोग
finally make his way over the rest of his team as well. And they have either side covered.
यार
They do, certainly. I mean, this is nice.
जोन
It
बन
gives
गया
Green
भारी
that
बिल्कुल
way out
अबे यार
as
कुछ
well.
आलवाल जोन नहीं बन रहा बेलाल ये पानी में जोन जाया जा रहा है भाई
आई
काफी
गेस इन
दिनों से
लोगों
देख
ने
रहा हूँ
जोन
मैं
का चेंज किया है पहले अलग था जो ग्रुप स्टेजेस हुए थे ना सबके
हम्म।
येलो टीम ग्रीन टीम उसमें अलग
पानी
हुआ
में
था
जाया जा रहा
अभी
है
अलग हो रहा है
जोन
So I imagine that team number's going to drop fairly soon.
पेल मेटा
Yeah,
पेल
you even have probably less than that available, considering no one's really going to be heading down towards Mill to Power this
Pale
early
meta.
on. So there's just this barrier.
क्या PL zone है इसमें
सेम मेटा ना अभी ये क्या हो गया
Uh-oh.
नहीं पीएल में और छोटे छोटे
गाड़ी
जोन
सीधी
होते
कर रहा
हैं
था भाई
Bit of a tumble there on the roadside, but will be able to maintain.
Oh
IHC
my
playing
God.
close by on rotations to Geeke, who moved away.
ओए नहीं
बहुत दुख भाई बहुत दुख
भाई
बहुत
उसके
ही
दुख।
दुख।
To the east, the north bit.
हित
Milton Peninsula
हित के
पेड़
साथ
में
क्या हुआ
ठुक
देखा
गया
तुमने
भाई वो
similar ideas, and their claim
गलत
अबे
हो
ट्रेड कर दिया
this time around.
आईसी को डाउन किया एक
Shots
ने
starting to ring on out. Alex.
कितना
ऐसी
ही
बहुत
गंदा
अपनी
लग रहा
है।
होगा उससे जाकर पेड़ में ठुक
The shots over towards Hope, but Icy's down, so they have to figure out how to get that one back. In the
यार मुझे
meantime, on the
पावर
north
का
side,
स्प्लिट
Power
समझ नहीं आता यार क्लच गार्ड तू समझा दे
who are
व्हाट आर दे
their
डूइंग
final 3 games now blank. They are trying to play it up.
क्या पता एरिया कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो लोग बहुत ज्यादा
अब नहीं
नहीं
हो
कर
रहा है
पा रहे।
पूरे टूर्नामेंट में नहीं हो रहा है तो मत करो रुक जाओ
Survival stage.
हमेशा यही सोचते रहेंगे कि हम थोड़ा पैसिव खेल ले रहे हैं जैसा खेलते हैं वैसे ही खेलेंगे एरिया कंट्रोल करेंगे मारेंगे सबको बट कभी भी नहीं होता उन लोग से
मजे नहीं आ रहा
ओ
अरेबिया रीजन में तो ये बहुत मार रहे थे यार सबको
अरेबियन रीजन में आई गेस वही हो रहा है आई गेस वहाँ पर बहुत मतलब उतना एग्रेसिव नहीं खेलते ना लोग
सिलेक्टिव
Bro,
टीम्स है ना
मीना
उधर।
मीना रीजन में उतना एग्रेसिव नहीं खेलते
मीना में अब बहुत ज्यादा अच्छी टीम्स है बहुत ही अच्छी टीम
हाँ
अभी
बट वो
NGX
लोग
तो
स्ट्रैटेजिक
काफी time
ज्यादा
पे
Yeah.
खेलते हैं ना
Yeah, yeah,
स्ट्रैटेजिक
yeah.
ज्यादा खेलते हैं
Yeah.
और यहाँ पर उल्टा हो रहा है यहाँ पर सीधा एज कंट्रोल सेंटर कंट्रोल एग्रेसिव फुल सेंड
कोई भी कहीं पे भी गाड़ी डाल दे रहा है भाई मेरे को सबसे कमाल की बात एक लगी एक मैच में इन्होंने
और इन अरे
पूरा
और
लॉस
उनकी
लियोनी
नसीब
जोन
भी खराब है ना एचवीवीपी मिल रही है और वीपी मिल रही है अभी तो वो तो मारेंगे
वीपी से तो कहीं बचेंगे
इससे
भाई।
पहले मैच में एचवीवीपी मिल गई अभी वीपी मिल गई टेबल टॉपर सीधा मार मार खाओ भी तो उनसे
भाई नंबर 4 और नंबर 2 में 50 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस है
नंबर 3 और 6 में ज्यादा नहीं है बट
कंपटीशन तो मेरे को लग रहा है थोड़े दिन बाद वापस आई गेस कल तक तो वैसे ही हो जाएगा मुझे लग रहा है
आई एम
कि
शॉक्ड कि अल्फा
top
7 परफॉर्म
3,
नहीं कर
4
पा रही इस वाले में से
मतलब इतना
करेंगे
टेबल
करेंगे
टेबल टॉप नहीं कर पा रहे
इस वाले में से
but
टॉप
हाँ,
16
decent
होगा ना
खेल
इस
रहे
वाले
हैं।
से टॉप 16 हो गएगा टॉप
हाँ,
16
top
उसके बाद फिर
16
से एक और
qualify कर रहे हैं
अभी
मैटर
नहीं
करता ही
जाएगा
नहीं
कोई
इस बार
भी
तो
ये
फिलहाल
सर्वाइवल स्टेज है बस
अभी लास्ट चांस में
Pre-elims.
होएगा फिर जो भी होएगा 5 टीमें
प्री
होंगी ना शायद से।
इलिम्स फॉर सेमी नहीं सेमी फाइनल नहीं और 5 स्लॉट
बेकन का चिकन ये वाला कंफर्म बेकन का
Bacon
चिकन
सा
But yeah, very few decent compounds within this area to actually
और वाले बंदे
play from.
बिड़ने वाले हैं आरसी
पता है ऐसा खेल कर ना सही है क्योंकि इसमें आई गेस जितने भी टीम्स ये किए होंगे ना पार्टिसिपेट अभी जितनी भी खेल रही है
इतने टाइम से लोग खेल रहे हैं, इनका भी थोड़ा वो बढ़ जाएगा, बाकी लोग मतलब जितनी भी टीम्स हैं उनका।
एक्सपीरियंस मैटर करता तो है ही वे, बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करता है।
Still 16 teams alive. I'm surprised that we've come this far with this many teams.
वहां से फेज को भर दिया। फेज के कितने गए? 2
very very soon. Power as well. Phase. All of these teams losing players and a little bit of momentum.
थाईलैंड वाली टीम्स तो पर कुछ अच्छा ही खेल रही है, फेज अच्छा नहीं खेल रही उतना, बट बाकी बेकेन और वीपी और एक और कौन सी टीम थी?
बेकन थी, वीपी थी, एचवीवीपी थी।
एचवीपी वहां से नहीं है, एचवीपी तो मेरे ख्याल में ये
थाईलैंड
एचवीपी रशिया की है ना, सॉरी। थाईलैंड की है, बेकन टाइम
4
भी
तो
है।
इधर ही है, एक और है।
एचवीपी नावी नहीं है क्या? नावी टीम ना शायद ये एचवीपी।
हाँ नावी है, नावी।
और टेम फेज वैम्पायर
एक आई गेस क्वालिफाई किए, 4-5 टीम थे ना आई गेस।
अरे ये ना गीक
पता नहीं, 4 ही थे।
गीक फैम।
हाँ गीक
फैम क्वालिफाई
नहीं,
हो गया।
गीक तो
गीक ही है, गीक फैम ही है।
गीक फैम ही है भाई, थाईलैंड की टीम।
You're looking around about 100 points if they keep up this pace throughout the rest of the tournament.
येलो टीम तो बहुत, येलो ग्रुप तो बहुत बोरिंग सा लगा।
बहुत बोरिंग था यार। एंड में आई थिंक लास्ट डे वाज प्रीटी एंटरटेनिंग। एक बंदा लिख रहा है जोन मेटा कंट्रोल करने के लिए स्प्लिट खेल रही है पावर।
जोन मेटा
को कैसे कंट्रोल करोगे भाई?
जोन मेटा कंट्रोल करते करते मर जा रहे भाई, फायदा क्या है? मेटा ही कंट्रोल करते रह जाएंगे।
आईएचसी के नसीब ही गलत है, जहाँ हिल रहे हैं वहाँ उनके क्लैश हो रहे हैं। लेकिन पे अल्फा 7 आ गई। अल्फा 7 को लगा शायद
ये जब
नाइस पुश।
भाई आईएचसी पहले बहुत भारी खेलती थी।
अबे मिस हो गया।
फिर उसके बाद
भाग गया एक बंदा इनका।
एक बच गया। 2 बंदे वे। ओ सैड ब्रो।
अच्छा एक पहले
गॉडलेस का
नाइस नॉक।
और ये क्या डीसिक पे लगा क्या?
नाइस
शॉट अच्छा था।
हाँ नॉक दे दिया। अच्छा
Felt nothing of the kind. Won't need to go to the barbers though. He's already been shaved by that one. Not quite going to catch it, fortunately. Circle does pop. Comes a little bit back to the land.
Mythic पे नॉक दिया।
Besiktas' spot actually isn't as prio as we kind of expected it to be there. IHC just have to unleash a barrage of bullets over towards Alpha 7's position to keep them at bay, but they have great angles towards them. The only thing that really keeping them stopped up there is the sniper.
अबे बुरुराम कहाँ की टीम है? थाईलैंड है ना वो भी?
हाँ बुरीराम यूनाइटेड।
गीक इज फ्रॉम मलेशिया, बुरुराम इज फ्रॉम थाईलैंड।
ब्रू क्वालिफाई हो गई क्या? हो गई ना
भाई? ताबड़तोड़ रेड ग्रुप में तो उनने आतंक मैच आया था भाई।
हाँ गीक मलेशियन है। वही मैं सोचू तुम लोगों ने फिर मना कर दिया, तुम लोगों ने, नुआ ने भी मना कर दिया, तो किर भाई बोल अरे भाई
देख
मैं सोच रहा था यूहाई थाईलैंड भाषा बोलते बोलते भाई अपना सीधा थाई टीम में चल गया।
देखो भाई वी आर नूब्स, यू शुड नो बेटर।
अरे लेकिन यूआई बीटीआर भी तो ज्वाइन किया था ना, इस हिसाब से तो ये
तो से अरे उनका लैंग्वेज सेम है।
अच्छा
सिमिलर है बहुत ज्यादा। वीवो केवाईडी बाहर है यार। डीडब्ल्यू ना हमेशा वो ना मतलब हमेशा 3-4 इसी पे बेचारी अटकती रहती है। इतनी अच्छी टीम है इनकी, कन्वर्ट नहीं कर पाते। डीडब्ल्यू डांगमॉन गेमिंग।
डामोन गेमिंग ने पीएमजीसी था वो, क्या था? पीएमजीसी 0 था आई गेस वो।
पीएमजीसी 0
नहीं जिसमें लीग स्टेज जीता था इनने।
आई गेस प्रोबेबली
एसटी सेकंड आई थी लीग स्टेज पे।
maybe was going wrong yesterday.
I don't. Yeah. I think that was when was that?
Not quite finding the groove yet.
I don't recall which tournament that was.
PMGC 0, I guess.
Well, down one. Looked like they'd found their feet. Looked like they were.
वो नोवा जीते थे और वो
Some of those top spots, even direct qualification in sometimes.
16th पे क्वालिफाई की थी नोवा
Started to feel like it's
वो वाला
paled in
हाँ
comparison to the powerhouses that.
Damn.
16th पे क्वालिफाई की थी और उसके बाद फिर जीत गया फाइनल्स
Clash, तेरी favorite team कौन है?
Hopefully they can hold on here. They're looking fairly set.
Let's say
ऐसा
obviously
देखनी हो
godlike, but I mean like in
जीसी ना
GC.
नो हाँ नोवा को भी देखने में मजा आता है नोवा और एचवीवीपी अरे वो उनका गेम देखकर
वीपी बढ़िया लग
ऐसा
गया मेरे को अगर एसटी को छोड़ दे तो वीपी भाई
कभी देखना इनको खेलते हुए ये लोग बहुत मतलब देखकर पता चल जाता है ये लोग क्या करना चाह रहे हैं अजीब सा नहीं लगता है जैसे वो सऊदी वर्सेस अर्जेंटीना हुआ था ना अर्जेंटीना के प्लेयर्स जितने भी थे वो कंफ्यूज थे देखकर पता चल रहा था
True.
नोवा का तो एकदम क्लियर दिख जाता है कि इनको यही करना है एकदम मशीन जैसा वर्क कर रही है लोग कमांड दे दिया इनको एग्जैक्ट ऐसे ही खेलो
कौन सा प्लेयर ऐसा था जिसको देख के you were like damn I wanna like someone that you idolize to make you an esports athlete
पहले था अभी तो ऐसा कोई स्पेसिफिक
अब तो
अबे बस
स्टार्ट में
सिंगल नेड पे दो
उसका
निकाल
नेड फेंका वे नाइस नेड
अब तो खुद ही जीतना है
हाँ खुद ही का ही है अभी तो
देख,
पहले
वो तो
जब
ठीक है।
खेलना स्टार्ट किया था ना पहले जब खेलना स्टार्ट किया था मैंने तब उस टाइम पे राइजन था राइजन का जब प्राइम था ना तभी
राइजन
बट फिर बाद में हमने खुद ही खेलना चालू किया इतना कुछ नहीं रहा फिर खुद ही का गेम इम्प्रूवमेंट पे ही वो रह गया कि अपने भी कर सकते हैं वो कर सकते हैं तो क्या
कॉम्पी में खेलने के बाद फिर वो ज्यादा नहीं होता
मैटर
है
नहीं
ना
करता
कि-
अपने को
True.
मतलब ऐसा कोई आइडल नहीं रहता फिर
I agree. It's just but someone you always look at like damn. Like for an instance, a cricketer Sachin
नहीं,
Tendulkar को देखा then you're like man I want to be like him. Then he becomes the Virat Kohli, right? Then who do you idolize in that way? But yeah, I get your point that फिर आप अपनी game में इतना busy हो जाते हो then you don't really idolize. But there is always someone that you have looked up to. But or maybe they are still playing. You know what I mean? And you are still playing.
Options. They're talking about how they want to get a little bit more aggressive. I think that's maybe not the place to do it though, where you could.
But because
फिलहाल at the moment
yeah, I get your point because ये game उतनी पुरानी है नहीं. Everybody is still in the scene. You know, I get your point.
अभी तो नहीं बट पहले देखता था बहुत पहले एकदम जब पहले
start
पहले
किया था ना
मेरे को
हमने
ना
खेलना।
नहीं तब नहीं अरे 4M का जब आया था ना
सुख
भाई
4M के सुख को
हाँ सुख
क्या खेलता
जिने
था भाई
हसाकी और सासान भाई ये लोग क्या ही खेलते थे उस वक्त मेरे को नोवा से भी ज्यादा अच्छे लगता था वो टीम बट फिर अप्स एंड डाउन्स फिर वो टीम टूट गई
सुख को और किसी ने ले लिया था ना लाला
सुख अभी
और कोई
टीसी में
Lala, first international LAN पे how did you feel?
मजा तो आया था इंटरनेशनल में बहुत अच्छा लगता है खेलने में
बहुत मजा आता है. I went to PMWA. I think that was the first PUBG event that I went to.
Scarlet's gaming, they do get one of their players
It's fun.
back up.
It's a very fun vibe.
To play a little bit further into this match.
अभी तो इनने थोड़ा ये कर दिया पता है ये लैन वैन नहीं कराया नहीं तो अरे हाँ PMWL में पता नहीं जर्मनी में करवाने वाले थे और ये लोग बहुत अच्छा स्टेडियम बने थे फिर उसके बाद से इनने कभी वैसा नहीं किया क्योंकि फिर लॉकडाउन पड़ गया और ये सब हो गया तो फिर
बहुत मस्त था लेकिन वो स्टेडियम भाई
अभी तक भी पॉसिबल नहीं हुआ कि सारी टीम्स आए एक जगह पे बेस्ट टूर्नामेंट तो बट PL का होता है PEC एकदम प्रोडक्शन वगैरह VSPN क्योंकि आई गेस बेस्ट है ये सब में PUBG के लिए तो स्पेसिफिक
अभी VSPN ने यहाँ पे PC का इवेंट भी कराया था रिसेंटली, एक नए इसमें दुबई गेम फेस्टिवल पे। बहुत अच्छा सेटअप था उनका।
वैसे एक बात बताओ, अभी जैसे वेलो का सीन चल रहा है, वेलो मोबाइल आने के लिए बोल रहे हैं, तो ये राइट भी तो टेंशन ओन्ड ही है ना मेरे ख्याल में, तो उसको भी क्यों ही ऐड
डालेंगे
नहीं
ना,
किया है।
तभी तो वेट कर रहे, वेट करते करते सीधा वाइल्ड ड्रिफ्ट तो कभी आया ही नहीं।
वाइल्ड ड्रिफ्ट तो आया ही नहीं बाहर। मेरे को लगता है वो इंडिया में रिलीज भी करेंगे भाई उसको, वेलो मोबाइल को।
यार ये बेसिक्तास आज सही खेल रही है। HVP को वाइप करने के बाद कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया। Do you know Besiktas टर्की की एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, do you know them?
नहीं।
So this team is an esports wing of a football team. So they have there is a place called Dolmabache. So it's a place, they have a own stadium there. Like they own a proper stadium there, a football stadium.
बट ये ऐसा कोई फेमस टीम है क्या, फुटबॉल टीम?
Football team, yeah, it's like a national team, like one of the IPL team मान ले वहाँ की फुटबॉल।
आई गेस गेम में ऐसा सिर्फ एक टीम के साथ है, वो भी LGD, PSG LGD लोटा में।
एक दूसरी टीम है ना वो PSG टैलोन।
वो किसकी है, मतलब वो किस गेम
That's
में?
also a subsidiary. They are, wait I'll tell you, वो किस में है।
डाल दिया भाई बंदे को तो।
They are in,
उनको खेलने को भी कितना अच्छा लगा, फक PSG के लिए खेल रहे हैं।
10 eliminations, sure, but Power are still in the fight. Besiktas carry on going. 9th place elimination.
भाई ये 7 मूड में आ रखी है मैच में, शायद ऑलरेडी निकाल लिया और वो कर रहे हैं अभी।
Everybody's starting to rack up these points now. Besiktas with 1 point.
भाई इन पे बहुत अच्छी जगह पता है, वो कौन है ऊपर पे टीम? A7 का चिकन ही है।
A7 वालों के लिए तो बोल रहा हूँ, A7 मूड में आ रखी है भाई, तो बोला मैं तो।
ओ लॉल, A7 पे अच्छी स्पॉट नहीं है बेकिंग टाइम पे, बेकिंग टाइम ने बहुत पहले ले लिया उस स्पॉट।
So PSG टैलोन का है League of Legends, Valorant, Dota 2, Arena of Valor, Rainbow Six, Tekken 7, Street Fighter।
लीग में है वो लोग?
Yeah.
अभी डालिए क्या, अभी लिया है क्या उन्होंने टीम?
I don't know when they took this team, but I know the guys.
क्योंकि लीग में तो
Yeah, they are a part of Paris Saint-Germain।
3 टीमें 4 मैन है लाला, 3 टीमें 4 मैन है और जोन बन गया इन पे, आराम ज्यादा है
भाई। बेकिंग टाइम में बहुत अच्छा जोन है, बेकिंग टाइम
इनको वाले पे बन गया भाई पूरा जोन, देख ना तू।
नहीं बेकिंग टाइम दुखी है अभी, इनको वालों को भी अच्छा है, इनको अगर अच्छे से खेलेगी तो चिकन मार सकते हैं।
ये अल्फा मुझे लगता है खींच लेगी किसी तरीके से।
बेकिंग टाइम को इनको पे पुश करना पड़ेगा।
चौथी टीम कौन सी है? जीके का एक बंदा कहाँ पे?
घरों पे।
कौन से कोने में? हाँ घरों पे।
अब ये तो गाड़ी घुमा रहा है, मिल गई जोन उसे।
एज मिला है लेकिन वो
तो खेल सकते हैं ना, अभी पुश करने की जरूरत क्या है इस जोन पे?
तो चारों एक ही जगह पे थोड़ा रह जाएंगे,
कौन ही मारेगा उनको?
ये देख A7 वाले देख,
अच्छी वो भी दे रहे ना वापस में एक तो।
जीके वाला बस अबे नहीं कर स्मोक नहीं दे, अटेंशन
कर रहा है ना।
हाँ गलती कर दी उसने,
किया है नहीं स्मोक, पता नहीं फिर तो किया था,
मर गया।
एग्जैक्टली
मार दिया इनको वाले ने, देख लिया।
बता दिया भाई ने कि मैं हूँ इधर, मार दो मुझे
मेरे को प्लीज। तुम मेरे को मार क्यों नहीं रहे भाई? क्या सीन
मुझे
भाई?
भूलो मत भाई, मैं हूँ इधर, स्मोक कर रहा हूँ।
बेकन प्रेस होगा
अभी तीनों टीमों के
रीडिंग
पास
चैट्स, अरे देख रहा था गाइस, मैं पढ़ भी रहा हूँ।
स्मॉल स्पेस है, काफी छोटी जगह है उनका खेलने को। निकल गए लेकिन 2 बंदे बढ़िया है भाई, निकल गए
भाई। और तो घर में ठीक है, घर में नहीं हूँ भाई, मैं बूट कैंप में हूँ और यहाँ तो सब ठीक है।
ओह नाइस
नाइस।
बेकिंग टाइम ने पुश कर दिया।
अबे पुश नहीं, 2 बंदों को बस पोजी दिला दी, यहाँ पे बैठो आराम से।
अच्छी बैठने के लिए नहीं है अभी बाहर ही। मारेंगे
अभी बमबारी होएगी देखिए।
अब इन पे नेड़ों की बारिश
इनका अभी तक
होगी।
रेव क्यों नहीं हुआ? रेव क्यों नहीं हुआ इनका ये बंदा नॉक करा? हो रहा है।
बेकिंग टाइम मर जाएगी मुझे लग रहा है।
मुझे भी लग रहा है वो दो साइड से स्क्विश हो रही है। अब पीछे से आएगा अल्फा रोमियो, उनको इनको पे जरूरी पुश देना है वरना अल्फा 7
भाई अल्फा ने ले लिया जोन दोबारा से। वो बंदा नॉक ना हो बस।
रेवो बहुत अच्छा पोज लिया।
हाँ बहुत अच्छा पोज लिया। मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ नॉक नहीं खाएगा तो बढ़िया रहेगा, बढ़िया हो जाएगा सीन उसका। कूल स्टोरी कर देगा ये लोग का सीन। और ऊपर से 9 सर्कल चालू होने वाला है भाई। बहुत बढ़िया पोज है भाई उनकी 9 सर्कल के अकॉर्डिंग। बट स्टिल मेरे को भी लग रहा है इनको चिकन निकालेगी।
मुझे नहीं लगता वहां पे अब मुश्किल है।
देखते हैं कौन निकालता है A7 या फिर
Long ago you didn't read the chat. अरे रे सॉरी।
लिंक्स का तो मुश्किल लग रहा है।
मुझे लगता है A7 का चिकन है भाई। इन पे इतने नेड बहेंगे ना।
मैं इनको इसीलिए बोल रहा हूँ बेशक कितने ही नेड फेंके हैं लोग, एट द एंड अगर इन्होंने नेड वेस्ट करना भी बंद नहीं किया ना, बाद में अगर नेड वेस्ट करते ठीक है। बट अभी जोन क्लोज इन होगा तो इनको सेंटर में रहेगी देखना काइंड ऑफ। सबसे बाद में है ना दोनों पे, इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ मैं। बट फिर बेकन अगर पुश देखते हैं।
बेकन का एक नॉक हुआ, बेकन का दूसरा नॉक हुआ। बेकन वाइप आउट।
बेकन वाइप है बस। अभी देखना
लेकिन किल किसने ली? अबे ये लेगी भाई।
हाँ अबे पुश कर दिया भाई। A7 ने पुश ही कर दिया, इंस्टेंट पुश किया। ये वेट
करीलो डाउन, मिथिक बाहर है। ये रेज देगी, रेज मिलेगा।
अबे रेवो क्या कर रहे हैं? रेवो ड्रॉप लूटने गया बे।
ओई वेरी गुड नॉक, ब्यूटीफुल नॉक।
हां बढ़िया नॉक।
अबे करीलो को
बढ़िया मारा।
अबे करीलो को रेव हो जाएगा।
रेवो को लास्ट सर्कल में ड्रॉप दिखा और ड्रॉप के पास भाग गया वो।
इनको का दूसरा भी गया। इनको के दो फिनिश। इनको के दो फिनिश।
2v3v2 है।
2v3 है।
खत्म।
दे दिया भाई।
जी भाई इनको
भाई
हार
ने सीधा
A7
भाई
ने पुश
ऑग
कर
तो
दिया।
अबे ये तो बाहर से
क्यों यूज कर रहा है लेकिन कोई सेंस ही नहीं बनती।
जी
A7 का बहुत बढ़िया चिकन भाई। नाइस,
बहुत बढ़िया चिकन, बहुत बढ़िया चिकन
भाई। पुश नहीं कर देना।
पुश
वैसे पुश क्यों ही नहीं क्यों ना करें भाई पुश। वो ऑब्वियसली पुश करेंगे।
सेंस ही नहीं बनता था।
एक नॉक दे दिया उसका।
बेकन की किल कौन खा गया?
जोन से मरे ना शायद उनके दो बंदे तो, या फिर
नहीं एक बंदा जोन से मरा।
मैं भी नहीं, मैं
एक
तो
बंदा
बाहर गया था।
एक बंदा जोन से मरा।
बाकी इन्होंने ही मारे फिर। क्या बोलते हैं इनको वालों ने गेस, क्योंकि सारे स्क्वाड्स में ये वेयर हाउस में घुस गए थे वो लोग। इनको वाले मतलब ये वाले बेकन वाले ने बीटी दे दी भाई उनको तो। बढ़िया खेले A7। इनका करीलो बहुत डेंजर खेलता है जो करीलो जो भी उस बंदे का नाम।
करीलो नहीं ब्रो, रेवो।
अबे करीलो भी बहुत बारी खेलता है भाई।
करीलियो बहुत अच्छा खेलता है।
बट अभी रेवो है।
अभी रेवो फील्ड में। क्लच अखाड़े में जा रहे हैं। अखाड़े जा रहे हैं
जिम।
हाँ
हाँ
अखाड़े और जिम की मेहनत में बहुत फर्क है भाई, लेकिन जिम में नहीं
मॉडर्न
वाली बात
अखाड़ा
नहीं आएगी।
क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
अखाड़े वाले बंदों में
अखाड़ा है।
अखाड़ा इज लाइक यू नो मड रेसलिंग ब्रो।
अरे मतलब क्या बोलते हैं उसको अपने यहाँ पे, कुश्ती के लिए जो
दंगल वाला
के लिए जो। हाँ भाई। और अखाड़े के जो वे रहते हैं ना प्लेयर लोग रहते हैं भाई, स्ट्रेंथ के मामले में जिम वाले आसपास भी नहीं जा सकते भाई उनके।
जिम में
बहुत अलग अरे अरे मेहनत अलग है रे, मतलब ग्राउंड की मेहनत और जिम की मेहनत में बहुत फर्क आ जाता है, ऐसे वाला सीन है। दोनों में बहुत बहुत मेहनत लगती है ऑब्वियसली, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि उसमें मेहनत नहीं लगती, लेकिन डिफरेंस है दोनों की मेहनत में, अलग अलग टाइप का हो गया ऐसा वाला सीन।
फिजिक है, एक स्ट्रेंथ है।
यस एग्जैक्टली।
एक कोर ट्रेनिंग होती है, एक
I
स्ट्रेंथ
mean, that
ट्रेनिंग
match,
होती है।
that was all on Revo's shoulders in a phenomenal
और
way.
अभी
Really
इसमें एक और
stands out
चीज,
as well here, able to pick
ये
up the
कैलिस्थेनिक्स भी एक अलग ही है वैंस के, अक्सर बॉडी वेट
आई
ट्रेनिंग।
थिंक अब बाय बाय होने वाला है,
little
बाय
bit of
बाय
a
नहीं
point
होगा
so
भाई
far.
को अभी।
A great finish and a great capitalization as well onto Inco, who
अभी
I think
हूँ
we
मैं।
all kind of agree, who played
तुझे
actually
पता है
really
तू
well considering the situation they were in.
10
They
साल
had
जिम
a
कर ले,
Alpha 7 in front of them.
फिर तू फॉर
Hard
एग्जांपल
to fight a battle on two different fronts.
कंडीशनिंग के लिए जा,
like,
राइट?
limit
If you're
teams
if
from
you're
kind of
working
aiming
out for
to make
10 years and then
around
you
what,
decide to
76
go
points?
for a
They were at
conditioning
76
session,
points before this. This
I
is the
promise you
all
तू
in
5
one
मिनट भी नहीं
spot
टिक
in the top
पाएगा।
16 to make it to the last chance. So
कंडीशनिंग
जैसे
सेशन मतलब?
as you said,
कंडीशनिंग means like let's say mixed
this
martial
guy
arts or
goes
something
to the
like
other side of
that.
the road solo.
ओ अरे मैं बोला ना, ये कैलिस्थेनिक्स वगैरह जो स्टफ रहता है इसमें बॉडी वेट ट्रेनिंग
Even
वाला वाला सीन
calisthenics
रहता है।
में, calisthenics चलो ठीक है, you're lifting your body weight and so on so forth and तुम वो चीजें कर रहे हो, right? But आप 2 मिनट के लिए ऐसे सोचो कि, तो मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ, आप जिम जाना एक पंचिंग बैग पे, just do 5 minutes, right? Punch the bag for just 5 minutes. फिर मुझे आप वापस आके बताना how do you feel?
मेरे को ऐसा लगता है जिम जाने से ना वो बॉडी स्टिफ हो जाती है।
इससे
अरे तो
फॉर
उसके लिए
लॉन्ग टाइम
स्ट्रेचिंग भी
अगर
तो करना पड़ता है।
अरे
नहीं
उससे
करते ना
नहीं
लोग, इन जनरल 70-80% लोग करते ही
करना
नहीं
चाहिए
है।
ना,
वो
उनकी
स्ट्रेचिंग का
गलती
भी
हो।
नहीं है। देखो आप एक मसल पे जब लेट्स से यू आर गेनिंग मास ऑन अ मसल, सो उसमें क्या होता है, लाइक योर मसल गेट्स लाइक बिगर एंड टाइटर, और इवन इफ यू आर डूइंग दिस थिंग, व्हेन यू आर डूइंग मिक्स्ड मार्शल आर्ट, योर मसल लूजन्स ओनली, इट इज फ्लेक्सिबल। मतलब एक हो गया हार्ड रबर और सॉफ्ट रबर। हार्ड रबर जो होता है वो फॉर एग्जांपल बेंड नहीं, ज्यादा फ्लेक्सिबल नहीं होता है। सॉफ्ट रबर इज मोर लाइक, या इट इज लाइक यू नो, you can stretch it the way you want. So that's the difference between like a guy who is doing
मोबिलिटी डिफरेंस आता है,
mobility
let's
की
say।
difference है, then you have उसमें for example then the way that you are working out, तुम्हारी oxygen supply body में कितना जा रही है, blood flow कितना है, वो उन चीजों से होता है। Bro, I'm telling you, एक काम करना, just go and try hitting a bag for like 5 minutes. 5 मिनट में बंदे के फेफड़े बाहर आ गए होते हैं।
अरे सेम चीज लेट्स से
तैरने
रनिंग में
में
भी
भी
तो
हालत
होता है,
खराब
रनिंग में भी
होती
तो
है।
होता है, रनिंग में भी तो होता है। लेट्स से अगर तुम 300 मीटर्स के स्प्रिंट मार लो ना भाई, बॉडी की हालत खराब रहेगी, बहुत खराब रहेगी लिटरली। 100 मीटर के 3 स्प्रिंट 30 सेकंड के लेट्स से रेस्ट के साथ,
उसमें
बहुत बीटी रहेगी, बहुत ज्यादा।
उसमें तुम्हारी
तो
ब्रीदिंग
तू दुखी है बे। हम लोग पता है अभी हाल फिलहाल में गए 90 मिनट, नहीं 90 मिनट तो नहीं, 60 मिनट्स खेले हम लोग फुटबॉल स्ट्रेट, और उसके बाद फिर स्प्रिंट लिया हमने।
फुटबॉल वालों का तो
भाई
कुछ और ही सीन होता है भाई।
भाई फुटबॉल बहुत
भाई इसको
बहुत
ऊपर खींच ले।
अरे वो
वही।
सेनेटर बैठा है नीचे सेनेटर ना, इसका असली नाम क्या है?
जरगल,
तरगल,
जरगल, सेनेटोर,
जरगल, जरगल।
माइक चेक, माइक चेक,
चेक चेक।
या चेक चेक चल रहा है आपका माइक।
सेनेटर,
फाइन।
yes, yes.
what did they do in this match, Senator?
Well,
Woo,
Sandstorm, I think,
Alpha
actually
7.
tracked your taxes and found out who is
They play
capable
very
of
good
talking
because they
positively
have
about
the
the right
position.
filter
You
on
know,
there. We don't need to do that with the
for
house
IT,
video
if
later on. But
IT
gentlemen,
clean
Max, you wanted to talk about English
Alpha
that last match,
7,
and I'm gonna let you
they
exactly
played
what
like Alpha 7, but in the defense, they not defensive very good. You know, they go rotation, rotating. They all kill it. They all staying alone. So Alpha 7 make the chance and played very good.
Word.
The circle keeps centering on top of them, but compared to
आई
their
थी
game,
सेम
that
प्लेस
was
पे रहती है
somewhat gifted to them
अल्फा
yesterday,
7 के
you know,
बर्ड।
open field finish.
Yeah.
Here, they were
I think
so
Inco
aggressive how they
Inco
were
kind of
playing
didn't
their
put
game.
up a
They had
good
great juju
fight.
split, keeping tabs on Bacon, keeping
Yeah,
tabs also on
because
Alpha
they
7. The moment
protecting
Bacon go down,
only
they regroup,
the
try and fight
position.
Alpha 7.
Compound, yeah.
Of course, it doesn't work out because Revo played it so well, but I gotta say, despite not getting the chicken dinner, I think this is the best game
Action
we
is
have
back
seen
to
from,
boot camp?
Inco this match so far, this tournament so far, should I say?
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, I'm sold on Inco. I think that I want to see more of this.
It's back to
Inco
boot
in
camp, but
particular.
Well, I think they're
after
able to play like that because they're using Sony Xperia 144.
after our
Xperia
screen
Stream,
today,
which is
he
made in
go
collaboration
for
with
some
professional
training,
esports players. You
sport,
can play PUBG Mobile 90 Hz.
Sport training. Which
Total
sports?
fluid system and multiple ports for intensive
maybe
gaming
basketball.
and streaming and
okay.
potentially
Basketball.
some chicken dinners here, which we
Nice.
did get to see out of Inco in the
Action.
very
He's
first
a good
match.
basketball
But
player?
as we got to hear Max talk
Or
about it,
just
what
playing?
about Bacon time, Sandstorm? You
Just
wanted to touch
playing.
on that.
अंदर है
Yeah, so
हाँ
time, this
अच्छा
is
ये
the
लो
second time
शांतनु
I
ये
believe
रहा
that we've seen them
Maybe
have
Scry
such a
come
split. You had one player on the east side of
tomorrow
Delta,
or
one
day after
player in the
tomorrow.
factory near Milta
He will
Power, and then you had a
leave
duo
the
split
Hello,
almost
bachus.
to Popka the second they saw
Hello,
it. It was a very early rotation
Shans
from them,
Hello.
sharing a lot of
Hello,
information,
hello.
and
अरे
how
तोकिर
they
भाई
shifted, it definitely helped them out. Now they're in
Shantanu
top
bhai.
4 after that game, so again, yet
बोलो ना
another
तोकिर
team
भाई मैं
that
आपको
it's a early
कॉल
start
करने वाला ही था
where they're guaranteed
अरे
So
लेकिन मैं
Alvar.
रात को
to
करता
get
हूँ
to that next
Done.
stage. But
Correct.
when I'm looking here at that second page, I'm
Senator,
seeing
this
some
is
teams that are
Shantanu.
still struggling. I mean,
Shantanu
Hello.
is Shantanu is the what do I say? Let me find an
Senator.
appropriate word.
They managed to get top 4
Let
in
me
the
What?
last game, but
let
that
me
was just
find an
because
appropriate word.
Ragnar was able to
Okay,
survive
okay.
He is
for
a
so
Mark
long.
Zuckerberg of
But
godlike
no
esports.
show of force whatsoever from GK right now. And this is one of the teams
Эцэг
that
хортой
was
байна.
7 points
Дээш
away
гэдэгт
from
гайгүй
being
reject
excuse
лүү
me,
11
qualified
оноо.
directly to the
16
PMGC
лөө.
Grand Finals. So
What you say,
what
bro?
happened in this week and a half or 2
Bro,
weeks?
this is
Massive change, and it's not for the good, GK.
Shantanu.
Also,
Shantanu
some
is
Yeah.
interesting
the
stuff
Mark
there.
Hello.
Zuckerberg
FaZe Clan
of
have 9 eliminations
godlike
and 20
stalwart.
placement points, and they're in 17th
Mark
place.
Zuckerberg. Oh,
Reject have
nice.
20
Yeah.
eliminations and
Coder.
11 placement points. So a little bit of a
Hacker
difference in
award.
terms of how these two teams are playing.
Hacker
And
or
we
what?
did discuss yesterday about some
Yeah.
teams potentially
No,
just
hacker
playing for placement
award.
points just to secure a top 16.
Hacker award.
But that won't work for you when we get
क्या
to
फोच
the
करना है
stage.
कोच है
You know, it will work for me, gentlemen. 7 teams to watch here and ripping on you for your choices. I can't really rip on you too
क्या
much,
बोलते
though.
तो
I think
भाई कैसे हो
Sandstorm has the really
All
interesting
good,
picks.
bhai.
But before we go to you, Sandstorm, IHC back
कैसे
there.
चल रहा अपना पीसी
They haven't looked too solid today, too
अरे
strong. However,
भाग
last
रहा है
match was a little bit better for
अरे
them.
मैं भूल गया
अरे
मेरा
एकदम
ग्राफिक कार्ड कौन सा था यार 3080 था क्या
3080 नहीं 3090
3090 I guess
is a legacy team when it comes to PMGC of how they performed 2 years ago. I have yet to
भाई
see
मस्त भाग रहे
that
चलो
team
मस्त
in this
चल रही
tournament.
रेस
Even in their
क्या
group stage,
मस्त
it was
चल
not
रहा
working
है
out. So yeah, I want to see a step up, see more
मेरा
matches.
यूज ही
Like
क्या है
that
लाइव
right
स्ट्रीम
now.
दैट्स इट
Okay, well, Sandstorm, I can respect the Besiktas pick,
Oh.
but GK again and Tem Entertainment, why those two?
बाय तोकीर भाई बाय नोआ बाय सेनेटर
बाय ब्रो बाय बाय
Bye, everyone.
बाय सी यू ब्रो
If there's going to be a change
Bye,
in that
Tokir.
profile
Bye,
because we're
Senator.
getting towards the last 2 games of the day.
Bye.
Bye, Noah.
Massive performance from
Bye,
them.
guys.
If they want to give themselves the best shot going into tomorrow, and of course the last day, the last chances that they're going to have to.
Okay,
fight for
30
is one of the
seconds.
games
I go. Bye, bye, bye.
Let's keep
See you,
an eye
bro.
on those teams because I know
See
I
ya.
will be, so I can rip on you guys if they do horribly in this next match. But luckily for us, we have John Allen and Blink to make the action even more
Bye,
fast-paced
Tokir.
and
Bye,
awesome.
bye,
We're
Senator.
gonna head over to them here for match number
Bye.
5.
Bye, Noah.
Massive performance from
Bye,
them.
guys.
If they want to give themselves the best shot
That's right.
going
I'm fast-paced.
into
He's
tomorrow,
awesome.
and of course
We're
the
going to
last
be
day, the
getting
last
on
chances
in
that
to
they're
the
gonna
चला
Okay,
गया लाला
30 seconds. I go.
Stream
Bye,
खत्म
bye,
हो गई
bye.
उसकी
हाँ लाला लाला गया
Yeah, I'll take it. We're getting
चला
into
गया
the next game of Miramar.
But luckily for us,
We
have
are
John Allen
indeed
and Blink
getting
to
there very, very
make
soon.
the
And
action even more
Sandstorm makes
fast-paced
a good
देखते
point
कौन
about
जीतता है
Sandstorm.
मैच को
There is some teams now
मेरे को
that
देखना है आज
are
कुछ टीमों की हालत टाइट हो जाएगी आज
right now because
ये सोच के कि
some
कल
teams haven't
टीमें
really
कितना
put up
स्कोर
good
करेंगी
performance
अब
before.
इंटरेस्टिंग हो रहा है ये
Aegon IA, obviously, his
अब ये
team
ज्यादा
बहुत बुरा
इंटरेस्टिंग
है
led 17 points down towards 21st spot, but are players that haven't completed their 6 games as of yet. Vivo, Keed, Geek, Tem Entertainment, really not the most amazing of numbers so far with 12, 11, and 8. Hoping to bump up those numbers just a little bit. We're also keeping an eye on some of our teams who will be concluding their survival stage very, very shortly up towards the top of the tables. That's Skylights and Power, currently 53 and 57 points. And yes, that doesn't seem too bad, but when you look at it in the case of LGD has 6 games played, 57, tied with Power Esports, and then also Power Esports being Group Green with 7th place, 57, get up to 6th place from down 1 game. Gaming, 81 points. There's a really big jump up there that needs to be fulfilled at some point.
Absolutely. And if you look at what's happening at the end of this survival stage, right, we're getting rid of the bottom third of the lobby, right? We're cutting 8 teams out of the set of 24. And so if you look at just in each group, that means that the bottom 2 and the third teams go. So if you're in the bottom 2 of that group, assuming that each of the groups are equally powerful, you are really very much at risk and in that elimination zone, which is exactly as you said, with Skylights and Power, the position they find themselves in. The question for me, though, is are those groups still really powerful? Because I feel like, as we've talked about quite a lot, Group Green was the group of death.
It was, exactly. And I think that's what makes it even more terrifying when you are in the bottom 2 of Group Green, just purely with the way also VPE and HVP have been playing with that point sponge at the top of the tables. You are getting less points overall than maybe some of these other groups will get as they are more evenly balanced. I think that's the major worry.
इन्होंने Zeus से नाम क्यों चेंज कर लिया? फिर इन्होंने पूरी टीम ही चेंज कर दी वनएचसी वालों ने.
IHC वालों ने आई थिंक इन्होंने IHC इन्होंने आई थिंक वो टीम डिसबैंड हो गई थी, देन दे फॉर्म दिस टीम.
Zeus बढ़िया टीम थी भाई, कोडलेस बढ़िया खेल रहा था उस टीम में भी.
Going into tomorrow and just watching yourselves as you start to slip down those tables. So 7th place and 9th place respectively, 57 and 53. There has to be a change there for both these teams. Down 1 would also like to get a little bit more points on board to see themselves a bit safer. I think most teams from Group Green have performed fairly well during this tournament, including A7, who actually jumped up into 3rd place now.
आरसी अपने ग्रुप को टॉप कर रही है, मतलब देखा जाए तो 4 मैच में 31 पॉइंट पे आरसी
या
and more focusing on Inco.
वर्थ वाचिंग ये है 10 मैच हो गए, आरसी ने 4. हाँ
Absolutely. And
अबे इनको 5वें पे आ गई.
We're expecting that bubble to be in the 70s somewhere, a little bit malleable and volatile given the short.
बीटी पता है किनको होगी? बीटी होगी इनको, एसजी को बीटी हो सकती है कल, बिकॉज इनके मैच आज खत्म हो जाएंगे और उनके मैच अभी खत्म नहीं हुए हैं बाकी टीमों के.
जिसके वेट किस टीम के आज मैच खत्म हो जाएंगे? स्काईलाइट गेमिंग, इसमें से टॉप 3 टीम्स जाएंगी, राइट?
से लेके बीपी से लेके नीचे तक, यहाँ तक क्या बोलते हैं, जिनके भी 10-10 मैच हो गए ना, वो लोग के खत्म हो जाएंगे आज. 8 टीमों के.
तो ये टॉप इनमें से आज में कौन सी टीम फाइनल होगी? टॉप 3
आज फाइनल टॉप 3 मान सकता है, टॉप 4 मान सकते हो. वेकेंड टाइम भी हो गई ऑलमोस्ट. देखा है तो मैं इनको तक बोल सकता हूँ कि इनको तक फाइनल है, डन है. उससे नीचे थोड़ा डाइसी हो जाएगा मामला. बट अभी फिलहाल टीएम और जीके लोग बहुत बेकार खेल रहे हैं, तो क्या पता क्या ही होएगा. 2-3 टीमें तो यही बाहर हो जाएंगी.
So what is the qualification on this one? How many points?
अभी फिलहाल कल के मैच के बाद, अभी आज के जितने मैचेस खत्म होंगे ना, ये 8 टीमों का एक बेंचमार्क सेट हो जाएगा कि इतने पॉइंट्स तो एटलीस्ट चाहिए ही चाहिए कल की टीमों के लिए. क्योंकि फिलहाल देखो ना, अभी 16 से लेके 24 तक जितनी टीम है उनके सिर्फ 4 ही मैच हुए हैं. इनको कल भी खेलने को मिलेगा, उनके आज के भी 2 मैच बचे हैं. कितने मैच बचे हैं आज के? 2 बचे हैं ना शायद. हाँ 2 मैच बचे हैं, इसको मिला के 2 बचे हैं. देखते हैं भाई क्या
85 पॉइंट्स तक हो जाएगी क्वालिफाई. ओके
80-85 तक डन सीन है. बट उससे नीचे भी हो सकते हैं, सही बताऊं तो क्वालिफाई. बट वही बात है, डाइसी मामला है वो, किस्मत वाली बात है.
Ways to keep
Got
it
you.
on in as well in the running. 94, and they put themselves over that and into those above 80 point scoring positions, looking pretty solid as well to qualify.
क्या ही घटिया स्कोर्स हैं यार इनके. वेट, बट देयर आर इन 4 मैचेस 8 पॉइंट्स.
4 मैचेस 11, 4 मैचेस 12, 4 मैचेस 20. आईएचसी तक का सीन थोड़ा खराब ही है.
IHC needs to do something.
To be fair, a major arbiter in those final circles of the last game, but a roll-up actually coming on through.
But IHC के भी 4 ही पॉइंट हुए हैं. अबे इनको का एक प्लेयर उठा लिया. बैकर गया.
They do have an off angle in Enebete as well, but in comes back up from Vitali. They are circling, they're swarming, and Power laid bare on the hillside, taken down 1 and 2. A punch moves on in and will be able to beat it out on the slugfest. Power fall to 2. Have to play from water treatment, playing on that north side of this engagement. Inco move away with 2 elimination points, nicely found. the circle really heavily up and to the north. HVVP playing in La Cobreria, leaving Tixi down south, their outpost, again in a really solid position to do well on this Miramar.
Absolutely, John. I think that this is
जोन
again
बहुत
a
खतरनाक
position where
बन
they
रहे
played
हैं सर्वाइवल
extremely
स्टेज
well
में
from before. I
बन
think
रहे
they
हैं
have a great
भाई
opportunity now to actually
बन
do the
रहे हैं
exact same thing.
इनने बोला इसमें एटलीस्ट
Fortunately for them, though, you've Game Lord coming
ये
up
चाइन
towards that ridge side.
टेंसेंट अभी ना
looking to
तड़का डाल रही
try
है
and
पूरे
steal away
इसमें
that spot, and with Tixi heading there nice and early on his lonesome, he does tend to be quite an easy target. So good thing for him that he spots that, immediately moves out towards that western side, towards Vivo Key to regroup with the rest
पावर
of
के
the
दो
team,
प्लेयर
as
गए
opposed to
इनको
trying
ने
to
दो
hold
मार
on to
दिए
that as a
व्हाट
solo
क्रैप
man for
मैं
the
कहाँ
rest of the
देख
team
रहा
to
था
survive. Much better to stay as a 4 on this northern edge and fight out for this position later on, where it becomes more of a priority position.
We had a really far northern circle in the Group Green group stage, which played all the way up to the north side of La Copperia, in which HVVP did really very well to control a lot of the ground around some of the mountainous regions up there. So they'll be hoping for a repeat of that, I'm sure. If Tixi can get out of dodge, because at the moment he is starting to be circled now, blank, by Bacon Time, Vivo Keyed as well.
Phase moving up.
कहाँ तक बूट
Top
कैंप पे
side.
गया हुआ है कहीं
29 points, really haven't moved too much from their position so far. Reject similarly riding on the coattails of their first game. Inco
हेलो
looking for
सुनाई
another
दे रहा है
central spot
हेलो
within the circle.
check
I'll be
check
curious to see if this one heads over towards the eastern side. They can pick up a few more points. 94 points, so very respectable so far throughout this entire tournament. Again, you were saying earlier you'd like to see Damwon just get a few more points. And I think that I'm in the same boat here. Getting a few more points to Damwon would see them in a good position. I think it's a little bit unfortunate that yesterday they were not able to retain
मेरे को
that
एचवीपी के लिए थोड़ा
momentum
खराब तो लगा था
today.
मतलब कि वो
But
पूरे
you
वीक
have that
डोमिनेट किया
one
इन्होंने
big lead
आखिरी दिन हक
behind
दिया
you need to see yourself
आखिरी दिन नहीं
लास्ट डे
भाई
and I
आखिरी के
लास्ट डे ही बीटी
would
दो
much
दिन
rather have one good
कंटिन्यूअसली हक
game
दिया
on
था
day one as opposed to day two.
बट
That is just giving you a much more easy buffer to play around with.
बट
Makes you feel
हेलो
safer, takes a lot of the pressure off coming to the
एक
next
सेकंड
day.
एक सेकंड
And even if you make a few mistakes, they're easily fixed.
विनी भाई और भाई की हाल लव फ्रॉम
Just moving
हरियाणा
in on the western side.
थैंक यू
They're
भाई
playing
लव यू टू
late
ब्रो
and slow up the western
when
road.
when आर एस
Losing
टी
away
गेम्स
in
सर
front
एस
of
टी की
backfill.
गेम्स जो हैं वो
Looking
होंगी
straight
शुरू
up the
जनवरी
last
से
ruins
ग्रैंड फाइनल से
to that road on the north side of La Copperia currently.
हाँ पावर
Being
गई
occupied
आज
by IHC.
बेवकूफ खेल
On
रही
the
है एक
western
चिकन
end,
मार के भी
Bacon Time a little bit further south, and of course HVVP with their outpost to the north side of La Copperia. The next circle just about to come through, and it's really going to dictate a lot of this next set. Goodness me, that is right onto the correct
टेम
field.
बहुत लेट एंट्री ले रही है
This is going to be difficult for these teams to actually figure out where to
क्या
play.
बोल रहा था मैं भी
There's a few compounds down here that you can
तो गिर
head
भाई
towards.
हाँ मैं ये कह रहा था कि उनने लास्ट
Too
के 2 दिन
concrete,
बहुत गंदा
honestly.
खेला था
You can
अब
गंदा
खेल
क्या
लेंगे
खेल रहा था
head
आई
towards
थिंक
the center
हेलो
here
हेलो
and
हेलो
kind of play for the late game where Vivo
अरे
Key
मैं
is
इधर ही हूँ मैं
currently
माइक बंद करके
inside
बातें
the
कर रहा हूँ
fields themselves. There is a compound
हाँ मैं बोल रहा था
down
मैं
here.
बोल क्या रहा था मेरा यही भूल गया मैं और किसी से ही बात कर रहा था ना
एच
साथ साथ में मैं यही
वी
भूल
के
गया
लास्ट के 2 दिनों की बात कर रहे
It
थे
is
हाँ एचवीपी लेकिन टॉप ही कर रही थी ना फिर भी मतलब उनके इतने पॉइंट्स थे उनके हक के भी हैशटैग 1 पे थे लास्ट सेकंड लास्ट डे तक लास्ट डे उन्होंने जो चोक किया ना वहीं बेटी होगी उनको गलत वाली
ट्रू
from Alpha 7. Stone gets a good spot behind.
इसलिए मेरे को लगा कि ये लोग को करना चाहिए और ये बहुत बढ़िया खेल रहा है भाई देखो ना भाई अभी भी हैशटैग 2 और बट सही बताऊं तो ये इतना मैटर भी नहीं करता फिलहाल कितना ही मार लो भाई अगर ये लास्ट चांस वाले 2 दिन हक देंगे तो फिर
अभी वैम्पायर और अल्फा 7 की फाइट गया वैम्पायर वाला 2 गए एक इज ऑन स्लिवर
भाई मैं यही हूं लेकिन माइक म्यूट है मेरा मैं वो खेल रहा हूं 4v4 खेल रहा हूं ठीक है
playing under the purview of Mafioso on the backlines. Revo continues to fire forwards, and Carrillo's there for the backup after
Vampire
getting the heal
wiped
on
out.
off. Alpha 7
What
with the
the
fight
hell?
against Vampire, and the top team yet again.
इनको भी अपनी टीम है ना भाई जी भाई विनी भाई इनको भी हमारी टीम है ये वही नोवा
Down one. Taking down a lot of the members from Vivo Keyed here.
टाइटल में बंद करके चला
It looked good for VP. It looked like they could have come back from that one.
That ST 100% champions. Thank you,
It was
sir.
just a case of Carrillo suddenly turning on the kill switch there. Looked very, very good in the moment. Instant flicks, instant turns.
मेरी लॉन्गेस्ट स्ट्रीम के बारे में बात कर रहे होंगे आपसे। मेरी 251 आवर्स की मैंने स्ट्रीम की थी एक बार।
ये क्या बोल रहे हैं? ये वही नोवा किंग है जो TSM एंटिटी को शेल्टर में बंद करके चला गया था। ये क्या किया है तूने?
तो उनको 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 बोलो वही है। हम हमारी एक टीम थी ब्रोलर्स नाम से।
हाँ
एंटिटी ब्रोलर्स, ENT ब्रोलर्स, ठीक है। हम एंटिटी ने दो टीम्स को मतलब काइंड ऑफ वो था, कोलैब था एंटिटी वालों का। एक
हाँ
TSM एंटिटी थी और एक ब्रोलर्स
हाँ
हमारा। तो शेल्टर नहीं था वो, काइंड ऑफ वो था अपना शेल्टर के ऊपर वाला, वो नहीं होता जो यार, शेल्टर नहीं बोलेंगे उसको यार, कौन सी जगह पे? रुको एक सेकंड। शूटिंग रेंज के ऊपर वाला शेल्टर है ना, याद है आपको? हाँ, तो वहाँ पे हमारी फाइट हुई थी। हमने दो नॉक किए, गाड़ी लगाई, बंद कर दिया और हम जोन चले गए। ये लोग सब जोन से मर गए।
Difficult spot on the map to play though. For a lot of these teams, there's a huge amount of uncertainty involved. That position towards where Game Lord took up Mantle away from Tixie earlier on has been filled. Now HVP looking to perhaps try and reclaim that position. In the meantime, though, they do still have this 2-2 going on. Two inside the blue, two outside.
लग गए बेकन के।
Kitsune watching out for Alpha 7 as they rotate up towards the top side of the
बेकन
community
के कितने
over the
प्लेयर है?
road.
दो।
Position that they might want to take shots down towards, considering Alpha 7 should be taking quite a bit of heavy damage from this blue at the moment. Might be easy to pick up a couple of eliminations on that side and cut off the team that might be backstabbing Alpha 7 later.
Definitely necessary to back clear there. IHC taking on Inco on the center. It's actually IHC to lose the first. Alex knocked flushed. Two players playing now forwards for them. Inco, 4 players alive yet again. 4 eliminations. Nice and sequestered in their position. Difficulty will come if the circle shifts away from them.
Range वाला underground था.
Still a long way to trek, but getting those points on board moving 4 up is good. Speaking of putting points up, down 1 already, managing to grab away 2 points, and now playing in a compound on the south side. Should be fairly safe to get a couple more. 4 players alive yet again, 4 eliminations. Nice and
quite hard to get Game Lord off this top side.
Shooting.
Scarlet's Gaming though, 2 players. John, this is not looking good for them. I think at this point in time, Scarlet's Gaming is in real danger of being dropped out of Last Chance. They're depending on other teams doing worse than them, which is quite unlikely to happen, especially when you have. I think this is the biggest issue of because when you have that
न्यू प्लेयर कब रिवील होगा? जल्दी भाई। विनी भाई कौन सा व्लॉग? आपको कौन सा व्लॉग देखना है भाई?
So much easier because if it just comes to a case of like, right, we just need to survive till 5th place every game. That's easy enough. We don't have to take too many fights. Let's just play it safe. We don't have to go for high elimination games. This is what all the guys in Group Green are thinking about right now, which is to push for these high elimination games to set the benchmark as high as possible.
Try and get out of that danger zone, but Power going to struggle on this game with 1 player. Scarlets as well, only on 2. Both going to be scrambling for it. Tem Entertainment move in on the south side. This is right on the northeast edge of El Pozo. That is just about still in the circle. FaZe spotted.
हाँ ना विनी भाई, बनाऊंगा तो सही, लेकिन आप बताओ तो सही कौन सा वाला vlog?
Tem Entertainment.
I mean, like, what am I going to do in the vlog?
Next circle comes on through, and it is over. The eastern side, the high ground controlled by Game Lord and HVVP. This is big news for both of these teams.
Massive news. I think for HVP, less influential maybe because they're already towards the top of the standings, but for Game Lord, this is a real opportunity for some serious high ground, some serious presence that they've held up here for a long, long while to get a lot of eliminations and set themselves in the rankings. 26 points at the moment over 4 games. It's not the most amazing of averages they've got so far, but this might be a game where they get the opportunity to bring those averages massively upwards.
वैम्पायर को A7 ने दे दिया।
किसने मारा वैम्पायर को?
A7
ये तो वाइप हो गया बे। 4 मिनट के लिए तो नहीं देखा मैंने गेम।
गया। अबे इसका स्प्रे के 4 स्प्रे मिस हो गए भाई इसके।
आपका माइक म्यूट है बाय द वे, कबीर भाई।
ओ क्रैप। मैं बोल रहा हूँ 4 इसके स्प्रे मिस हो गए ऊपर से GK वाले के।
chimes in from Reject as they try and plink away a couple of the points.
वैम्पायर को किसने वाइप कर दिया अभी से पहले?
A7 है, Alpha 7 है.
Going at it. 5
Ooh.
eliminations coming through from Inco.
6 एलिमिनेशन है उनके पास अभी से. इनको वालों के पास भी 5 हैं.
Blur of HP.
इनको पे Dam 1 आ गई.
Pushes out with it.
अरे मतलब किल पे.
हाँ.
नहीं आपको नहीं बोल रहा मैं.
अबे Dam 1 भी eliminated. 8 eliminations इनको की. Tem भी eliminated. क्या ही घटिया खेली है Tem यार.
Being denied access to the circle. Reject 4 players stand in their way on their east. GK as well, 3 players, and they're on the north side. You cannot get away with this.
घूमने फिरने का बनाओ.
It's so difficult to get back into the circle at this point in time if you're on the outside. If you weren't towards Credit Field on this edge, you are going to be suffering. There's not a lot of area in this circle to play. You don't ideally want to be inside Credit Field, so there's a massive chunk that's taken out of this circle, making it almost like a donut of available playing area. Meku does take a knock there from Alpha 7 in the backside.
God की story का क्या मतलब है ले?
So although Meko is able to provide the information back, they would much rather be able to live longer.
Clutch God ने क्या story डाली है नोआ?
On the high ground, so useful to you, and the fact they were able to slip in.
देखने दो मैंने देखा नहीं एक बार.
On that northern side over the northern road crossing.
लाला ने क्या डाल दिया है?
Caused some pretty bad pain spots there for HVVP going forward now.
FaZe going down, second place team from Group Yellow, out of all of them. Just behind Reject, and Reject wants to take the well.
अरे ये कोच के ऊपर स्टोरी डाली है आपने जो भी सेनेटर आया था यहाँ पे.
हाँ. लो बना लो. अब देख कहानियाँ कितनी बनेगी. चैन से सोना है तो जाग जाओ. देखो क्या लिखा है क्लच गॉड ने.
It would be currently down one that would be looking to sit in that spot. You can get over Skylights Gaming.
Alpha 7 का एक गया, इनको का एक गया, HVP का एक गया. बेकन सर्कल किधर पे भाई? इनको ना बहुत जबरदस्त जगह है.
You're looking like that's a decent place to be. That's a survival chance for yourself. So someone don't realistically want to be
HVP किधर पे है?
second spot is like
HVP को अंदर आना पड़ेगा.
These guys because it gives a little bit of too much hope to them. So if someone can increase the distance slightly coming into their final match after this one, much easier for them.
टिक्सी को उड़ा दिया.
Taking damage. And Alpha 7
टिक्सी गया, टिक्सी गया, टिक्सी गया.
HVP.
This is nasty. I was like, where is Tixie? And then I realized, oh, he's down literally on top of Revo. He was caught, just completely pushed upon. HVVP losing 2 on this northern position when they kind of didn't need to is not great, to be honest. It's going to slow down their point scoring ability here. And Alpha 7 is going to launch
nice.
8 eliminations already. Wow. Inco as well. But then again,
Revo गया.
You just lose these shots and managed to find it. Mafioso knocked. Alpha 7 down to 2. And Kitsune and Matic still on the warpath.
Yeah, really nice shot there from Kitsune. Take down Mafioso. I think there was a little bit of help from maybe another team within the lobby, but cracking headshot comes through. Now Mafioso finished. Creo remaining in the path. Kitsune still trying to be aware of that position. Again, now the opportunity unfolds for Game Lord and Victor taking a pretty bold duel here.
Ooh, the last bullet managed to land on target. Victor still going, but finally knocked over the top. Divine launched up into the air and taken down afterwards. Served up on a platter. Robs swaps to the shotty. Sprays coming on through to look for some flushes to take Game Lord's power away just a little bit, but it's just Ragey now left standing. 2 players down low there for Game Lord. 2 players are up and active. It's a wide split. Narvalo is nowhere really too close by. We'll have to reposition to try and go for this one. And Game Lord will be losing players in the meantime. Akashi waiting for backup potentially, but with the blue zone coming in as well, Game Lord likely down to 2 in this spot. Ragey, though, also very likely to fall for Reject.
What a wild push as well coming through from Game Lord, and almost an unnecessary one at that. Ragey still sending shots back upwards towards Akashi, waiting for the blue to push him out. Again, though, very unnecessary, and that's Akashi 100% not getting back up again. So difficult to get him off that mountainside. Navallo's got no eyes on. 2 eliminations from this spot. A golden opportunity missed. Duello finally flushed out. May be able to find a 4th elimination here, as well as Reiji, who's out in the open. Blue will continue to push out, and Navallo has to be slick with it here.
He did it once. Can Reiji do it again? Win out the trade when he's completely broadside to the wind. Navallo to put these shots down, but he just can't quite find it. Reiji will be pushed forwards a little bit more. Will have to move. Navallo popping, spots the gun swapping. But when Reiji comes a knocking, you got to be careful. Navallo just so careful on these peaks. Reiji spots it with the Mini 14, takes a lot of damage, and Navallo given the confidence to peek again. Headshot over to Reiji, seals the deal.
लाले ने तो खोल
Elimination
दिया भाई
over
क्या
on to reject. 5 points on the game to
भाई
close
क्या
out
बोल
their
दिया
Miramar.
उसने भाई
I mean, for Game Lord there, I am astonished that that happened to them. I'm astonished that Akashi gave up so quickly on that side. I mean, for the guys on game, that would be, I would be furious with that finish to my game. I mean, you've given such a good chance, you have such a good position. Victor moves out, and then Rob sends in. Yes, it looked cool, but immediately they were almost wrapped in elation with how they'd saved Victor, then forgot to check their angles, check their sides. In this case, Reiji is able to find Akashi and Robs at the same time, leaving them now just on Navallo. Great survivor, this guy.
RC
See if he can
गया
get further into this game. Skylights Gaming.
गेम
Handed a
लॉर्ड
bit of a
बचा है
card
क्या अभी
here, but
हाँ
only
गेम
2
लॉर्ड
players
बचा है
to make it work with.
Back in time, were able to pinch away the knocks that Carrillo got. Zessi
क्या हुआ भाई
from Besiktas did fall.
RC out गेम लॉर्ड
3 players, Carrillo sees them down
एक
to 2.
प्लेयर
The spray
भाई
onto more.
घटिया
Might
खेला
be
यार
able to
गेम
find a
लॉर्ड
little
ने
bit.
मतलब
They
ऊपर से
swapped it
पूरा
out.
रिज के
Sides on the
पीक
UMP,
से
finds almost
नीचे से
the
बंदे ने
middle.
उनके
Quite
2
able to
प्लेयर
seal the final
खत्म कर ली
deal.
नीचे
6
से
eliminations on the game for Alpha 7. It's good. They will be seeing themselves further up.
अभी इसमें ये गेम के अंदर ये नया 44 अल्टीमेट अरीना वाला सीन बढ़िया है 44 प्रैक्टिस के लिए
किस में नोवा में
नहीं नहीं अपने ये बीजीएमआई उसमें बोल रहा हूँ मैं 44 के लिए अल्टीमेट अरीना नाम से कुछ है
हाँ
प्रॉपर 44
यू कैन अपडेट
नहीं नहीं मतलब पहले ही आ गया था वो पहले ही आ गया था
ओके अरे हाँ मैंने देखा कुछ I saw it it looks fun
kind of a powerhouse inside this circle. Ice has to drop down.
बढ़िया सीन है भाई
अभी recently मैंने सुना कोई और there is some guy who has joined your organization godlike को join किया कौन player था
क्या हमारी इसमें कौन आया किस चीज का लेकिन कई गेम का
wait I forgot someone came in as CC
2 players up top for bacon time.
पता नहीं नया कौन है
नेओ की कुछ
हर्षी
Pinched away, I think,
हर्ष
actually, by
एक
No.
लड़की ज्वाइन की थी एक क्रिएटर आई गेस
नहीं वो
will
तो
be
अलग है
spotted. HVVP, as you said, in a powerhouse position.
So someone
Don't
came in
really
as
वगैरह
CC
leverage that
I don't know
control.
भाई
Last player's Yol
स्ट्रीम में
found,
कोई बता दो
shot to
किस
side,
प्लेयर की
bacon
बात हो
time,
रही थी
4
अबे
players are
गॉडलेस
lost to
गया
that.
गया
They're on the open,
खत्म
so they will need these smokes to keep them clear. Kitsune with a mini
मुझे लगता है इस पे अगेन इनको हैज अ वेरी गुड चांस फॉर अ चिकन डिनर
as well. Some good M4 bullets been sent through. Kitsune takes a
Besiktas
hefty hit, though,
eliminated.
from Ragnar. That SKS, yes, it kicks like a mule, but it
IHC
also hits
eliminated
like a donkey.
420
Donkey's
420 ने
famous for
ज्वाइन
hitting.
किए
Power, maybe able to hold one out, but no more than the single knock. Shirty dispatches it. Bacon time.
भाई
Still on
HVP
4,
के
but
कितने
under
एलिम्स हो
pressure
गए सो फार 4
from Matic. Kitsune as well, hiding out in the smoke. 2 players on the north side will have to move further south flank.
Absolutely. That donkey just brandishing the boxing gloves, apparently. In the moment, Kitsune drops down the smokes. Keep himself
पावर एलिमिनेट
a bit more covered off, but again, down to 6 teams. It's a good result so far for HVP, all things considered. Losing a couple of their players to Alpha 7. Again, I think they still played the right game. They knew that someone was going to come from behind. They tried to clear out that angle, and Alpha 7 is really just on a tear today. have really brought themselves back into the fold towards the top of the tables as well.
420, okay, 420 joined as a content creator.
I think they're just feeling it. So HVP can't blame too much
420
for
तो
losing.
recent
Alpha 7
काफी time हो गया लेकिन
are just
420 को
a
recent का
very good team. We can't forget that this is Pmgc.
I think it was recent.
The absolute top
Maybe,
echelons of
yeah.
काफी
the
time हो गया
mobile
यार
gameplay.
420 को बट हाँ गेम बैन होने के बाद ही आया था वो ऐसा बोल सकते हैं बैन नहीं हो गेम सस्पेंशन बोल सकते हैं बट स्टिल यार जो भी है भाई पता नहीं क्या सीन है गेम आ जाए तो अच्छा लगेगा भाई
This is a nice stage for these final circles as well. I'm kind of liking the tiered effect, the amount of cover
भाई
to play
बेकन ने
around.
कितने नॉक खाए हैं और कितने रेस दिए हैं एक टाइम पे तो एक प्लेयर ने 3 को ये दे दिया
It's a very cool position.
तीसरी बार है इनके
kind of concerned about nades coming their way. It would be quite
मेटिक वही अपना अब उनको लेके नीचे आना पड़ेगा सर्कल खत्म हो रहा है सर्कल नीचे आ रहा है
Why not? This guy is terrifying.
अब इनको आना पड़ेगा इनको पे
Geek look to try and put some points on the board at the end of the day today.
Ooh, Matic not quite able to land the final shots on the spray shirt. He might not be so lucky. Steps out again.
लेकिन ग्रीन ग्रुप का मजा ही कुछ अलग था.
Ragnar as well, curtailing any chance they have of moving sideways. They just have to go full face into it. And the hail of bullets will not go well. Pinched away, I think. Actually, Matic picks up that elimination for HVVP. 5 points found. And they do jump up into first. Your eyes do not deceive you. When you add on those elimination points.
क्या लगता है आपको कौन निकालेगा ये मैच में?
मेरे को इस मैच में लग रहा है अगर HVP यहाँ पे रुक जाती है then इनको has good chance. If HVP is there, इनको has no chance. नहीं वैसे उनका दो ही
इनको को
player
मार देंगे HVP वाले और वैसे भी दो टीमों के बीच में सैंडविच है ये क्या बोलते हैं इनको बेकन टाइम वाले भी बीटी कर रहे हैं उनको नॉक किया ना भी शायद
बेकन टाइम वाला हाँ उनका एक प्लेयर नॉक है एक खत्म हो गया
Now it's definitely no teams up at 4.
अबे देख नेड
वो रेव भी नहीं हो सकता बंदा
भाई तू देख रहे हैं मतलब HVP क्या गंदा दोनों टीम्स को ये दे रहा है यार बीटी दे रहा
है मतलब
ये देख यहाँ से तीसरी टीम को पकड़ लिया भाई इनकी पोजीशनिंग इज वेरी गुड
मैं बोला ना मेरे को थोड़ा काफी खराब लगा था जब ये लोग क्वालीफाई नहीं हुए थे फाइनल्स के लिए देखते हैं लेकिन अभी फिलहाल अभी भी कर जाएंगे मोस्टली
इनको का एक प्लेयर नॉक है
इनको खत्म होगी भाई लास्ट बंदा बचा इनको का
Look at the spot that they hold. DK
पीछे हो जाएगा
as well on the south side.
अरे शिट मैं दूसरी स्क्रीन पे देख रहा
हूं. By Skylights Gaming, who need big performances still. They're going to massively slow
क्या
SG ने GK पे पुश कर दिया GK का एक नॉक है
just plate some points if they continue this way. Hardly any utility left. Mafia Boy is currently healing up with the.
नहीं दो प्लेयर हैं अभी यार इनको के मैं इतना पीछे थोड़ी
बच गया वो एक ही बचा था वो बच गया लेकिन वो रेव हो गया था
Strong solo performances from
मेरे को लगा वो मर जाएगा इसलिए मैंने बोला कि एक ही बचा करके बट वो मोली लगी नहीं उनको
they've had good results and keeping it
भाई इनको की बहुत गंदी पोजी है यार कैसे निकलेंगे भाई वो वहां से कोई सीन ही नहीं है वो लोग का बचने का बाहर निकल ही नहीं पाएंगे वो लोग
shooting range so far for HVVP. They've had some great positions to take shots out towards, controlling the entirety of this north side. Inco has to move out from this position though, and with the circle.
बट अभी तो 9 सर्कल चालू हो गया ना देखते हैं कौन निकालता है सेंटर में कौन है अभी कोई भी नहीं है सारे थोड़ा बाहर ही है सेंटर से अलग अलग ही
bit too late there. Navala actually has eyes on towards Kitsune.
Oh no.
Does good shot.
HVP को थोड़ी बीटी होएगी क्योंकि एज पे ऊपर से GLD वाला ने नॉक कर दिया HVP का एक
there as well knows exactly what's going on, but the blue zone's pushing in. Do they have time? It is
पूरा
in 6
बट
seconds.
मोस्टली
Pretty sure you're just gonna have to abandon that one. By the way, HVVP on the ropes now. Narvalo seeing to that. In the meantime, yeah, Kitsune does fall fully.
नहीं होएगा बेटे अब नहीं होएगा रे
is still there. Two players to deal with. Narvalo playing spoiler to HVVP's run over the top. Knows there's a player behind. Then Abete caught out in the blue.
HVP बाहर
HVP मर गए यहाँ
अब देखते हैं गेम लॉर्ड के कितने प्लेयर हैं
last players from Skylights Gaming, but Narvalo
एक बचा है
still moves in for game.
GLD का बोल रहे हो ना एक बचा है
GK का दो GK के 3
Does pull out the nade, but it's too little too late, and now
GK के 3 है इनको के 2 हैं 3v2 है अभी
great for Game Lord. Could have been a lot better. Squashed down. Then Abete looking to be next.
खत्म भाई इनको 3v1 भाई क्या ही करेगी भाई इनको कुछ नहीं कर सकती वैसे ग्रोजा है भाई ग्रोजा कुछ भी कर
Nice,
सकती है
nice, nice,
बहुत भारी
nice.
गन है ये नाइस नॉक
Yeah, very
दूसरे
good
बड़ी दे दे
finish.
बढ़िया
अब
बढ़िया
आ गई
उसका
2v1
नेड
situation. हाँ.
वो भी ग्रोजा है इसके
ए
बाद
मेड ले मेड ले मेड ले मेड ले मेड ले.
पता नहीं हील क्यों नहीं कर रहे नहीं कर
ओ
सकता ये
गया गया
टाइम नहीं है
गया
मर गया तो मर जाएगा
अच्छा
नाइस
खेली
ट्राई
लेकिन.
एंटी 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 ये बंदा अच्छा खेला
with a hell for leather, all guns blazing. Final fight in those circles.
लास्ट मैच बचा है इसके बाद
They've gone a very different way. Nenebete, honestly, probably my MVP
चलो
so
तो
far.
कि भाई मैं भी जाता हूँ भाई
मैं भी
कल
खिस
मिलते हैं
सकता हूँ.
आपसे कल नहीं
हाँ.
कल भी नहीं मिलूंगा कल भी नहीं मिलूंगा मोस्टली मैं परसों ही मिलूंगा
अबे
आपसे
मेरे को भी
अगर आप
निकलना है.
देखोगे तो मैच
तो मेरे नीचे गेस्ट आए हुए हैं यार बारबेक्यू पे. मैं चलता हूँ गाइयो.
अरे अरे गो एंड हैव फन मजे करो भाई
ओके बड़े भाई.
ओके
चलो
ओके
गाइस.
बाय
ओके ब्रो मिलते हैं कल.
Solidified towards the top of the ranking.
Alright guys, thank you so much. कल मिलते हैं. अभी मेरे को थोड़ा जाने का है. Take care. Peace, peace.
Absolutely
Bye, bye.
fine. So very, very well done to Nenebete. And he looked almost if he hit that spray with the M4, if he just had that player